You out the studio, bro.
When talking about a debate, like a man wouldn't do that.
What's happening?
Oh my god.
People watch the show and they're like, oh, I would have said this, I would have said this. And they get in the environment, they realize it's not literally as easy to get your points across or to make them cogent in a way that works well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
because they'll watch everyone else like, why didn't you hit him with this statistics and this and stuff? And like, she brought up all those stats and whatever she said, and maybe like by the point it probably makes sense. But all they have to say is like, you're being emotional.
They still want a strong black man.
What do you mean? Like, you go, okay.
Okay.
Pxie doesn't know. He just proved her argument in such a hardcore way, but she's not gonna be able to connect the dots. Why do black women still want a black man? It's because of what Pxie said earlier. It's because people just tend to date. I prefer harder debates and challenges. Like, they're more fun for me. I feel like I get a similar vibe from him, but I could be wrong. But like, even if he does feel like he's doing well or whatever, I genuinely do think he enjoys this more than just like dunking on like, you know, random zanned out girl, you know, number 27, or random drunk girl, or random perked out girl, or whatever.
Let's get right into it. We had a debate. I was wondering, Pxie and Erin over here, we had a long, lengthy debate about feminism and about Andrew Tate and about cam girling and stuff like that. I'm wondering if you guys have anything to follow before we get into the chats.
I love Andrew Tate.
Nice. I think everybody on the table does.
I love him.
Oh, you love him? Oh, yeah.
I will be the exception.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know the guy.
I don't know who that is.
He's very controversial. He makes points.
Who is he?
Wait, what are we talking about?
Who is Andrew Tate?
Andrew Tate.
G.
Never heard of him. He
I heard of the
is.
name, but I was just quoting him.
Oh, is that
He's
that weird shit you're saying?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? No,
All right, I got this. Okay, ladies, okay. I got a question for y'all. I got this. Sneako.
I was asking if they didn't even answer the question. I'm asking if they had any follow-ups to the debate. They stayed quiet.
Do you guys have any follow-ups to the debate, or I'll get into the question?
We debated if men and women are equal. They didn't have, I mean, nothing. Just gonna be quiet.
I have a lot to say.
About our debate? Okay, I'm just confused what you're exactly asking.
I was wondering if you had anything to follow. We debated for 2.5 hours about Andrew Tate, about if men and women are equal, she, they, basic feminist ideologies. I'm wondering if you had anything to follow up from that, if you learned anything, or if this panel changed your mindset at all.
Well, I don't think I really learned anything in specific, but hopefully when we start asking more questions around this panel, we can get back into it. I'm kind of curious about what all these ladies think in general.
You know what? I got this.
Uh-oh.
We'll start right here and work our way around, okay?
Sounds great.
Do you think men and women are equal?
I mean, people don't treat us as that, but yeah, I feel like I'm equal to as any man. Yeah.
Okay. So you think men and women? Oh, let me qualify this. I'm not saying you're equal as in, obviously, you're equal human being level, right? Like, okay, we all deserve dignity, respect, rule of law, etc. Not a human being is better than another by gender. I mean, as in other ways, not human dignity or human decency.
Can you elaborate on the way? Like, give us an example.
Like strength.
Let's say
we got some strong women on tonight. Oh boy,
that can be a component that you can use. There's multiple components, but I'm asking you in general. Do you think we are equal? Yes or no? Not when it comes to life value.
Strength-wise, hell no. I mean, unless you're taking steroids, maybe.
Okay.
But like life ways, yes, because like, I mean, like I said, I'm a trapper, and like I'm like where I'm from, I'm the only female trapper.
Okay.
And like, but guys be always thinking like women can't do the same things they do, and I'm like, I do it better than them actually.
Okay.
And then like I don't know.
But this isn't just you. I mean,
when you're trapping, are you like actually like on the street like slinging, or can you be like in a different position, or does trapping like refer to something more specific than just like selling drugs in general, or what?
In general, are men and women equal?
Yeah.
You think so? Okay, cool. What about you?
In terms of human dignity, yes.
She might just cook.
I said that already.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying, just making sure.
Yeah.
Are we exactly the same in everything? No.
Okay. So your general answer is no?
My general answer is yes, because I think human dignity goes beyond any other components that would make the answer no. So the answer is yes.
Yes? Okay.
Are you a woman?
Yes, I'm a woman.
Okay. Okay. What about you?
She needs to just drop that they, them pronoun bullshit. No? It's just not worth it.
Because of logic.
Oh, logic.
Who's more logical?
Generally men. What?
It depends on the man, because sometimes men are like,
of course it depends.
More feminine.
That's exactly why she said in general.
Okay.
What about you, Zena?
No, not at all.
Why do you say no?
In any way, shape, or form, biologically, mentally, physically, even fucking spiritually, if we want to go there, we are not the same at all. That's why we have masculinity, and that's why we have femininity. There's a balance, but we are not the same. There is a separation. Fine line.
Interesting. Okay.
Jesus.
We're not equal, no.
Why do you say no?
I mean, there hasn't even been a female president yet. Like, I don't think that we're equal.
Big facts.
Misogyny.
Okay.
So,
Do you think we'd be better served with a female president?
I don't know yet. I mean, the saying is, like she just said, females say anything you could do, I could do better with heels. Like, that's what females say, right? But we haven't even got the chance to do that, so I don't know.
They know we'll
do you think you haven't gotten...
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't know if we would. I would hope so. Shit, I hope if a female takes over the world or becomes president that she would do better, but...
Let me ask you a question. Do you prefer to work for a man or a woman? You personally. Would you prefer to have a male boss or a female boss?
I mean, if we're like speaking logically, I would say a male because they're not emotional creatures.
A male.
Oh my God.
You know.
Okay. So if you'd prefer to have a male boss, wouldn't it, make sense that you'd want a male president as well?
I mean, I just would like to see where it leads us. Why not? We already had the worst male presidents. Why not just see what females could do for us?
Okay.
Meghan Markle, 2028.
That's like saying, for example, that's like saying, I just want to pull the little tab from the fucking bomb to see. Let's just see what will happen. Let's just see if we survive.
Yeah.
Why not? Chaotic.
I don't even think it
Okay.
boils down to gender. It's just character and integrity.
I mean, nowadays, and this is a tricky question because nowadays niggas do act like females, and females are more.
It
depends.
Let me ask you a question. I'll ask you one other question, then I'll continue on if men or women are equal.
Erin needs to get in there. How is she so talking about my fucking stream, and now she's like,
just keep them from being president?
what's going on here, guys?
Yes. Anyone want to help me?
Yeah, privileges.
Well, I'm asking you in particular.
specifically.
We can go ahead and go around the table on this one next, but first I want to start with this. But since you want to throw this
what
topic,
prevents women?
yeah, is there any right or privilege that men have that women don't? Since you're saying men have been president all the time.
I mean, because of how we were brought up, like before us, they always said that like the men are like take care of the house, like the responsibilities and shit like that, and women are just supposed to have the babies and clean up. So like we automatically took that role as being like, I feel like less than for real.
But women are adults capable of making their own decisions and going to school, are they not?
Who, women?
Women are capable of going to school and making their own decisions and getting educated, correct?
Aren't like women the higher rate of going to school and everything?
Yeah. So wouldn't it be fair to say that there's less excuse for them to not be in a presidential power or be in some type of authority when they dominate education, higher education?
But I think the reason that it's not like that is because we're emotional creatures. So if something was to happen, we'd go based off of emotions.
So why do you want to try that out?
Because it's only for 1 week.
I mean, maybe because we're not all the same though.
It will have
so maybe
to take
there's someone that's not as emotional. Like maybe not all females are like that.
So
a really masculine
manly
female.
Whoever makes it,
They only
like
think we're emotional 1 week of the month.
Wow.
All right,
Bruh.
Well, I just like the
know.
contradictions here. All right, don't worry, we'll come back to that though, because it seems like you guys have something to say with this privilege, male and female privilege. Do you think men and women are equal?
No, absolutely not.
Why not?
Because, for example, she was talking about how she traps and that she does it better than guys sometimes because we're privileged, we're women, we got ass and titties, so it's easier for us. I was gonna work. I worked in a jewelry store selling jewelry. I was the only female, and I would sell the most just because I'm a female. So we do got it easy.
No, that was because of fake ass and titties, not because they're females.
No, I'm just kidding. But females, we do it better because we're females. Like this.
I think that's the first time the girl said something. It's not equal and actually gave where women have benefits.
Right. The sexual attention will give you a big advantage in sales.
Of course.
But your financial attention does too.
Also, a female in general, like you don't have to be attractive. You're still a female. You feel me? And as presidents, why like?
Is she taking notes too?
Oh. Supposed to be in control.
Oh, this would have been a fun debate show.
Meant to be providers. So naturally,
then why are you pimping your boyfriend?
Ooh, good question.
Because it's something temporary. It's an
so we're
opportunity.
equal now. We can pimp men.
So maybe there will be a female.
We can, of course, but that's exactly why. The fact that I'm a female and that I can do certain things better, I'm taking advantage of my qualities.
But the question is, right, is there a sort of glass ceiling that's prevented there from being a female president? Probably not really, because Hillary nearly got it, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
So there probably, I mean, I'm from the UK, right? We've had 3 female prime ministers now. So I reckon somebody will break through at some point. I don't believe there's a glass ceiling that's preventing a woman getting through. I think it's just been circumstantial, to be honest. I don't think there's anything that's holding a woman back from becoming president. of the USA.
No, at all. I never said that. It could happen, and it would be easy for her.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Meghan Markle, 2028.
The reason why the majority of the time it's been males is because naturally males are protectors, providers, and are in control.
Okay.
Most of the time.
Do you think men and women are equal?
I'm not sure if I can answer this question just based on there is nothing being given. Like there's so many different things that we can compare.
Are men and women equal?
And generally, like
look at the comparisons that you have in your mind.
I would say no.
No.
But then again, like I just said, there's so many things that we can compare. Like, but I don't think. Don't take me wrong with this, but I don't think everyone is equal. Like there's so many stuff that other people have that other people don't. So we're not. So I wouldn't say men and women are.
What about you? You think men and women are equal?
No, they're not. A man has a role, and so does a woman.
Okay. Do you believe in gender roles?
Yes.
But what is the man's role?
I mean, a man is, masculine. A man takes care of the household.
Mm-hmm. But most men don't.
So then,
then you need a new man.
Yeah. Right. I ain't saying my man.
I'm just saying, in general, you need a new man.
So what's your opinion about all the women at the table who want to play the male role, get to the bag, marry to the game?
There's nothing wrong with that because, you want to provide for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay. So would you call them manly?
Not at all, no. It's more self-care. You're taking care of yourself rather than having someone.
And it depends on everybody's situation.
Exactly.
Do you think trapping is self-care?
Hell yeah.
Jesus.
Way how you live.
So I don't know what trapping is.
Selling drugs and selling women.
But, or it could be selling coochie, like OnlyFans.
I don't sell coochie.
OnlyFans, like your OnlyFans. That's
but I don't
trapping.
sell
That's
coochie.
trapping. OnlyFans.
And I said it OnlyFans because I don't want to be like
trapping.
the majority.
A trap is just a hustle. You're a hustler.
No, because it's legal.
You're a future entrepreneur, right?
It's
so you're
legal
a trapper
though.
too. That's just a slang word for
prostitution is legal in Vegas.
Prostitution isn't the same thing as
No,
OnlyFans
it's
because
not.
nobody touches
No matter
me.
what
It is
you're
the same.
doing,
It's online prostitution.
Nobody touches me.
All
You're an entrepreneur,
right,
that's a trapper.
ladies.
Nobody touches
She was
me.
speaking. Let's let her
I mean, you
finish.
could get arrested for doing OnlyFans. So.
And
Yeah,
it's not legal in Las
entrepreneur
Vegas, actually.
Is a trapper.
Yeah.
OnlyFans is legal.
Okay. But
You're a future trapper, right?
Hey, can you please stop interrupting?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Back to what were we talking about?
Men and women, are they equal? You said no.
No, they
You said
are
that they
not.
have gender roles.
They do.
But you said that women can elect to work if they wanted. That doesn't make them manly.
If you choose to work and provide for yourself and do certain things that make you happy, or you're struggling, and this is the only way to provide for yourself, then so be it. You can't look down upon someone doing that.
Okay. What do you think about a guy that's a stay-at-home dad and the woman goes out and provides for him?
Okay, I don't know about that one.
Is that man feminine for staying inside the house?
Okay, no, because there are women that are just very, very intelligent. And why are you laughing?
No, keep going.
Anyway, there are women that are very intelligent, and they're smarter than some men.
Okay.
But in that situation, is the man feminine for staying at home?
Not at all.
have a
You're
question.
taking care. It's. I mean, it's your family. If that's
that
your
intelligent woman, she goes out all day, she's trapping, she's doing whatever, and then she comes home and her husband is wearing an apron.
He's her little bitch. Then.
No.
Okay, so that is feminine. If he's a little
Yeah,
bitch,
that's
that's
her
her
little
feminine.
bitch.
Can I ask a question?
One mic at a time.
It's really a question.
Yeah.
Does a beta man necessarily have to be considered feminine?
Yes.
No.
Ooh.
What's a beta man?
It's a good
to you?
question.
A beta man is
Let me
not an
before
alpha.
we do that, let's finish this line of questioning. Save that for because we're gonna let y'all ask us a question anyway, so don't worry. Okay, so gender roles is what you think.
Yeah.
All right. What about you?
No.
Are men and women the same? No. Why not?
For a lot of the reasons the other women stated, biologically, gender roles I do agree with to a certain extent. Yeah.
All right. Do you think men and women are equal?
Currently, no. Men and women are not equal.
But ideally,
economically, socially, but yes, they ought to be equal. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
You don't think that they're the same economically and socially?
No. There's certainly differences in American society and globally in which men are systemically advantaged over women.
Can you explain those?
Like what rights? What rights do we have in the West that women don't have?
And that segues to my second question. What rights and privileges do men have that women don't?
Well, there are some issues that pertain specifically to women, like reproductive rights, that don't apply to men. But even those specific issues are like rights. Women are not enfranchised with those rights like they should be. Like women should have access to comprehensive sex education, but most women are going to require additional rights that they need to be endowed with that don't apply to men, like access to abortions, contraception, etc.
But you're not really answering the question, though. The question is, what rights do men have that women don't have? I also can't kill a baby.
You don't have a baby growing inside of you, though.
You're presupposing that abortion is murder, right?
Yeah.
You believe abortion's murder?
100%.
You believe a fetus is the same as like a human being, a baby?
It's a life, yeah. So we both cannot kill babies. We're equal.
I mean, I don't.
Well, actually, she can still kill babies in certain states.
You can commit murder, though.
In certain states?
Yes, about 50% of the United States still allows for abortion.
For abortion, are you not pro-choice?
You know, surprisingly, I actually am pro-choice. But for women to say that they don't have the same rights and privileges as men is very interesting. And when it comes to reproduction, you guys unilaterally have all the rights. Men have zero reproductive rights.
Though.
Yeah, I understand that. But what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to reproductive rights, men have zero reproductive rights, whereas women have all the reproductive power.
They do.
What
They
are some
should
reproductive rights that you believe like men should have?
That's
that
their
they don't
choice.
currently
Well,
have?
here's the thing. Men, for example, if you have a child with a man, the man has zero right to anything with that baby. If you want to keep the baby or if you want to abort the baby, you have 100% control over that. That man has no control. So if you decide I'm going to have the baby and he's got to pay child support, well, that's on him. If you decide I don't want to have the baby and he wants the baby, he wants the child, he doesn't have any say in it.
So you're talking about like custodial rights?
He doesn't have rights, period. Men have zero reproductive rights in the United States or any first world Western country for that matter.
I mean, some men opt to have their name put on the birth certificate. That's not true.
You have the right to wear a
parental
condom.
rights.
That's
but
not
they don't have
productive rights.
That's not reproductive
Well,
rights.
it's because it's not your reproductive system.
You have the right to wear a condom.
Well,
if it was your body, then you could choose.
The right
that's
to wear a
that's not-
condom.
That's the other thing is that like, you know, it takes two. Assuming that
it takes two though.
Assuming it's a consensual interaction, take two to tango.
It almost always is.
Right. So, men know what they're getting into when they have consensual sex with a woman.
Yeah, but
and women know what they're getting into when they have consensual sex with a man. I think sex education is incredibly lacking because there are most pregnancies are accidental pregnancies.
Okay,
but like from there, you're saying that like men have no choice or whatever, and it's like, well, if you're choosing
sure, you can go first and now
to engage to have sex with a woman, you are accepting that responsibility that you may get her pregnant.
I think the point Myron's making though is that fundamentally, in a state where abortion is legal, the woman has the right to exercise that option, and the man does not have that right. That's where the disparity occurs.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that kind of.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I just think this line of questioning is kind of weird because reproductive rights is about your reproductive system. So if it's a woman's body that's going through the whole process of pregnancy, then it's her reproductive right because it's her system.
Reproduction is by default, by definition, actually a two-person tango.
Yeah, but reproductive.
But they're not talking about reproduction. When you talk about reproductive rights, not really talking about reproduction. You're talking about like the gestation of the, not like actual just act of sex. Or I guess it depends on what you mean like by reproduction. But like, this is such a weird word game because you know it doesn't. Two people don't grow the baby. It's just a woman, right?
Reproductive rights refers to the rights of your own body.
But you contradict yourself, y'all. When y'all say that, y'all as a woman, you contradict yourself. You can't say, "Oh, it's my reproductive system, so when I get pregnant, it's my choice." But then say you chose to nut in me. That's a fucking contradiction.
No.
Women are wrong in a sense for not allowing men to have a choice.
That's a contradiction. You can't say he has equal part because he nutted in you and got you pregnant. But now when it's down to your decision, now it's yours. You has no right.
Any woman that doesn't let a man have the choice in having the baby or not, they're wrong in that. But they're just wrong.
No, it's correct to say that obviously because the baby is gestated inside the woman, then it's her body, and therefore it's her decision whether she goes through with that birth or not. That makes sense. But I suppose the issue really is if the man in the equation is adamantly against bringing that child into the world, he raises those concerns with the woman, and she says, no, I'm going to go ahead with the birth. Then he has no right in that situation the same way that the woman does. I mean, yes, the woman physically births the child, but the father is compelled to have a child that he didn't want to have because he doesn't have the same option that the woman has. So I think that's the fundamental issue here.
Okay, that's a different issue than a person's own reproductive system. We can talk about parental rights and stuff like that, but I just want to make it clear that there's a difference between reproductive rights concerning your own system and just parental rights.
And those rights mean when you have the child, now he's forced to be a father when he doesn't want to be a fucking father.
He
so
should
no,
have the right.
Can I speak for a second? One mic at a time. I'm sorry.
We're all talking.
If you choose to have a child after you spoke to the nigga and he said, no, I don't want to have a child. Now you bitches go for child support and all the parental custody shit that comes later. It starts with the reproductive rights. So that's exactly what we're talking about. You guys keep going back and forth. No, once you decide, because we get the decision, to have the baby. Now he's forced to be a father when he didn't want to. That's the point. That's
He
should have pulled out.
Can I say something?
And you say
Like,
that after, but y'all
it
just
doesn't
be like,
matter.
come
Everyone
with me
says
too.
something.
No, we don't. Speak for yourself. That's what you say.
So Zena finished her point. You can go ahead, and then who else had something?
I
wanted
to
to
say you're right.
Hold on,
like,
hold on. Okay, you had something. You had something. Who else had something? I want to make sure everyone can get a chance. Who else did? You did? Okay. All right. So we'll go here, and then there, and then back.
Well, what I was gonna say is like she's right in a way. So like, if a man did not want to be a part of that baby's life, he should be able, right in the beginning, sign like, oh, if you're gonna keep this baby and I don't want nothing to do with it, sign something where she's claiming that she's gonna take full responsibility and he doesn't have to, pay child support. Because just like a woman, sometimes there's men that want to keep the baby, and the bitch be like, nah, I don't want this shit, and abort it. So it should be fair. Where if he don't want nothing to do with the baby, he could sign right away. So if she decides to keep it, well, bitch, that's on you.
So you're saying what should be. Okay. What about you?
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Like, if a man wanted his child, but the woman's like, "No, this is my body, and I get to commit murder."
So you guys were talking about the ideal. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
Like based on like what you're saying like if they decide to keep the baby, but they're talking about like, you're talking about taking abortion away. Like you're pro-choice.
You're gonna watch the Abby versus Lav debate. Wait,
pro-choice
what?
is no abortion.
No pro-life. Pro-life.
No, we didn't say nothing about
choice. But I'm saying like when if they doing that or whatever, like it's harder. I say like if we're taking abortion away, I'm bringing this topic in.
We didn't say take abortion.
We didn't say
I said I'm taking.
We said reproductive rights, meaning both people should be
reproductive rights,
involved.
meaning taking.
That's not what that means.
No, we're saying if a man wants a baby,
both have say.
Once you understand, I'll move it to her, and then just
I was bringing a topic
formulate your
in.
thoughts, and then come back. Somebody else had something over here. Go ahead.
I did.
Yeah.
So I feel like what Pxie said, a lot of confliction is going on between reproductive rights versus legal and custodial rights. So where do you feel like the inequality lies here, where women are empowered in a way that men aren't legally?
We got to start from zero and then work our way forward. Number one, when it comes to reproduction, it's a two-part process. You cannot have it occur without the male being involved because sperm needs to come in and hit the egg for it, right? So what I'm saying is that men have zero reproductive rights because women choose who lives and dies when it comes to birthing in the United States. Then from there, if you guys want to talk about parental rights, men virtually have no parental rights either. Women win 90% of the custody battles, and they get the child most of the time. The woman has to be a damn near crackhead and a multi-time convicted felon to be able to lose custody of the child.
Women don't win most custody battles, by the way. Men win most custody battles.
Zero, and then we want to talk about
women
parental
usually
rights,
get custody because it's usually
zero.
uncontested.
So realistically speaking, going back to the original question, what rights and privileges do men enjoy that women don't?
And that's actually a privilege that women have that we don't have any say in.
Well, like as far as reproductive rights that you think men are entitled to, do you believe that men should be able to dictate whether or not another adult woman should be forced to have an abortion or to carry a child to term?
Well, if the men should be able to have a say. If you're able to kill the baby, then I should have a say in killing a baby too.
You guys don't know what it does to our body, how we feel,
or have the way,
anything.
right
it's not
to
your
sign off on a
reproductive
baby.
system. That's the
Guys,
problem. We're talking
But
about
men do
reproductive.
have
your body.
your
Well, like,
Once again, ladies, I get that you guys are in your feelings right now. Like, hey, it's my body, it's reproductive, it tears my body up.
This isn't
All I'm
feelings.
simply saying, hold on. We're talking facts, not feelings.
Change the subject.
No, it's simple. You have all the reproductive rights. Men don't. That's all I'm saying. We're not talking about what's good, what's not, what we should be, what could it be. What I'm saying, yo, stop talking, bro.
My bad.
Anyway, what I'm saying is that the fact is this: women have all the reproductive rights in any first world country. Men have zero. Now, whether it's moral or not is a different thing. That's another discussion. I'm just saying the fact is men have zero reproductive rights, and that is a fact. That's not disputable.
Well, you have control over who you have sex with, right?
It doesn't matter. What I'm talking about is when the sperm hits the egg and a pregnancy is there,
once a woman is
the
fertilized,
reproductive
it all lies with her.
process, the man loses all the rights, which is the debate what we're having. We're not talking about, because you guys are trying to bring it to feelings of, but my body, my choice, maybe I don't want to do it.
Men
blah,
have
blah, blah.
reproductive rights that pertain to themselves, but never ones that would extend to another woman, you know?
But
like if you want to get a vasectomy,
the point is
that falls under male reproductive rights.
The point is that we're so blessed to be females. Look how privileged we are. We need to be grateful. Who's a single mother here?
Yeah, me. But a man,
you know how much right we got.
But a man can't reproduce without. I mean, a woman can't reproduce.
We got
without
mad
a man.
rights.
Okay,
Okay,
and
so-
I feel like this is being derailed.
Okay, so
Oh my god, let me on. Fuck me. I'm so frustrated listening to this.
We just got to have some ground rules here. The fact is that men have zero reproductive rights. That's a fact. That's not to be disputed. We're not talking
Damn.
about the
Argument
whether
one.
it's moral or not. That's a whole other discussion. Now, going back to the
Myron.
original question. What rights and privileges do men have that women don't?
I know one.
Hold on, wait your turn.
Rights that men have that women
And
don't.
if you can't think of one, I'll move on to the next person. Maybe you could think of one.
No, as far as like on paper, no, men and women legally and nominally have the same rights.
Okay.
But obviously, if we look at a lot of society, the inequalities within society between men and women lead.
Yeah, you were talking about like
different lives and stuff
systemic
disadvantages.
Disadvantages. Like what?
Like I mean, I'm pro-choice, so I see
We went over
women's
that.
inability to be able to exercise and procure an abortion.
We should have rehearsed
as
this, I
an
guess.
infringement upon women's rights.
Okay.
You know.
Well, they can
Like-
at least go to another state where it's illegal and get it done there.
Yeah, but why should they have to?
They have the ability to, whereas
You
men
have
don't
the
at all.
ability to, right? But in the same way that it's like you have the ability to become a billionaire, right, and make tons of money, there's going to be other social obstacles that prevent you from doing so that are not legal. You know, there's nothing stopping me from becoming a billionaire, but am I going to be a billionaire tomorrow?
Well,
No.
your merit and your hard work is what stops you from being a billionaire.
That might be one thing, but there's
That's
a
a
lot of
victim
other
mindset to take.
social advantages. No, I feel like that's just acknowledging the descriptive reality. Like, why aren't you a billionaire?
Working towards it.
Working towards being a billionaire?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It all
but, like,
depends on your
what-
mindset.
But
You think that the only thing that's going to determine your income over the span of your lifetime is just a mindset? You don't think it's going to have anything to do with your social circumstances, your upbringing, your educational attainment, how much familial and generational wealth you already have?
I mean, with
your
that
race,
mindset,
your
we can go
gender?
ahead and look at everybody that made it out of the hood to the NBA or to the NFL, or they were able
No,
to
those are
overcome some
exceptional
crazy.
people.
Yeah.
The
But
exceptions
they're
don't prove the rule.
Exception to the rule.
Yeah.
Like most people, you know, anybody could do it, but not everybody can, right?
Here's the
Yeah,
thing.
but I mean, going to a different state to have an abortion with respect, I think that's a slightly
that's
different level of topic than becoming a billionaire.
I mean, if
I'm still trying to figure out. I'm still trying to.
Your whole scenario was saying in an idealistic world, men and women are equal and that women are disadvantaged. What can they do besides like the kill and baby thing?
Plan B. If a man nuts and you know you don't want to have a baby, plan B.
We're past that.
Why
We're
men
past
don't
that.
have birth control?
Okay,
They do.
Let's move on to
They
that.
do.
Really?
Yeah,
do.
they
Yes.
do.
You want to move on though?
Myron,
But
why
they
can't
can't
men?
handle
What is something that women are not able to do that men can do?
Legally, I mean, we had a disagreement over the reproductive rights, but my point is that, like,
Do you have anything else besides that?
no.
Okay,
That's,
so
that was one example.
Well, she tried to say systemic advantage is what I'm trying to get to, and she's saying that socioeconomic, blah blah blah. But I
Like,
still don't
social-
understand.
There are social advantages that are going to influence like systems of government
Okay.
and have downstream effects that affect women specifically.
Give me an example of what affects women negatively that doesn't also affect men.
Body count.
Yeah, socially are
Yeah,
like
that's straight up.
like,
talking
our
about
body
rights.
counts.
I agree with
I'm talking
that.
about rights and
He's talking
privileges.
about rights.
Okay,
Rights
if
and
we're gonna
privileges.
let's talk about privilege, right?
Okay, go ahead. Sure.
If we're talking about how we perceive each other in society, it's a straight up fact that if men apparently sleep with a lot of women, they're seen as a higher status, right?
that's not true.
Well, according to a lot of people here, it is, right?
No, it's getting to that point where you can sleep with a lot of women, but having a lot of sex with different women does not make you a high status male.
I'm happy you think that. A lot
That
of men
makes you
don't
ran
think that. Either way, it's
Go ahead.
not, you don't see women or you don't see people call men whores after sleeping with a bunch of women.
Women
You
call
you
women call
them-
women whores first.
Yeah, exactly.
Women call women whores more than men.
I know,
Oh,
but
that's
I'm
the
not
pick
saying
me.
women-
You're
Let's let her, hold on. Let's let
women
her
shame
finish her
women.
point, guys. Let's let her finish her point. So, are you trying to help her out with the privilege thing?
Well, yeah, if we're talking about privileges in society.
Can you wait till I get to you then? And then
yeah,
okay.
Sure.
All right. So you couldn't really name anything outside of random.
No, I could name them, but we have a fundamental disagreement about like to what extent men are entitled to have reproductive rights over women's reproductive systems.
Okay, we went over that. All right. What about you? Are there any rights or privileges that you could think of that men have that women don't?
No.
No. What about you?
I honestly can't think of
Can't?
anything.
You guys have had
either.
plenty of time to think about it, so I hope y'all got something. If something, any rights or privileges that men have that women don't?
A privilege. I mean, you guys can feel safer more of the time. Like the privilege is like
That's not true.
when you go outside.
Men are
when you-
66% more likely to be the victims of violent crime.
when you-
Perpetrated by
I'm
other
asking
men,
you
right?
Personally,
Yes.
personally.
So we're all
But she said
in
feeling
danger
safe.
from men.
It doesn't matter who the other person is.
What
but
would you say?
the
Oh, for
homicide rate
rights
is way
of
higher for men.
men
Yeah.
over women.
Yeah, risk of
Violent crime in
more.
general. So
Okay, you know what? I'm actually really glad these people are here because now I can speak a little bit more. The method to my madness. I don't know if I would ever take on this question. I think I would move on to something else. A lot of the times you guys are like push back, push back, push back, push back. This is kind of what it would sound like. Like, am I really going to push back on like socioeconomic disadvantages of people when I'm talking to a bunch of people who don't even really believe in structural advantages and disadvantages that much? Like, their message is largely going to be like, oh, overcome, oh, be the exception, oh, people can make it out of the hood, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm not going to argue with that type of person over systemic or structural advantages and advantages. I'm going to move on to another topic. Just because the ground you have to cover to make a compelling argument here is really vast, and it's just not worth it. Yeah, but this is like one of those moments. This is what it sounds like when you try to push back. Like, they're just going to ask, like, what's the law? What's the law that changes? It's like, well, it's not really a law. It doesn't work that way, you know? So you have to find like one or two really good examples and then maybe move on from there if you want to, but.
You feel when you go
Picking your
outside,
battles is really important.
Like,
no, I don't like to. We don't like to walk around with the victim mindset. That's worse. That's going to make you a victim more often.
I don't think that's
that
a
way.
victim mindset.
That's exactly what it is.
Contending with
walk
reality
around,
that like there are some areas of life and society that are more dangerous than
she
others.
said you
in
walk
specific
around
genders.
scared. Just because I know the homicide rate is higher for men, it doesn't mean that I'm going to walk around scared with pepper spray all the time. I'm just going to move my head on a swivel and be more confident, be more aware.
Or not go into those dangerous areas.
But do you feel more comfortable being a man? Like, oh, if something happens to me, I have more of a potential to save myself?
Not me.
As a man, do you feel like you two as men?
That were more. What's the question?
Do you feel more comfortable? Like, if you were walking alone by yourself in the dark, would you feel more comfortable? Like, I'm okay.
Then who? Then you?
Than a woman.
Her question, she didn't phrase it correctly. What she's asking you is, do you feel more capable defending yourself against threats as a man versus a woman?
Yeah, of course. But the statistics don't reflect that. Like, having that victim mindset, that just because you feel more unsafe doesn't mean that you are at risk of violence more than.
That's what you're asking, right?
Say, yeah, but I wouldn't say it's a victim mindset. It's we have to be more cautious than men.
No, you don't. The statistics do not reflect that.
Maybe you guys put yourselves in that situation for it to be the statistics be. I'm drunk. Sorry. The statistics to be so high, though. You guys put yourselves in these violent crimes for the statistics to be so high. Females don't engage into that stuff. That's why the statistics are so high.
That could be.
But but normally.
Uh,
All right, if you're drunk, bro, we gonna move on. Okay.
I can
so, bro,
see what she's saying. Like we're saying like because we're more cautious, maybe that's the reason why.
If you were more cautious, you would not be put in precarious situations where your safety is at risk. Hence, you would not be a victim of violent crime.
So on a normal day, men walking down the street at night are more safer than women because we end up.
Incorrect. Men are far more likely to be the victims of violent crime.
Because like what we're saying, robbed or something.
Yes,
women too.
absolutely.
To get raped, killed, put in a ditch, in the trunk.
Look. The thing is, you guys watch too many true crime dramas. The reality is that men are far more likely to be the victims of violent crime than women are. That's just a fact. That's not even.
Because you guys, I feel like you guys put yourselves in that.
It's not about I feel like or what I think or whatever. I'm just telling you what the fact
reality.
It's just what it is. All right. Are there any rights or privileges that men have that women don't?
I don't know if this is a right or a privilege, but I've worked a very long time in sales, and yes, it's easier for women to sell more because they're women, but it is harder for us to, for example, close a big deal negotiating.
Can you hear the sound effects in the
sometimes
headphones?
when they see you as a woman, they might not take you serious. But I don't really know if that's a right or a privilege.
Okay, so you think that women don't get taken seriously in
sometimes in negotiations?
Okay. Do you think that has to do with your inherent gender, or rather your skill set, knowledge, and ability to close the deal?
Gender when it comes to
All right, yeah, we're gonna kill the Twitch stream. Come on over to Rumble, guys. Rumble.com/freshandfit, because we said simple a few times. Sorry, go ahead.
Where was I?
Okay, so I asked you because you said you have issues being a woman. You have issues closing deals and being taken seriously in a boardroom. And I'm saying, is it realistically because you're a woman? Rather, is it because of an inability to speak correctly? Maybe you dress a certain way that they don't take you seriously. Maybe your tonality sucks. Maybe you're just not as
Sometimes it's a very a masculine business that normally men negotiate in. So then that's why this female. Why would I close this big deal with a female? Like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes we get seen like that.
Okay.
But I do think, for example, in domestic violence, when it comes to the law, we do have a lot of right because they always go with what the woman says.
Yeah. But the question was, what rights and privileges does a man have that you don't?
You just said the opposite.
Honestly, no.
Nothing.
Can't think of anything? The only one you can think of is maybe the boardroom of sales?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
What about you?
The difficulty with that is, of course, it gets anecdotal because, like, for example, in the media industry, in the advertising industry in the UK, most of the people in senior positions are now female, and they're closing big deals, and they're getting those deals done. So we'd have to drill down into the data to see if that's really accurate or not. But
and that's why I asked you, is it really your gender or is it your ability? Okay, what about you? What right or privilege do women have that men don't? Or sorry, do men have that women don't? Excuse me.
What privileges do men have that
women
privileges
don't?
That
rights or
men,
privileges that men have that women don't.
And
if you can't think of one, it's fine. I'll move on.
Yeah, just move on.
Fantastic.
Come back to me, maybe.
What about you, Zena? Can you think of one?
Rights-wise, I've read the Bill of Rights, and women and men are equal when it comes to that. They have the same rights. Privilege.
The Bill of Rights was drafted when women couldn't f***ing vote, and when black people were slaves. By the way, like, bro.
Women have their vagina.
Okay, so there's nothing that men have. There's no advantages that men have.
I mean, okay, privilege-wise, I guess men. Okay, if we get into it, they have their strength, they have their skill, they have logical thinking. They're more, yeah, they're just more logical. So, and tactical.
All right.
Strength.
What about you?
Yeah, everything was already said.
Oh my God.
Okay, go ahead. I know your opinion on this. Sure, go ahead. Take it.
I have
Well, before I go to you, because I know you're going to be opinionated. What about you? A right or privilege that men have that women don't?
Well, I don't agree that most men are more logical than women, but a good privilege I would say y'all have is being able to whip it out and piss. That's all. I mean, I wish I could just do that sometimes.
Okay. Well, logically, the logic thing that you're saying it's a fact. Men are a lot more logically sound and rational than women are. That has been.
That's what you guys.
That's why they run the world.
That's not a fact.
No,
that's
that's
not
a
a fact.
feeling.
That's a men opinion.
That is 1,000% a fact. If I lined up, ladies, we have to have some kind of like understanding here, basic concept of how the world works.
I guess it's more logical than every man I've ever met.
Okay, your personal experience does not necessarily reflect reality. Just because you may be an exceptional woman when it comes to the ability to, deductive problem solve does not mean that other women can do that. Everything that you guys see was built by men. Everything that you see that's been invented by men. Men are deductive problem solvers. Men built the first world that you guys currently enjoy now. Women don't really build or contribute to society like that. Women extract resources and use them. Men create the resources. It's been that way. That's a fact.
It's probably
It's done. Hold on. Stop interrupting, dude. Stop interrupting. All right. So, the reason why I say that men are more rationally sound and deductive problem solvers is because the world that you guys enjoy right now has been created by men. And the reason why men are more rational, if you look at STEM, science, technology, engineering, or math, fields that typically tend to be more rationally sound, deductive problem solving, are dominated by men. This isn't up for debate. Men and women's brains are 100% wired differently. Men prioritize ration and logic. Women prioritize emotion.
Okay, I think that's really interesting. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Well, before you do that, did you want to hit the privilege thing? Because I know that can go into another tangent.
Oh, I can go really long on the privilege thing, but I'll try to keep it short.
Go ahead.
So
we'll get back to the I can't believe that we can't agree on that, but we'll come back to the male and female, logic and rational. But if I lined up 100, so just to finish, if I lined up 100 men and 100 women, those men would be far more rationally sound than those women.
Okay.
And the world you enjoy nowadays is the byproduct of men being rational, deductive problem solvers.
The reason we're able to be in this room and sit down and talk about this is because if something goes down, we're going to call a man. We're going to call the policeman. We're going to call the security. If there's a fire, we're going to call the firemen. Men are the reason that we're even able to be in here talking about this.
It's such a weird
that everybody.
What if you have to go to the hospital because somebody gets shot and there's like a nurse that's attending to you? I mean, like,
wait.
All right, but let's go back to
pretty sure there are female police officers. Maybe you think they'll shoot you in an accident.
Like the original question. So what privileges?
The security guard that works downstairs that actually lets people in or out of these rooms is a woman, because I've been to this place like 4 times.
Circumstances that they're not.
Such as?
Okay, so for example, Yale had an interesting study. They actually had 2 different studies. One of them involved a list of resumes, where they had resumes of women that were a lot more qualified than the men. Now, when they gave the resumes to the scientists to decide who would you hire, who would you not, for example, they would always pick the men, even though the women were more qualified. Now, when they blanked the names, when they couldn't see who was male, who had a male-sounding name, who had a female-sounding name, guess what? The women were picked more when they had a better reputation in those resumes. Another example of this is when it comes to music, for example. They did a study where they were deciding, okay, who's going to be in the orchestra, who's not, et cetera, et cetera. The men were always overwhelmingly picked until they decided to have blind auditions, where curtain down, you can only hear the music. Guess what? It started being 50-50 when it came to picks of music. So those are 2 small examples of how men are seen to be more qualified even when they're not.
That's kind of like my
I'm
example.
familiar even with that second study. They had to conduct it one more time because a variable that they didn't account for was that women were more likely to wear high heels, and that the sound of their high heels clicking across the stage impacted the judge's ability to neutrally judge them blind.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting study.
So it seems like in general, men are seen as more capable when they're not.
What was the sample size?
The sample size?
Oh my God.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe it was randomly conducted anyways.
Okay.
But either way, like, there's
Get out of here.
Various studies when it comes to this. I'm pretty sure
What
we
was
can
the
find a
sample
metadata study if
size?
you
Oh
want
my
right
God.
now. Like, we can just...
That's kind of like my example. That's kind of my example, but that's not it. That's really a right or a privilege.
She's saying that men have more privilege with getting selected. Where in science was the position. What was the position specifically that the men were selected over the women in?
Yes, in STEM, even though they had less qualifications STEM-wise. When they did the blind studies, when they decided to blank out the names, the women who had more qualifications in STEM started getting picked more.
Okay, well, realistically speaking, if a woman applies for a STEM job and a man applies for a STEM job, that woman is far more likely to get the position because of affirmative action. And all these job fields overwhelmingly want women in them versus men.
They overwhelmingly want women, but that doesn't mean that necessarily always
So that
translates
refutes
to the picking
your
process.
claim you just made just now,
No, it does
that
not refute the
women are
claim.
more likely to get, men are more likely to get the same positions, when in reality, these jobs, right? Anything that's male dominated, whether it's construction, law enforcement, STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, plumbing, even any type of blue labor job, if a woman applies, they're going to want to put her there for some type of workplace diversity.
But we just
over a man.
demonstrated how it's not a matter of a lack of educational attainment on the female candidates' parts.
Because it's not about
STEM
the
fields.
education.
It's about trying to dismantle these social biases that exist against women, even though they're more than qualified to be in these positions and be in these sectors already.
Is it possible that there are societal biases against men though? Because what we're talking about, because what we're talking about here is really is I suppose, for want of a better term, it's soft power, isn't it? It's a perception thing. There's this perception that the woman, there's this perception that the woman isn't going to be as good as the job as the man in these studies. But I mean, is there not equal perceptions that go to the detriment of men in society as well? You know,
yeah, I mean, I've seen these resume studies before as well, where a man and woman are both equally qualified, and when they take the names off, they overwhelmingly pick the women. Like, I mean, I've seen it both ways.
How would they overwhelmingly pick the woman if they don't know it's a woman name?
No, I'm saying, like, I've seen it where the person, right, he has a job resume and he didn't get hired, but applies to the same positions, changes it to a female name, they give him a call back.
That's interesting. I guess generally speaking, the reason why I said that what you said doesn't refute my point.
Women are good for the workforce.
Okay.
Like, this is why feminism is done so well, because employees want women in. Women are easier to basically get to pay less because women are more agreeable. Women tend to work less hours. Women tend to be more representative of the entire population. They
Why would you want somebody who works less hours and takes more time off?
They represent the company well. People want to have women around.
It's a little bit dishonest to frame that like women want to take more time off. You're talking about things related to like paternity leave, right?
That's a fact. Women overwhelmingly the whole gender wage gap thing.
The reason why they want to take time off is because of maternity leave, right?
That's part of it.
Yeah.
But women in general take more vacation time. They work
like they want to take time off to go like on vacation.
No. Hold on. Because, and what I was going to get at here is that women earn less because they deserve less. And the reason for that is because women overwhelmingly take more vacation time. They work less dangerous jobs. They work less hours. They work less hard manual labor jobs. They go into the top 10 fields that pay the least versus men going to the top 10 fields that pay the most. So the reason why women earn less a lot of the times is because of their own personal choice. And on top of that, let's add in that women dominate college attendance. So there's no excuse to be making less.
I disagree with a lot of those presuppositions.
Everything I said was a fact.
But even if I grant you some of those premises, you're saying that women are being unfairly advantaged in certain STEM positions where they're being selected simply because employers want to have more women in their industries, right?
I've seen women that are less qualified than men get positions, whether it's STEM, plumbing. I'll never forget, one girl came on the show.
That's anecdotal.
She was in plumbing school. No, that's true.
It's true, but anecdotal.
It's anecdotal, but that does not make it less valid. I've seen a woman that literally couldn't even pull a wrench, got the job as a plumber because she was a woman. Okay?
Yeah.
I've seen other times where women...
That business was probably led by a man, right?
Yes.
Why would he hire an incompetent employee?
Because it diversifies the workplace. Affirmative action.
Why would
affirmative action
Wait,
diversifies the workplace.
Choice, right?
What was that?
I feel like you're saying, oh, they're willing to diversify the workplace. But if you're saying this is a bad employee and
For
bad
plumbers?
candidate, that's not a logical choice. So it seems really weird to me that if men
That proves my point.
No, look, can I finish, please?
Go ahead.
So if you're saying men are more logical, they're ruling the workplace,
Yeah.
you know, they're the ones who get everything. Why are they making the so illogical choice of hiring women that are less qualified? It seems like there has to be some underlying
Okay,
logic.
here's the thing. Having 1 or 2 female employees that are incompetent and not as efficient does not override the other 80 maybe male employees that are competent and they're able to simultaneously, look, we're not sexist. We have women that work for us. We have female plumbers, etc. The image, okay, the positivity of the image of being a diversified workplace overrides the minor loss of time and efficiency with the woman.
In the vast majority of cases,
Yes.
women are simply hired over male candidates.
A lot of
just
the time.
for PR reasons.
100%. I'll give you an example. I was a former special agent of Homeland Security Investigations, okay? Within all the federal law enforcement agencies, there were announcements specifically for women to get them on the job. Why? Well, I'll be honest with you. A lot of the times when I worked with female agents or female law enforcement personnel, they weren't as good as the guys. I'll just be honest. They
But
they
that's your
couldn't.
personal opinion.
By what metric would you say that they were not as competent as the men?
Okay, well, they almost are never represented in SWAT teams for physical reasons, of course. Title III intercepts, right? And wiretapping phones, doing big case investigations, OCDFs, etc. Overwhelmingly men. Okay, so I rarely saw female investigators competing with the guys. Now we could say, oh, well, there's not that many, etc. Which is why they worked really hard to get more female agents. But when the females come in, they typically do things that involve people. What do? They do outreach. They go to the schools. Hey, work this job. It's a fantastic career. They're going and dealing with victims, which is cool because women tend to be more interested in people versus men are more interested in things.
But do you consider that less important, or do you
That
consider
sounds
that
like
also
a
very
key.
important?
Well, to the mission of the agency, it's at the bottom of the totem pole. The mission of the agency is to go after the top criminals and use sophisticated means to go after the top criminals, not necessarily do outreaches at universities. Though that's a valid way to, I guess, is valid. That at the end of the day, the agency is there to arrest the worst criminals.
Well,
So-
even in criminal justice sectors, what do you think is used more, a pen or a gun?
What does that have to? I'm still confused. Like,
Well,
what-
like just hear my question. In sectors of criminal justice related to law enforcement, SWAT teams, even FBI investigations, how often would you say it's more likely that those employees need to use a pencil throughout their day or a gun? And
writing
violence
reports and
strength?
being intelligent is the most important thing in running investigations.
I feel like you didn't answer. Oh wait, writing. So you're saying
But
pen?
metaphorically, because no one writes anymore. But yes, you could say writing
Right,
using a
and
pen.
typing stuff like this.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, I acknowledge that, like, on average, of course, men are more strong than women. I'll grant you that any day of the week. That's absolutely true. But how relevant is physical strength, even in jobs and sectors
That's
like this?
my point.
that
It's not that
demand it?
relevant, and the men still dominate. What I'm trying to say, ladies, that the only reason I even brought that up, that's just one nuanced example.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that in law enforcement, construction, engineering, technology, any type of position that is male dominated, when women enter, they're greeted with open arms and they get a hiring benefit over men. There are female only announcements for women in law enforcement, construction, and STEM, etc. That could you imagine if they had a male only announcement? It would never fly. They would immediately be sued.
Well, there's no
I
need
got a
for
story.
only announcements when you're saying these fields are already dominated so much by men, right?
But
I think what we're
I got a
forgetting
story. I got a real life story.
I like how Sneako is not contributing. Yeah, someone brought it up. Myron is arguing the whole panel.
Why do you think they choose not to say that?
Sneako's not saying anything. Why?
Why do women choose not to get into
Because they're
those
interested in
careers?
people, not things.
You don't welcome us at, like, with
I got a
open
story.
arms.
So I
No,
think-
I feel like we've demonstrated that there are women who are interested in these things.
Yeah,
But then
very.
you're already assuming that they're necessarily less competent than their male counterparts.
Everything
So
you
then it's
said
not
is
even for
opinion.
lack of interest. You're saying that they're just like always going to be more remedial, less skilled
There's
than their male
a
counterparts.
multitude of reasons as to why they may not choose to go into certain fields or whatever.
Absolutely.
But it's a bunch of different things. Women just aren't interested in the same things that men are.
Is that really true though?
Yes.
Or women?
Yes, and I'll
Okay,
prove you
well,
right
no,
now.
I have.
It's true.
Wait.
She's not lying.
Let me
Definitely
say
an
something
opinion.
quickly, please.
Definitely.
So I always think
Ladies
that's
gotta
really
stop.
interesting
Gotta stop.
because people say, oh, you know, women, men, they're just not interested in the same things. But then I think about an interesting study from a university recently that talks about the first classes that women take, right? And men take in their first year of university. There was a course that had to do with computer logic, right? Computer programming. And when they put the title computer programming, it was overwhelmingly men who applied. But when they changed it to something that sounded more English, more language related, I think it was like language of, I don't exactly remember what it was, but basically they rephrased the computer science class to sound more liberal arts. And then the rate of women who applied increased, right? Dramatically. Wait, let me finish, right? So then you might be thinking, oh, doesn't that prove the point? Women are just more interested in languages? Well, it seems that the retention of women who realized it was a computer logic course and decided to apply next year to the next level of it was extremely high. It was like over, I think, 50 to 70%. It was around that range. So if you're really saying women are less interested in, let's say, computer science, then that retention rate wouldn't make sense. It would go dramatically down the next year, but it didn't. Which shows that, hey, maybe the barrier of entry is a little bit more intimidating to women, but once they're in these fields, it seems like they do like it.
Okay, so here's the thing. They've already proved this, that women are interested in people and men are more interested in things. In the Scandinavian countries, where it's the most egalitarian and the most equal, okay?
Wait, why did somebody say this was not symmetrical?
What they found is the women
is.
revert even more to what they naturally want to do, okay? The women go more into the social sciences, more into the nursing, more into the social work, etc. And the men go even more into the science, technology, engineering, and math. This has been proven in Scandinavian countries, which are far ahead of us when it comes to egalitarianism and equality. So simply put, women are interested in different things than men are, and there's nothing wrong with that, but we are biologically different, which changes the way we view the world, the way we view each other, the way we view work. And here's the other thing too. This is an unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway. When it comes to creating resources and excess wealth, women are just lazy, and that's the truth. If you look at most of the millionaires, most of the people that are high net worth, etc., if you look versus all the women that are high net worth, they got it through divorce, they got it through inheritance, etc. Men, on the other hand, earn the money. Why? The reason why is because there is a burden on performance for men to earn money, and there isn't on women. So a lot of the times, the women that do earn a lot of money do it electively, but they don't do it mandatorily. There's a difference. There is a burden of performance on men.
Have you considered in Scandinavian countries, right? You're saying, oh no, like you see women are more into these gender roles, et cetera, et cetera. But in these Scandinavian countries, it seems like there's no real incentive to change or to go more into, like, let's say STEM fields, if all the women fields are being paid an equal amount, if not extremely high. So for example, teaching is paid really high.
Stop. What is the ratio between, okay, they did a German study, 100 men, 100 women, they all tested the same on the IQ. What was the ratio of who quit first? What was the ratio? Please tell me. That's what I want to know.
I don't know what German study
Women give up before men. Women are emotional and they give up before men, and that's why in most cases, I'm going back on the study. Can I speak, please? 1 second, one mic at a time. So while you spoke about those two studies from the college, Yale, whatever you spoke about, do you know why when they knew which gender it was that they chose men, even though that the women were higher qualified? Because y'all are emotional. We're emotional as and we speak with emotion and we get hyped as men will continue the task until it's over.
Okay.
Women will give up when frustration comes through. It's very rare that a woman will finish.
I just want to point this
out. Emotional fuck.
And then you've been trying to talk for a minute too, right? Do you actually have something productive to say? We're gonna just give a drunk statement like.
I'm not. I'm not even drunk.
I want you to.
I have a question for
let her go.
We are not equal, and I spelled equal wrong.
Yeah,
zoom in.
Yo, okay, we're gonna move it.
No, but for real, like the point is, like, we're obviously not equal. Like y'all bad and y'all showing it right now. Y'all like, cause y'all emotional. Y'all gotta chill, and that's the whole point. Like, yes, they have some privilege that you guys are right about, because I gave a little example, kind of, but shorter. Y'all smart as fuck. Y'all know how to talk. Y'all got the studies and shit. But the point is, yes, we are not equal, and we are privileged. We're super blessed. And y'all just ungrateful. Like, chill. That's it.
That's fine.
Let's change the subject. Let's talk about I want to talk about something that's not so funny.
Yo, chill.
I want to ask a question.
We're gonna let her finish her point. Go ahead.
I actually want to break down a previous point. People are acting as if emotion and logic are completely separate dichotomies. They're not, and I can prove it to you right now. If a car is going to, I will. If a car is going at you 70 miles per hour and you're standing in the middle of the road, what do?
My perspicacity means I'll backflip over that shit. What's up?
Wait, what she said?
That's what. Okay, she said she'd backflip over the car.
And I will.
Backflip.
The vast majority of people, when they see a car going 70 miles per hour at them, they run out of fear.
Who runs?
Right? So a lot of people would say, oh, that's an emotional response. Fear is an emotional response. But think about it. Historically speaking, why would you have that fear? oh, because your brain knows automatically that if that car hits you, you die. That is a logical response. Emotions aren't completely separate from logic, and pretending it is just ignoring the reality of our emotions. If somebody is insulting you, making you feel bad, saying horrible shit to you, of course you're going to feel sad. That's an attack on you. That's not illogical. So this idea that emotions and logic are completely separate.
These are like defense mechanisms.
Yeah.
And in some cases, they can secure your survival.
Literally.
The emotional response to a car coming at you would be doing what the deer does and just standing there and actually being paralyzed in fear, because fear is an emotion. The logical response is running. Yeah, the emotional, the logical response is getting out of the way.
Wait, I got a question. Have any of you ever been in that situation? Because I've been held at gunpoint. So wait. I've been held at gunpoint. Let's go. What did you do? Because when I was held at gunpoint, bitch, I was sitting there stuck. I didn't run. I didn't run. So has a car come speeding at you and you just ran? Because it's very rare that a person actually is able to stop. That's why it's called ice choice.
Today.
Okay, right? Listen, somebody died, so we're not gonna get into that. But at the end of the day, may I finish speaking? I finish speaking because this is the worst panel. Y'all keep speaking the one bitch is speaking. Like, you're emotional. Accept the fact, because every time I'm talking, you hear what you want to hear and you want to pitch in. Let me finish my sentence.
Yeah, because we let y'all talk.
Here we go again.
No. We let them
talk.
Ladies.
Let one bitch talk at a time.
Lena, chill. Ladies.
Can we use another word other than bitch?
Ladies.
Yeah.
Queen.
Can I say something?
No, wait. Ladies is nice.
Can we let each other speak? Okay, please. So how many of you at this table have been in a situation where they were held either at gunpoint or you've had a speeding car coming at you at 150,000 miles and you didn't do the fucking backflip? How many of you?
I didn't do a backflip.
One or two. Okay. So since you like to use the word anecdotal a lot, you have no experience, so why are you speaking on it? Come on.
Okay.
You're speaking on what you thought everybody else would do, but you've never even been in that experience. You don't have the anecdotal experience to speak on that. And I'm still speaking, and I'm still speaking, and I'm still speaking, and I'm still speaking. But it's okay.
You asked me a question, so then I was going to respond.
Well, you did I finish my sentence? Did I drop the mic? Did I drop the mic?
I don't can't drop it. But
I have a question. Can I ask a question? Lighten the mood up a little bit.
I think fundamentally, I think it's I don't want to say disingenuous, but I don't think that whether you stand there like a deer in the headlights or whether you run like hell when the car comes towards you, I don't think that impulse in that moment can be said to be logical. I think you can apply logic to it afterwards. You can say yes, it was
correct.
Obviously, it was logical because otherwise you're going to get killed by the car. But I think
it's an emotional response. You're relying on instinct.
The decision to run or stand there like a deer in the headlights is entirely emotional.
Yeah. I mean, she's saying the culmination of several instantaneous emotional decisions secured your survival in that sense.
Well,
and
you can apply.
Involve that in solving a math quiz. Is that the same thing as solving a math quiz? No, you get frustrated and give up. Like, you can't think straight. Like, I was medicated on Adderall growing up. I know what it is I graduated when I was 14 years old. So it's not the same as getting almost ran over by a car. That's not the same emotion versus logic, because when I get frustrated as a woman and I'm not able to solve a problem, I'm getting frustrated. I can't even solve the problem till I'm calmed down later, and I come back later non-emotional and I can solve the problem with logic. It's not the fucking same. You're using an example. You're using an example of a car speeding at you versus solving a math quiz. Like, come on.
All right,
not the
Zena,
same.
chill out. So, ladies, I think the takeaway here is that men are superior deductive problem solvers, especially in the face of pressure. If you don't believe me, this is why if you look at Formula 1 drivers, NASCAR drivers, professional chess players, etc., where there's no necessary strength difference, right? But it's just like, okay, operating under pressure,
you can fight against this. There's no reason to think this is true. There's no good reason to think it's true.
And if they weren't, there'd be more female chess champions. There'd be more Formula 1 drivers that were women. There would be more pilots that were women. But men overwhelmingly dominate these positions. Why? Because men are more logically sound than women. I don't even know how this is a debate right now. Engineers, mathematicians, etc. Anything that is logically sound or more rationally based is dominated by men. Now, is that to say that there aren't women out there that are capable of being logically and rationally sound? Of course, you two are to a degree, right? But most women aren't, guys. The exceptions don't make the rule.
Well, the domination and like overrepresentation of men in these sectors doesn't necessarily mean that they are more qualified.
True.
To draw a parallel with race, white people are overrepresented in every aspect of government, and black people and non-white people are clearly not. Does it then follow that white people are genetically superior to black people?
Is he going to say yes to that?
Of course not. means there are social biases that privilege
Okay,
those
that was a really good
individuals.
example.
Actually, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the bell curve is real for a reason, and also you can make the same.
Sneako, you cucked.
Okay, but look, you can make the
He
same.
cucked out on his race. Oh no.
To the NBA or the NFL, like people, we all understand that black people are better at playing sports than white people because of the genetic makeup.
Exactly.
Right?
Oh
What
no.
specifically are you referring to?
I mean, they're bigger, stronger, faster.
Like a warrior
White boys can jump.
Like a warrior
And
gene or
Asians
what?
can
Because
too.
you're
Let him
saying
finish
like
his point.
black people are genetically
Okay, I'll answer for her.
black don't crack.
African Americans have far more fast twitch muscle fibers.
I don't think that's true.
When playing sports that
I feel like I've heard this argument before and it's not true. I'd have to go look it up again though.
etc. Black people dominate almost every other race when it comes to fast twitch muscle fibers, which is obviously used in sports.
Race is real, just like gender is real. It's the same reason we understand why Asians are the best at math. It's because of the genetic makeup. It is what it is. Look, you can make these generalizations about race and it's fine, but now that we try to equate it to gender and you say it's not because of the opportunities, but it's just race is real just as much as
just the majority of percentage.
When it comes down to gender, though, the facts that you guys are stating and the statistics and all that shit is actually changing. Like it's actually reversing because all you guys men think you guys are stronger and this and that, but it's actually reversing because all you men are actually turning.
Yeah, I don't think it's true. I don't think it's true.
Straight up.
That's a good point too. That like
at the same time, I'm not manly.
I'm pretty sure all the strongest powerlifters in the world are like white European guys. Yeah, I don't think the idea that black people have more fast twitch muscle, I don't think that's true.
No, I feel like these niggas is just bitches.
It's just
Okay, you're not. If you seriously think that, hold on.
What are y'all back?
Okay, look.
It depends what type of nigga you fucking with.
Okay,
I ain't
look.
fucking with no nigga.
If you really think that,
can I ask a question
if
now?
you
I'm
really
just
think
saying,
that, then you
I've
know
been
what? Let's get
quiet,
more women in the
respectful.
military. If you really think that, let's get more women in the military. Let's go ahead and get rid of the
women are more
WNBA
logical
and
and
let's
they don't
let
wanna
women
die.
play. And let's let women play sports with men. You think they'll be able to compete?
No.
The answer is no. So stop.
Basketball, yes.
I want to
The
ask a
answer's
question
no.
for all the ladies. Let me ask a question real quick. Can I ask a question
about sports?
Why?
We're having a conversation
You said
here.
I could ask, and I want to ask a question.
When it's time for the ladies to ask a question,
not to die.
Sure, but
But this
it's
is a
not.
good question.
Yo, is this your show?
No, but
shut
I
up.
have a good question.
Okay, go ahead. What are you saying? We're talking about something and you just want to interject my question. Like
Because everyone else asked a question. I'm the only one that's respecting the one mic, one whatever policy.
You've interjected a bunch of times. You're doing it right now. We're on a topic right now with as far as gender and race.
You don't have a good question. You just want a little bit of attention.
Okay, you guys are talking about. If I want attention, I can talk. I don't need.
You guys want to talk about statistics?
Sober up, and then you could talk. Go ahead.
I'm just trying to say that you clearly believe that biological explanations are the reason that we see men on top and overrepresented in these in like every sector of society for the most part, right? Like a genetic superiority to women.
Are you saying is that why? Or
I'm saying that seems to be what you believe based off the statements that you've made tonight.
That men are superior in
Genetically, right?
Yeah, I mean,
and your evidence of that is to point to like results. You're looking at again overrepresentation. STEM
Are
fields,
we going to another
job
topic?
fields.
We were talking about race a second ago. With fast twitch muscle fibers.
We can still talk about race if you like.
What's your question? But it's not about superiority. It's that we have different.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Things. See, this is what happens, and this is why this debate even comes up. Is because when you hear this, you think that men are better than women in some ways, in some fields, yes, but not overall. We're not.
I could be misunderstanding your argument. I don't believe that you're. That's what I was asking you. Do you believe that like men are biologically superior to women?
Yes, in many regards.
Right.
Absolutely.
But the point is, we are just not equal.
And you're saying that
Stop taking it personal.
I don't believe that.
Between men and women.
I don't
Can I
believe
make
that.
an observation?
It's a fact.
The whole theory, the whole fucking theory is that white people have stronger, more powerful muscles and black people have more explosive muscle. That would predict that white people are better powerlifters. No, I haven't heard that before ever. I could be wrong, but fast twitch muscle fibers, when people think of fast versus slow, I think they're generally thinking like aerobic versus anaerobic. Like if you're slowly pushing a boulder, that's not slow twitch muscle fibers. That's still your fast twitch muscle fibers. These are still your, I think these are still your, it's in the presence of oxygen, your aerobic, I think, pushers. Like things that are like powerlifting or like explosive movements, it's all like, that's all like fast twitch muscle fiber. I think slow twitch muscle fibers are things for like smaller movements, or it might be for endurance stuff, but like fast twitch doesn't just mean boom, like really fast. Like powerlifting is still gonna be like fast twitch muscle fibers for stuff like that. I'm pretty sure.
That men are biologically superior to women when it comes to strength, height, muscle density, more aerobic capacity.
Right, men are more strong than women on average.
There's a reason why there's two standards in the military. There's a reason why there's different sports.
And we're an entire side of like social biases that you're not.
Yeah, who are you talking to?
I'm not talking to anybody.
So stop talking.
Then stop talking. Nobody sounds. I don't know what you think this is, but like, this is the truth.
Should I leave?
Yo, get out of here, bro.
I
Like,
will.
just get out of here, bro. Yeah, just get out of here, bro. Just get out of here.
You sound retarded.
Get out of here, bro. You sound retarded. Just get out of here, bro. Here, bro. You're an idiot.
You see how emotional we are, bro?
Oh my god, dude. That Xena girl is such a pick-me. She's such a pick-me. Oh my god, it's actually insane.
Hold up. Let me say my shit. Shh. Be quiet.
Every time I say he gets mad, he's like,
She was just talking over everybody the whole time.
But everybody has been talking over everybody, honestly.
Just leave.
Women are emotional, that's
Like,
why.
you're not gonna call me dumb on my own shit. Get the here. Especially when I'm stating facts. You're the one that looks dumb.
Yeah, I knew she was gonna go.
And ratchet ass hoes, man. Who brought that here, man?
I told you before we started, Myron. I told you.
Everyone be kind.
Can I make an observation?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. So you guys are talking about this as if it's something biological and ingrained. And I just think it's interesting that we're ignoring the fact that for... Wait, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna fix your seat.
Okay. We're ignoring the fact that for a lot of history...
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
1 second.
Okay. I'll just wait till we're done here.
Yeah, they're just...
Okay.
Why'd you put that? Okay.
Ew.
We're ignoring the fact that throughout history, there has been a lot of barriers purposely put to hold women back, right? So if we're thinking about, oh, you know, men are more inclined to be this way versus that way, et cetera, et cetera.
I don't want to interrupt,
there had to be
but before you go into that, what did they purposely do to make women not whatever you were saying?
That's a great question.
Yeah, I want to know. I have great questions, so let me talk.
Yeah, okay.
So she was getting there, man.
I really want to know, though.
She was literally getting there.
Okay, let's get to it.
So,
instead of interrupting, let her talk and stop drinking.
Oh my god.
She just wants to talk right now. It's just.
I do. I want to debate.
Like, bro, this ain't a show, man. Like, chill out.
I know. I want to debate. I have a good question.
Look. Stop interjecting. Sober up.
I haven't interjected though.
You
That's the
interjected.
thing.
Literally, she's trying to speak, and you're interjecting.
Okay, I am now because I really want to. I want to know what she.
Okay, but you're not contributing to the debate. You just want some attention.
You just want to talk, bro.
Why do you keep saying I want attention? I don't need
because
attention.
you haven't.
Oh no, is someone else getting kicked off?
Exactly.
Yo, shut the yo, get the out of here, bro.
Why are you kicking me out? I didn't even do anything.
Get these drunk ass out of here, bro.
You guys
I want to talk.
I
here,
want
bro.
to still talk.
This is not going to be a low IQ conversation.
All right, no, I'm not going to leave here.
Nah, bro, she out. She out. Nah, man. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Yes, I'm doing you like that.
Well, I'm going to sit in the cut and wait for my friend.
Like, bro, like this is not you out the studio, bro. Like we ain't on this attention horn shit. Like I don't give a how you look. My shit, bro.
Before I go, everybody.
Bro, get out of here.
How many of you ladies want to kick as far as this police shit and law enforcement? How many of you ladies really want to go?
Incredible, bro.
How many of you ladies want to kick down doors when you want to work for law enforcement? You ladies don't want to do that shit. So what I'm saying is,
yo, leave. What are you doing?
This podcast.
All right, well, out of here. You look crazy. Like,
Does this usually happen?
Get the fuck out of here. What the clown world shit? I'm trying to have a high IQ conversation. You want to make it about you when you drunk as get the fuck out of here.
Shut up. Shut up.
Like what the thing this is?
You see what I'm talking about
bitches,
now?
man.
She said I'm cute when talking about a debate.
Oh.
Like a man wouldn't do that.
What's happening?
Jesus Christ.
She's twerking.
Yeah, but she's intoxicated.
Yeah, she's ridiculous.
I don't twerk when I'm intoxicated.
She looks like a clown, bro.
What, Sneako? That's a damn shame.
I've never started twerking while intoxicated.
This is a perfect example of a girl never being told no. Like, never, yo, you ain't going in there, bro. Why don't you? Chris.
No.
Myron, do you need me?
No, you're on probation. No.
That's not what I meant. She just listens to me. You want me to get her out?
And
Do you want me to get her out?
Oh, she your friend? Yeah, get her out of here.
I don't want anyone to feel like we're hogging the mics. Like I want to hear everybody's feedback.
I just want to finish my
Well, here, the thing, we got to keep the conversation somewhat high IQ. And these two girls were
They're just jealous of the attention that they wanted. The spotlight wasn't on them for 5 seconds.
Yeah, they're just mad about that shit.
I mean, women are addicted to attention.
I mean, right now, this is a perfect example of logic versus emotion. Right? Like, y'all are literally witnessing it right now.
2 examples right in front of you.
2 perfect examples.
I thought evidence and logic
yeah, okay.
matters. Okay. Are we good?
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. We can continue the conversation.
Okay.
Okay. You okay? Oh my God.
Bro, I'm gonna end up fighting her.
I'm kind of scared.
She's knocking on the door now.
Milkers. There's lots of fighting going on.
Not that much to drink.
There's like 2 girls back there.
Hood ass bitch doesn't want to leave.
Can I have attention? I hurt my foot really bad. Simps.
Can I have attention? I'm cute.
All right. So,
stay strong, Chad.
Yeah, Chad ain't strong when Xena in the house.
I hope you guys. See the going on. Actually, this is a perfect example of like emotion versus logic right now.
Slamming on the door.
You want me to get rid of?
This isn't gonna. This should be okay, right? It's not gonna like.
All right. So where were we at? Somebody had something.
I was talking about
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay. So historically, there's been a lot of barriers for women to get into these fields to begin with. So, for example, historically, women weren't allowed to get an education. They weren't allowed to work jobs beyond teaching and nursing. And this was until like the 60s, 70s where it started changing. Women couldn't even have their own bank accounts. They couldn't own their own property. So when it comes to the idea of sorry, I'm getting like distracted by her screaming.
Yeah, they didn't do this back then before the 60s. Like they knew their place, huh?
Back to gender.
Okay, so when we talk about, women just aren't interested in these fields. Well, historically, women have been like gatekeeped out of these fields. They haven't been allowed to get their foot in. And I think a perfect example.
Sneako, run the show.
I got you.
Uh-oh. Jesus.
Keep going.
Okay. So when people talk about like, well, now all these barriers are down, why aren't women like going into these fields? It also doesn't make complete sense, because when it comes to people growing up deciding what careers they want to, what they look at first is, okay, what about the people like me? What careers are they into? Because it seems more accessible and easier to get to those careers. So do you guys know Dana Scully?
No.
Oh, of
X-Files.
X-Files. Yes, the Scully effect.
Yes,
is a perfect example.
Exactly. So in the 70s, I forgot the exact.
I think the 90s. X-Files was a 90s show.
Yes. Okay. So in the 90s, X-Files came out.
Can you hear me in your I can't hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't hear you.
Okay.
Sorry.
So in the 90s, the X-Files came out. And afterwards, there was a huge surgence of women applying towards STEM fields. And when asked about these women, like, why did you decide to apply to these STEM fields? The vast majority said, oh, well, my inspiration was Dana Scully, a woman who in the X-Files was a hardcore STEM lady. So that's just one small example of how, you want more women in STEM? Why aren't they picking STEM? Why aren't they doing that? A lot of it is because they don't see other women in STEM. So they don't think the probability of them succeeding in that field is high. So they choose something else. It's not because they're less logical or less inclined.
Yeah, media representation plays a huge role in these things. So if you are growing up and you're socialized or consuming media in which men are overwhelmingly represented in these fields, and then even in fictional media, women are not depicted, or minority demographics are not
I don't know if this would be considered code switching. I feel like that only applies to racial shit. But I feel like when I'm on these shows too, I think it's important to, I don't want to say you have to like speak dumb, but I think you have to be careful with the words you use. Maybe I don't do a good job of this, I'm not sure, but I feel sometimes when I feel like the talk gets really academic, like the audience, like their eyes are kind of glazing over, and you kind of have to find a way to distill it down into something a little bit more understandable, maybe?
In these roles.
I don't know if that makes sense.
So you think it's brainwashing and it has nothing to do with your genetic makeup?
I mean, I disagree with the framing of brainwashing.
Well, you're saying media, you're saying not seeing other women.
Well, influence. Media obviously has influence. You agree, right?
Yeah, of course.
Of course. So that's what I'm saying. Is that like, you don't, that's something that you obviously notice, like in the same way that like Black people notice that they're not represented in like the highest facets of government and whatnot, that there can be a chilling effect in which people self-select and feel like they're not welcome in those fields. And it's not for lack of qualifications, but
it's because they don't feel empowered to do so. I know that word is corny, but it's true. If you feel like...
Okay, so the point is, we are not equal. Okay. And if you want, I have straight, real stories, not statistics and studies. I have actual stories. If you want to hear the story of my actual life that I've been through, I can tell it. But if not, can we change the stuff?
I kind of feel bad for you because all the points you're making are just being debunked by this panel right now.
Well, the good thing is that I believe in logic and I don't believe in anecdotal
But nobody
evidence.
gives a what we believe in. Like, let's be real. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. We're on Rumble, right? Yes. Nobody gives a what you believe in. It's tree. It's what you believe in. We got the matter. We get it. There's plenty of other statistics that literally debunk you, bro.
Oh God, I wish I could be on here. Oh my God, I wish I could be on here.
Before I get that crazy because you don't want me to do that. I promise. So shut the fuck up. I'm not going to. I promise. I'm not going. So at the end of the day, statistics. You can't always back your logic behind all these statistics either. You're over here arguing about media having control of everything and brainwashing. So what the? Who's to say that the shit you're studying is not even real? Like, come on.
The scientific method.
No.
There's
Yeah, good,
ways.
Chad.
No.
Maybe everything
Can
is
we talk
fake.
about another debate?
So,
no,
because there's been so many things addressed here, whether it's women having certain, not having certain accesses to certain privileges and accesses that men do, versus, races not having certain opportunities presented to them, etc. And though these barriers did exist, right? You guys were talking about the 60s, 70s, etc. Right? I would argue in today's day and age, we've corrected to a point where it's damn near overcorrection. And I would say African Americans have a lot of have equal opportunities to whites that whites honestly don't get the benefit of. A lot of time, affirmative action. Let's be honest here. If you're a woman, Black, Hispanic, Native American, etc., you have a leg up in certain types of institutions and education.
If we're saying that they're
Caucasians don't.
If the majority group is already overrepresented in these industries, why would they need affirmative action?
Well, it's not about that. We've overcorrected to the point now we hire people that are less qualified because they're Black, because they're Hispanic, because they're women.
That is affirmative action is not conducted in the way that you're saying.
Well, it absolutely does.
Underqualified candidates are being privileged over white candidates or male candidates.
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
Usually affirmative action plays out like this. All else being equal, when the only variable that's different between two resumes is that you have a Black candidate and a white candidate, affirmative action ensures that Black candidates in that specific case will be prioritized over the white candidate. And I would argue
so explain to me how there's diversity hires, why they incentivize African Americans and or women. They put job postings literally for any other demographic except for Caucasians.
And specifically in Ivy League schools, they give acceptance to people.
Can you put a job posting only hiring Black person? I thought that was illegal. I thought that was expressly illegal. I don't know if you can do that. Can you?
Aren't Asian because they have too many Asians dominating them in all the studies.
Yeah, there are definitely issues with the way
they overcorrect too much. And your point, you missed the point earlier, but she said that it's because of media and it's because of what we see. Women don't see other women succeeding.
Not only because of media.
Right,
I'm saying
but
that's
you said there's a lack of empowerment, and I would argue that there's too much empowerment. There's too much good girl boss. That's why you saw this whole panel say that I'm a girl boss, I'm a queen, I'm a trapper, I'm in charge, I'm married to the game, saying all these masculine qualities because of She-Hulk, because of Megan the Stallion. Stallion is a male horse. We are overly trying to make women turn into the masculine quality to become the boss. There's too much empowerment.
I don't think that we're trying. I think we just had to step up to the plate because of the lack of leadership in our men.
Well, there's a reason that there's a lack of leadership in the men. It's because women are told too much to become the boss, and so as a result, men become weaker. If you brainwash the women, the men suffer. There's no point in blaming men or women for this problem. You saying that there's a lack of empowerment is just not true. There's too much empowerment. Like every single female a role model like Kim Kardashian, they're all queen. They're all like billionaires. They're all girl boss queens.
They're all influencers, or at least it seems like a lot of them are. It's not, if you're going to talk about, STEM.
Well, that's who they look up to. If you ask like all the girls on the panel who they look up to, they would say Nicki Minaj. They would say Megan Thee Stallion. They wouldn't say any of the people that you're citing.
Yeah, so that kind of actually proves my point, right? They see Kim Kardashian, a famous influencer, and they see that she's successful, so they think, maybe I can be successful going down that route. But they don't see, famous female scientists, for example. They don't see famous female doctors, so they don't think, I can go down those routes and be successful.
If those influences exist even for superficial, sectors of society, like social media influences, we're saying that like it could be the case, and it obviously is the case, that there could be a more positive influence to be found in representation of in women's representation in media, in which there are positions of economic power, like in
shouldn't
roles
that
of
be proof as to why influencers are looked up to as the role models for women? Because what they really want is attention. That's the most important part.
Okay,
that's what women
I would say
seek
by
the most.
definition, man, woman, any influencer wants attention.
Okay,
right?
so is Kim Kardashian and the female scientists equal?
Well,
are they equal?
What do you mean by that?
Same shit with females and males.
That wasn't really a point. I'm saying the male role models are guys like Elon Musk, Nikola Tesla. You have a lot of like male role models that have nothing to do with attention, just people who have earned their achievements.
You don't think? I mean, like you're framing it like a negative thing, but I find attention to be such a neutral term in this.
There's no point in seeing it as negative. It's just that this is what women prioritize. It doesn't have to be negative.
Sneako, I understand what you're saying, but historically, men were allowed to do science and women just weren't. They weren't allowed to go to higher education university. So you're saying, oh, like this is what women prioritize? No, women look up to women that are successful, and for the vast majority of history, women weren't allowed to step into these
they've
fields.
been allowed to for like since you said the 60s, 70s. They've had all the same opportunities. Why have they not popped up?
That's the thing. Just because it's legally gone doesn't mean it's socially gone. And just like how we referred to the previous studies, even though companies claim that they love diversity, a lot of the times when it comes to the actual hiring practices, they don't really do it. Maybe they get 1 or 2, but that's not nearly enough.
Well, you also got to remember, too, because of the things that I cited before, being just honest with you, women are just lazier than men. And women don't want to accept this, but men are far more prone to work harder. They're less likely to take vacation time. They're more likely to work more hours. Men, on average, just work harder than women in every stat across the field. So employers are within their rights to go ahead and pick men in certain endeavors because they know they're going to get a better employee. And then on top of that, when women have children, a lot of times I've seen lawyers, doctors, etc. They have children, their whole mindset changes. My career, I want to care about my children, and there's nothing wrong with that. But in general, women are far more interested in their family, people, and their children than necessarily a career. And they proved this too. They did a study in Ireland with COVID, right? When it was time to return back to the office, back to the workforce, most of the women elected to stay home and take care of the loved ones versus go back to the workforce. And there's nothing wrong with that, but that just speaks to the biological differences between the two genders. Men understand that if we don't go out and create excess resources, we will never be taken seriously from our counterparts. But women, on the other hand, don't have to create excess resources. If they choose to, it's elective, but you can still find a mate if you choose not to. We cannot find a mate if we don't create excess resources, which is why men have a hard, how do I say this? They have more incentive to go out there and create excess resources where women don't. That's why you look at pretty girls, a lot of times they don't work. Why? I don't have to.
They don't have to.
That's a fact. I take issue with your framing even from the start, because what you're characterizing as women behaving in a lazy way, I feel like you're undervaluing the productive domestic labor that women overwhelmingly do in the home, rearing children, care work, caring for elderly, or even in the sectors of work that they work in, like social work and stuff like that.
Okay.
Do you believe that these are easy jobs?
I never said it was.
No, but you did say that like women just are lazier, right?
Oh, no, hold on. I said it earlier.
I might have misunderstood.
Yeah, you did, because I was very specific, and I said that women are lazy when it comes to creating resources.
He's right. I'm gonna tell you why. Have you had a kid?
No, I haven't.
Have you had a kid? No. Okay, I've had a kid. This is real shit, real life. I've had a kid.
Okay.
Before, I was just like y'all. Oh no, I'm a workaholic. I'm a boss. I can do this until I had my kid. Because when you have a kid, there's something called postpartum. That shit is serious. No, it's not just depression. It's fucking postpartum. And that shit is way worse than just depression. No, it's something unexplainable, unimaginable, just like birth. When we give birth, I gave natural birth. No epidural, no, I don't know how to say it in English, cesarean? How do you say it in English?
C-section?
C-section.
Nothing.
C-section.
Real birth. And the natural process, I changed completely. I changed my way of thinking, my way of working. I just wanted to dedicate my life to my child.
Right.
Okay? So he's right in that.
And it's the opposite.
Point.
When a man has a kid, he has even more of an incentive and more of a work ethic to create resources.
And we just want to be at home with our child.
Nurturing.
We want to provide for them.
But do you
and take
see
care
how
of them.
these things become like self-fulfilling prophecies? And on the one hand, I'm saying that women are relegated to these roles, not by choice, but by social biases, where the expectation is for women to care for children, to be the homemakers. And then from there, you're saying, oh, well, they don't want to work. They're being lazy. And it's like, well, if women already have the overwhelming social expectation to care for children, are we good?
Yeah, keep going.
To care for children, then I'm not going to characterize their choice to stay home and rear those children when they know that there is not necessarily going to be a man in their life to step up and do it, depending on their life
But
circumstances.
she's saying it's not something, it wasn't really a choice, it's just hardwired in her DNA to be the nurturer. It's not an active decision, it's just something natural that happens.
It's natural. It changed my life completely. It changed the way I viewed life. It changed the way I acted.
You can't really describe it until you
were talking about maternal instinct.
the
Right.
statistics, the facts, what you believe.
Yeah.
It's you
Don't
gotta
believe
live
that
it.
men,
But
there's an
your
inclination for
priorities
some men to have a
change.
paternal instinct towards their children?
Their paternal instinct isn't the
I know, but a
same as
paternal instinct
woman.
makes you want to create resources even more. That's the point.
Yeah.
I
Is
don't
that-
understand. Wait, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I really don't understand because it seems to me that if you're a woman and you are trying to take care of another human being, you will be focused on amassing as many resources as you possibly
But
can
taking them
to
from
take
men.
care of your
Careful.
child.
Yeah, you can.
It seems like the
That's the-
natural
Of course.
That's the father's
extension of motherhood.
responsibility.
But that's the thing. It's not just the father's responsibility. It's both. So it seems like both people, if they have a child, their natural inclination is let's increase as many
But if
resources
both
as we
parents,
can to
if
take
both
care of
parents
the
are there,
child.
it's going to be the father whose responsibility is to create the
Exactly.
resources and the mother's responsibility to
Also,
nurture.
I feel
That's
like
But why are
biology.
these separate? Like why? Like,
Biology. It's
no,
not, it's not
no.
choice.
I
It's
don't
not
think
separate,
you.
it's
I don't.
tandem. They
I
work
think you
together.
misunderstand me. The reason why I'm saying they're not separate is because it feels like a false dichotomy between taking care of your child and trying to create excess resources. So, for example, if you are taking care of your child, you're trying to make sure that they're having like a good time, that they're, have access to as many things as possible. You'll want to have some extra money, right? Whether you're a woman or a man, or even if you have the man in the household, it seems logical to say, the more money we have, the more opportunities we can provide our child. Hence why women would also be interested in the field as well, or try to balance both as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. Okay, for example, my example. I didn't have the male, right? My child is my full responsibility. Nobody helps me. Okay? I had to go out and work and take the male position and go out and work, But I got to a point where I wanted to stay at home with my daughter, but I still want the best for my daughter. I want the best life for my daughter. I want I don't know the word that starts with N. What'd you say? Nurture resources?
Nurture.
Something like that. So I decided to find a way, but from home, to be with my child.
Exactly.
But there's always a solution.
Exactly.
So
it seems like women would try to maximize both as much as possible, not just be nurture only, because it's a false dichotomy.
Of course they would
Because part
try
of
to,
nurture
but
is
everything
excess
trickles down. The
resources.
most important thing for a mother would be to nurture the child.
Let me address
some of these could be kind of like logical decisions as far as I'm concerned.
Okay,
like
let
the
me
term like work, like what is it?
Let me
Work
address the
smarter,
false
not harder.
dichotomy of resources that you're stating. Here's the reality. Women on average typically want a man that makes about 56% more money than they do. Women prefer the man to be in a breadwinner position if possible. Now, are there situations where the woman is the breadwinner and the man stays at home? Yes, but we've seen these marriages fail and these relationships fail overwhelmingly. When a man is in a breadwinner position, that almost inevitably puts him in a leadership role, which women tend to find attractive. Women, if left to their own devices, would prefer a man to be in a breadwinner/leadership role in the relationship. Now, does that mean that there are girls out there that are okay with providing resource and have the guy be behind the scenes? Or maybe they both provide resources, for sure. But in general, if I lined up 100 women and I said, would you prefer to be the breadwinner, or would you prefer your man to be the breadwinner and he can only be the breadwinner and you can stay at home? Most women, especially if they have small children that they have to rear at home, would overwhelmingly prefer the man be the breadwinner. So I get what you're saying when it comes to like providing resources, etc. Let me be specific. The man needs to provide financial resources to allow the woman, the family and the woman to live and hopefully thrive. This is why women look at earnings so much more than men do. When a man meets a woman, he doesn't necessarily care too much about her earning capacity. Whereas when a woman meets a man, however, she cares a lot about his earning capacity. And it boils down to what I just said before. If we were to have children, can you support me and the child?
Can I offer?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so I want to just offer, I'm not saying anything you said is wrong, by the way. I just want to offer also another alternative way to think about this. A really big reason why women care so much about the amount of money men make goes back to the fact that women, even if they make the same amount of men, most of the time, I think like over 50, 60, whatever percent of the time, are expected to take care of the household chores as well. So if a woman and man are making around the same amount of money and then they go back home, well, she's still expected to do the majority of the labor. She's still expected to clean, do the laundry, wipe the house, everything.
And this is why so many women leave the workforce.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
goes back to what she was saying. This is why so many women leave the workforce, because they understand that I can't do all of this, so I'm gonna have to concede to some point. So I'm gonna have to focus more on the children. So they leave the workforce, and who takes the L there? Well, the employer, because now I spent this money to train this woman up. She went up and climbed the ranks. She had a powerful position. Now she's leaving to go back to her child.
Does Myron know that Pxie and Erin are your friends? Do you think that's why he's respecting them more than the other women? I'm not sure. I don't know. It could go either way. He would be the kind of person I think to do that because he is respectful. He tries to be nice to people that he respects. But I also think that he might actually appreciate the better conversations. He might actually be getting like a little bit bored of just like shitting on like dumb women all the time. So having ones that can actually put up some kind of fight. Is probably nice for him, I think.
Which again, the employer is within their right to be like, okay, statistically speaking, this woman might be a liability for us, right? In the future, say this might be a reason why they hire a man over a woman. So it's a very logically sound and decisive decision to make for the betterment of the company. But what I'm saying is that companies will still hire women knowing that this is a potential of what may happen with them as far as their employee.
Yeah, no, the point that I'm trying to illustrate here is that you're saying, oh, women are more inclined to find like a man that earns more, et cetera, because that's within like their nature. And what I'm trying to say here is that another reason why women are inclined to look for men who earn more is because if they're going to be socially pressured into these roles anyways, well, like, fuck, I don't want to make the majority of money and do the majority of housework. That's just very uneven to me.
And most governments and most countries, like in the United States, we don't have the civic infrastructure to support women making alternative choices. So when you have a child in a marriage, somebody has to take care of that child. Most often, the responsibility falls towards the women. And a lot of times,
you guys are quite literally augmenting my argument even more.
Well,
you haven't refuted it whatsoever.
The point that
I'm trying to build upon it because I think it's a solid argument.
Okay, so what's the point? Now, if we agree, then I don't know why we're.
Finish.
Wait.
But if we're agreeing,
I mean, there will come a disagreement. Hold on. Let me complete my thoughts. So, the civic infrastructure necessary to enable women to stop being the ones who are solely assumed to be the primary caretakers in their home for children and for domestic labor would be like paid maternity leave. You know, that would take the burden off of the employers of any private company to have to pay an employee, a female employee who takes maternity leave. That burden is then shifted to taxpayers, to the state, absorbed by everybody else. And there's a net positive benefit to that because you want so long as children are cared for and looked after, I feel like that's in everybody's benefit within a society. It doesn't necessarily have to be the mom. It could be the father, but usually is the mom, given the social circumstances that we find ourselves today. But would you be open to like men staying home and raising children if they had the option?
That sounds great on paper, but women don't allow that. They don't want men.
Why do you think we get child support, and why do you think we get tax benefits and so many benefits as single mothers?
I'm going to dispute that heavily. That's not entirely true. There's
the reason why listen, it doesn't matter what I personally think. The reality is when the woman is in a breadwinner position, divorces go up, relationships fail, it doesn't work. It sounds great on paper, and this is the problem with, no offense to you ladies, you guys are very leftist and liberal in your views, which is fantastic, because I wish the world operated the way that you guys think it should and ideally. But I don't operate on ideal. I operate on what's real. Women don't respect and they don't take men seriously that earn less money than they do on a balance of probabilities. Most women want to be with a man that earns significantly more than they do, about 56% to be exact, and that is how relationships typically stand together and marriages stay strong, is when the man is in a breadwinner position with the woman. And hey, I wish it was. I'd be open to more guys staying at home, but it doesn't work. Women don't like that.
So Myron raised an interesting point there, which is this expectation, let's say, for women to do the child rearing and to be at home, is that a societal expectation, or is it in fact an innate sort of expectation that exists between men and women anyway?
Societal expectation.
But don't you think now that kind of everything's up for grabs? Because I don't think anybody in mainstream society would say a man shouldn't stay at home and look after the kids. I think now anybody can really design their lifestyle as they want to. I don't believe there's any societal expectation against it now. So therefore, what's the problem? The question I want to ask actually the panel is, when do you think? Because we've talked about how women were disadvantaged in the past in various different ways, and now it seems to me, as Myron said, we've reached a point where actually, if anything, there's been a bit of an overcorrection. So when do you think the correction should cease and we should all just say, okay, right, it's fine, now everyone can just do what they want?
Well,
Does that make sense?
I kind of understand where you're coming from. I think there's two things to take into consideration. The reason why I kept talking about before about, women are expected to make more like the domestic house chores, et cetera, is because when you talk about, men having to earn higher, well, if they earn the same amount or less, the woman is still doing more work at the house and outside of the house.
Yeah.
So that's why women are looking towards people who earn more, because that way it's a little bit more even. Are you saying, okay, now there's less societal expectation, men can go and stay at the house, et cetera. Yes, change takes a little bit of time. I think that is changing, but it's also important to note that a lot of men were not raised with these skills. Their mothers did not teach them how to do laundry, how to wash the dishes, how to clean the house. And I don't want to blame women, but yeah, it's kind of women's fault as well.
This is the social construct
I
argument.
I wasn't taught to wash dishes. I wasn't taught to cook. My mom didn't cook me shit. I had to figure it out.
Right.
I got kicked out.
Who taught your mom though?
Huh?
Who taught your mom?
My mom don't cook. My mom wouldn't even feed me.
The exception to everything.
There has to come a point in your life.
My father ain't in the picture. You know how shut the fuck up.
There has to come a point in your adult life where you start parenting yourself.
Yeah. I agree.
Let me finish because I let y'all finish.
Seriously.
You know how I started? I learned when I had my child, because and when I moved in with my ex, the baby died.
It's funny
I had to figure it out.
You know why? Because reality hit. You had a kid. But the leftist ideology is when you don't have kids, when you're young, when you're in college protesting, and then you start creating everything as a social construct and you ignore what reality is. That's when you could ignore biology. That's when leftists start saying that gender.
Is it not reality?
That's when but I'm seeing the parallels, like the she-they thing, that you're saying gender is a social construct. These ideas and these expectations are a social construct. Race is a social construct. The reality is race is real, gender is real, and biology is real. All of these expectations exist for a reason, not because some men just created this. It's because this is where we fall in line. It's not a societal expectation because someone just wrote up these rules and decided to persecute women. These existed because of biology.
Wait, I have a question. So do you not think it's biological, men are not biologically capable of doing household chores?
No, I think they are. I think they are.
Anybody can.
Here's the thing. I got this. I got this right now. This will just, because here's the thing you fail to understand, ladies. Men are capable. Women are capable. But the problem is what's optimal, okay? That's what you guys keep forgetting. Just because someone is capable of something does not mean that they're optimal at doing something. The way things optimally work is men stay at home, women stay at home, men go work. That's how the United States was built. If you look at any first world country, it was built on a nuclear family. How's a nuclear family built? Man goes to work, he creates resources, excess resources for him and his family, comes back, gives the money to the wife and the children. They're able to thrive. She stays at home. She takes care of the home and the children. So this is how it's worked. This is why the United States is a superpower it is now, because of the nuclear family through the 50s, etc. Now, the 1960s, things started to shift. Feminism hit. Women wanted to enter workforce, etc. Fantastic. The infrastructure is already built. Now we're able to sit here and debate about the situation. But the reality is, the modern world that you enjoy today was built on men going to work, creating resources to be able to get a wife, getting that wife, and creating a nuclear family. That is how society was built.
That the nuclear family is a relatively recent conception, like the 1950s.
No, it's been around forever. It's been around forever. I'm just saying that's when it thrived. I'm talking about the United States.
In
particular.
Any society, agrarian families were the way the families units were structured. Women would have 13 to 20 children in their life.
Yeah.
Very regularly. That does not resemble a nuclear family, right?
Okay.
You're missing the point. The point I use the nuclear family is simply an example for the United States in this example. What I'm saying in general, the world was built optimally, and we were able to progress as a species by men going to work, hunting and gathering, while women stayed at home and took care of the home. So I'm not saying men aren't capable of doing it. But what I'm saying is that to operate optimally, men go work, women stay at home. That's how it's been forever.
Okay, Miss Scientist, Miss Biology, according to scientific facts, right? Scientific fact. By nature, do you know what nesting is? If you guys studied maternity, because this is part of science. Okay, something called nesting, which is a fact. By natural, when we're about to give birth, we naturally start preparing the house, cleaning by natural. It's an instinct as a human being.
I've never heard of nest before, but
if we have that instinct naturally, biologically, then obviously by nature, we're supposed to be.
And it's funny that you
doing
realize that after
Parents.
becoming a mother, because this is the reality of modern feminists and leftists, is they run around saying all this stuff after they leave college or woke indoctrination camp, and they make all these idealistic expectations about this is how it should be. And you were like that too until you had a kid and you realized this is how I'm hardwired. But this is why there's more people not having kids. This is why there's less marriages. This is why everything is crumbling and the nuclear family is a thing of the past.
I mean, you're not wrong. That like children.
Sorry, Troy, you were trying to say something, then I'll turn it back to you.
Yeah,
girls.
well, here's the thing, right? Because as I said, I reckon all bets are off. So I reckon in 2023, any couple could get together in Miami or London or anywhere else, and they could agree between them, right, the guy's going to stay at home and the woman's going to go to work. And that will be absolutely fine. There's no societal pressure against that. But imagine if you're a guy and you write on your Tinder profile or whatever, yeah, I want to be a stay-at-home dad and I just want to, I want you to go out for work and I'll look after the kids.
Did you notice
how successful?
Goofy.
How successful is that profile going to be?
That's
probably not very successful, I think. And the reason for that is not because of societal pressure. It's because women don't find that archetype attractive. Okay, which suggests to me that this is in some way innate.
Yeah,
right.
As of course, having a preference towards it is different than a biological reality, right? You're talking about social preferences.
Well, no. I mean, if a guy wrote on his profile, what I'm looking for is I want to be a stay-at-home dad, and you earn the money, and I'm just going to sit at home and look after the kids.
And cook and clean.
How attractive is that going to be?
Wait, but
in
conversely,
general?
do you think anybody who's putting that on their Tinder profile is going to attract a mate? Like, I just want to be a stay-at-home mom.
If you put that, I'm swiping right.
No,
Hell
really?
yeah.
Okay.
If you put that same bio, I want to stay at home, I want to raise kids, I like cooking and cleaning and doing laundry, swipe right.
No, like what you framed it was that like I'm gonna mooch off of like my partner or whatever.
It's a hypothetical example, of course, but the point remains that would most women in general find that proposition to be attractive? Is that what they're looking for in a man?
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that women don't have any faith when men say they're gonna do that shit. When men say, "Oh, I'm gonna take home," I'm gonna clean, I'm gonna do laundry. Women don't believe them. Women believe that, oh no, you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna have to do that. Because historically, men don't know how to do chores because they weren't taught to.
Well, would women viscerally find that attractive though? Would they find that viscerally arousing? The guy saying, "Yeah, I'm just gonna sit at home and watch daytime TV and look after the kids."
No, if a guy said, "Oh, I want to be a good father. I want to focus on raising my children, and like, you know, I'd be willing to like do the housework to be able to be a good father," I would find that attractive.
Okay,
everybody's different. But anyways, it doesn't matter.
We're getting perhaps not, but like I can think of a ton of female archetypes now that would find that arrangement to be preferable. So if you're a woman you've worked your ass off to go through, 4 years of college, you get your JD, you become a lawyer, and you are only looking to move up within your field, but you also want to have a family. And you want somebody there to care for your children.
Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. This is exactly what happens. This is the rise of the childish family.
Would be extremely appealing to the woman.
Why are there no male action heroes who sit at home and look after the kids then? Why does James Bond not say, right, I'm going to put my feet up and look after the kids? Because that's not an archetype in general that women find to be viscerally attractive. And this is the point.
Well, you're talking about, standards that appeal to men, right? I would say that like most action films are geared towards the male gaze, right?
How many women watch
All right, ladies. This is incredible. Hold on. You guys are just arguing. This is a ludicrous argument. Like, are we seriously sitting here arguing that women don't prefer men that are the breadwinners and leaders and providers? Like, here's the thing that he's trying to say. If a man puts on his profile, I want to raise my kids and stay at home, etc., he will get far less matches than a woman that did the same. Why is that? Because men don't give a shit about a woman's ability to provision. However, women care a lot about a man's ability to provision. Now, what you said before, if a woman wants to go in and climb the ranks and make money, etc., that sounds great on paper, but guess what happens when women make more money and go up the social status? They want a man on their level, if not better. So as women make more money and get more status, they want a guy equal, if not preferably better. More. So women become victims of their success most of the time, and this is why career women chronically stay single, because they can't find a guy on their level that fulfills their hypergamous need to be with a man that is better than them. Women want a man who's superior to them in almost every way, and that's fine. That's a biological difference. So I know what you're saying. Well, guys don't want to do chores, or if a guy didn't want to do chores, I'd be attracted to that. No, the reality is, for most women, that is at the bottom of the list. If there was a guy that's capable, they want a man to provide.
Would be attracted.
They want a man because they want a man that could provide chores, and staying at home with the child is irrelevant to most women.
Exact, to most women. If you like a scrub, okay, you like a scrub.
But that's
it's
leftist.
just,
These are
but it's
feminist
just-
women who just run around
But
from
it's just
college.
he's talking about the majority,
brainwashed.
and it's a fact. And don't be talking no more about
Well, I can only
children
speak to
if you
cases
haven't
because I'm
had
trying to
children.
demonstrate how these social values are slowly going to
I
change.
don't care
over
what you
time.
study or you don't know about maternity.
Instantaneously
Don't talk about
or
it.
overnight.
But I think the important
Like what you said is absolutely true. If a man put in his Tinder bio, I'm looking to be a stay-at-home father, yeah, I don't think that that's going to attract or entice most women. But slowly, if we encourage these social changes where women are empowered
You know
to
what?
enter
I love
the
that you
ranks
brought
of...
this up. I'm writing a book on this. All these social changes that you're talking about.
Called
are
Women
more
Deserve
empowered, they
Less.
make more money,
That's
they're more
awesome.
successful, more educated than ever before. Guess what happened to relationships? Okay? Relationships are in the toilet. Women are less happy now than they've ever been, and they're more empowered than they've ever been. It's been going down since the 1970s that women approval ratings and happiness has gone down, while antidepressant medication, etc., has gone up. Also,
It's a
relationships are in the
feminist
shitter.
movement.
Divorce rates are high. Women initiate 80% of divorces, and women are out-earning men in a lot of cities. A lot of women are having tough times dating and finding eligible bachelors. As a matter of fact, there was an article that came out earlier this year that woman said there's not economically attractive men. There's not enough of them to go around. Why is that? Because women care a lot about a man's finances versus men don't care about a woman's finances. So I get what you're saying. It should be a woman can go to work, have a guy at home, he takes care of the chores. It's not an issue. The problem is this. Most women don't think like you guys. They want a man who's superior to them, not equal.
Yeah, and that's the thing. What really interests me is whether this is because you're arguing this is a societal thing. This is systemic,
Absolutely.
systemic imbalance within society. What I'm proposing, because of the fake, the Tinder hypothetical, is that actually this isn't societal. This is about what women desire and what they reward.
It's biological.
Even those
sexually.
preferences are social, right?
What?
This is some dumb
Absolutely. Wait,
leftist shit,
no.
yo.
Wait,
You have to be
no,
careful
this is
going
just
down this.
factual, and
Everything
I'll
is
prove it to
social
you
thing.
right
You got to
now.
be really careful
Okay,
about this.
Literally, think about the Renaissance. Think about like the 1500s. What was considered the optimal form of a woman? It was a fat woman. Literally, like you could
Fertility. That was for fertility. Since you brought up Renaissance, no. You brought up Renaissance.
Zena, let her finish her
fertility,
point.
bro.
Let her finish her point.
No,
Zena, go ahead.
You
Sure.
can say it was about fertility, but it was not just fertility. It was like, okay, fat women because it was a sign of wealth. It was a sign of prosperous, right? We had a period in time where being pale was seen as, a beauty standard. And then once more people started working indoor jobs, then it became, being tan is the new hot thing. So you can't tell me that like preferences aren't influenced by society because we have multiple examples of
Hold on. I'll answer that right now.
That's a sign of
Okay,
wealth.
but you know what? I love that you mentioned that. Oh, well, it's a sign of this and a sign of that, but preferences change by what men like. But what has stood the test of time since the beginning of human time?
The male physique.
The male physique, that's one.
What's found as attractive?
But what has been universally found as attractive by women since the beginning of time between...
I don't know if that male physique thing is a good idea, good example. If you look at the difference between like male action stars today versus like 20 years ago, like Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger were like the outstanding people, but like the ultra shredded, like the Marvel Roid program is a relatively new thing. Like if you look at the old like on TV Batman, that dude like I don't want to say it was dad bod, but like Jesus, it was like nowhere near what you have today for some of the for like the standards for male physique.
Men and women relationships.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say, but it applies to men as well.
No, it doesn't. Hold on.
You don't think men are attracted to wealth?
Listen, men don't have the same innate need for resources and security that women do. And the reason for that is because a man can go out and fight a lion or a tiger, hunt it down, kill it, and eat it. A woman can't, and she especially can't when she has a child. A woman by herself cannot gather enough calories to feed herself and her child, especially when she's pregnant and she's more vulnerable. So since the beginning of time, women have needed males to go out there, hunt, and gather resources and calories. It's only in this clown world new times that we have that women think that they can actually do things on their own, which, you know what, that's fine. It's fantastic. But guess what? You're a slave to your biology. You still want a man that can provide and capable of providing, even if you make your own money. This is why women that make their own money, make $100,000 per year, still want a guy that makes about $156,000 per year.
course.
So what I'm saying is, you're saying, well, attraction trends change or whatever, but the one trend that has not changed at the beginning of time is women have always been attracted to men that have resources, money, and status. That is why Genghis Khan owns all of Asia, and like people walk around, there's a percentage of a bunch of Asians that have his DNA in them.
I'm related
This
to
is
him.
why people, damn, okay. This is why, right, women have always shared one high value guy. Like women are okay with sharing men because that's how important.
They didn't share. They didn't share Genghis
qualities
Khan.
in and of themselves.
They
or
were
what they
into
understand
like being with these
and the
guys.
results
That's
that
kind
they
of a
can enable
weird.
for their children.
It's weird to present
Like
that
if
as
you're saying
preferences.
that women have this maternal instinct to take care of their children.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're incentivized to prioritize these qualities in men because right now the social paradigms that exist lead to incentives that help women care for their children. So those, charismatic men, strong men, make them more inclined to be higher earners, right?
Yeah.
But women would just as soon adopt lots of different strategies if they thought and like drop, traditionally masculine tendencies in men and become attracted to whatever they believed would help secure resources for their child. And that can look a lot of different ways, don't you
Listen,
agree?
it doesn't look like a soy boy pussy. It doesn't look like it. It looks like a tall guy that's toxically masculine, etc. Like I know what you're
Elon
saying,
Musk
but you
is not
can't.
like the bastion of masculinity, in my
He's not.
opinion. He's kind of short.
But what does he have? Hold on. He has
lots of money,
status
right?
and money. What did I say in the beginning?
But you're
Status
saying
and
women
money has
Remember what I
always
said
been-
when I coached her on this?
strength
You
and
can't just
physique
say
and stuff
money,
like that.
right?
And you're
There's other types of
introducing, like,
resources.
We're providing examples that show that that's
If
not
there's
always
one
the top
baseline,
quality.
one thing that women care about the most, it is by far status and security. It's been that way since the beginning of time. That's why kings have had hordes of women. Elon Musk, even though he's
Women
not
aren't
the most
making those
attractive, what does he
choices.
have?
Damn, I can't believe he's
Status
wheeling
and
out
money.
these same
Extremely
arguments.
important to women when it comes to attraction. So what I'm saying is that you're saying trends change, blah, blah, blah. The one trend that has not changed at the beginning of time is women have always been attracted to status and money, looks, physique, etc. come after the fact, but they're attracted to that. So I know what you guys are saying. Yo, well, it shouldn't be this way. We should be able to be equal. You do some chores, I do some chores, etc.
Yeah, but
that might be. Yo, hold on. Let me finish.
Why they may be
Hold on.
finish.
Look. You can't fight hard-wired attraction traits. I know you guys are trying really hard this podcast to do it, but you can't.
You are.
You can't.
You want to change the social constructs.
No.
You guys are labeling hardwired attraction triggers as social constructs. That's ludicrous.
Can you let me
That's
finish?
ludicrous.
over time.
That's ludicrous.
May I please finish?
Interestingly as well.
Wait, okay.
Myron.
I just want to say.
Can I just quote something?
Let's Zena say something real
I just
quick.
want
She's
to
trying to
quote
say
something from a
and then we'll
Renaissance
turn it back to you.
painting from a Renaissance artist, Leonardo da Vinci. And the quote's not exactly correct. It's not verbatim, but y'all can look it up. Her fat arc and full bosom was the firm sign of her ripe fertility. That's just the matriarch of all the Renaissance paintings and why the women were slightly thicker than natural. It was a form of fertility. You're not going to debate me on Renaissance, but yeah.
And that's a
it's
sign of
fertility.
love.
That proves
It's
our
fertility.
point.
It was
Because
about
at one
fertility
point-
because women were seen as fertility since the dawn of time, just like the Sumerians, which was the first civilization, our first dated civilization. Women were the heart, men are the head. Men are the head because of logic, women were the heart because of emotion. And then the children were the womb, which is also interconnected through women. Men lead, women follow. Women were literally just the fertility, all right? They were protected. The men were the ones that went on the hunt. And that's how the whole story of the Anunnaki designed humanity is men would lead, men would fight, men would be the warriors, women would be the kept trophies in that sense. And that's how it's set up.
And then you have something, we'll turn it back to
But
you.
hey, you can grow with somebody. Like, we're not telling you, oh, you got to be with somebody who makes more than you. No, like, you can grow with somebody and you can build an empire with somebody. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm sorry, Myron. I'm sorry. I got one more. And then we go back to what's it called when they would fight in the cathedral. Women would choose the strongest warrior. This is known. Like, even in the Renaissance, this was so common, and in the Greek days, in the Athens, like, let's go, bro. The men would fight. The woman would choose the strongest man, and they would fight to their death.
Well,
Let's be real.
interestingly, the standards for male
They don't. That's why.
standards for male beauty, standards for male, physique have remained very consistent over the years. You just have to look at our ancient Greek statues.
Yeah, there
You'll
you
see
go.
the V taper,
Yep.
the broad shoulders, the abs, all the rest of it. It hasn't really changed.
Okay.
Which kind of underlines.
But I feel like
And
that's
then
a
you were
point
trying
in
to
our
say
favor.
something as far as my argument, just to boil it down, and I think their argument is as well, is that there's hardwired traits that women look for in men, and it's not necessary. You guys are arguing that it's more of like a societal construct. We're arguing no, it's a biological construct that you can't necessarily debate. And though you guys are able to, I guess, rationally say in your heads, well, I would like a guy that's like this, the overwhelming majority of women would disagree with you guys.
I'm not trying to speak to my personal preferences and project them onto other people.
Okay.
I'm just trying to look at alternate explanations as to why it's been possible for these standards to change for women.
So are you
as
making
she
an argument that you
demonstrated.
don't even necessarily believe in?
What?
Are you making an argument that you don't even necessarily believe in or subscribe to for yourself?
No, I mean, we're not even talking about my personal beliefs. I'm just trying to state descriptive realities here.
She's illustrating
These are
more than
observations
one
over like
reason.
historical trends.
So you're theorizing as to why women might like certain traits in men and saying that it's a social construct. My argument is that it's not a social construct; it's a biological construct.
I'm hypothesizing, but like what we were saying with fertility. Like at one point, the image of fertility for a woman was somebody who was slightly more overweight, chubby, Rubenesque. And now, what's more desirable? A chubby woman or a woman who has abs potentially and is like a lot more fit, right? Would you agree that that is like
more based upon sex?
Well, you also got to remember that what females are attracted to,
no,
right?
I'm talking about what men.
But men are attracted to anything. We can't conflate what men are attracted to versus what women are attracted to. We're talking specifically about what women want. And the argument is that what women want is fairly regimented, right? And it's been since the beginning of time. Status and money has been important, which is why I am making the argument: if a woman is left her own devices, she's almost always going to want a man that can provide security. And status and income are good indicators of that. Everything else falls in line.
Right, but I'm saying that
But fashion and beauty standards, it's all targeted towards women. We're the only consumers. Men don't give a f whether you're fat, ugly, got a crooked nose, or don't. And that's been the way it is since dawn.
But I'm curious. I'm curious.
Like, so wait, baby, can I finish? I'm sorry. I just want to finish. So basically, you're talking about how the beauty standards went from women looking fat for fertility, and now they got BBLs and shit like that, right? That's us. That's not about men. That's not about what men like. Men are gonna smash no matter what you look like. You can look like Greta Thunberg, and you're still gonna get smashed at the end of the fucking day.
I would not say that for all men. That's
Most men. Okay, we're not talking about the slight percentage.
Well, maybe no, but we are
Can I finish? No, baby. Right now, this podcast, what we're speaking about is the general population. We're not talking about the exception. I understand that completely. If I was a man, I wouldn't fuck Greta Thunberg, but it doesn't matter.
I would.
Now, he would, and he wouldn't. Now back to what I'm saying. The beauty, like the whole fashion industry and all the beauty stuff is targeted towards us because we as women, we're our worst enemy. We judge each other. The men don't give a fuck. They don't. We're the consumers.
This is so retarded. You think that women get BBLs and lip fillers for other women?
In fact, they usually prefer you not to have makeup. Lashes originally come umbrellas, by the way, for semen.
Men prefer you not. Oh my god.
They don't care about that. We wear that because we're like, oh girl, your lashes look so good. Oh, mine are longer.
Oh my god. Kill me. Kill me.
Okay, so
well, are we done with this topic before we move on to something else?
It's about women.
The argument was simply, we're saying attraction is not necessarily a choice or a social contract like you guys are trying to argue.
No,
and you guys are saying
I
it's
don't
social
even disagree with you. That's a problem. Like when you're saying, there's like these biological imperatives to be attracted to someone, I'm not even disagreeing with you. I just think that it's not 100% relegated to just what women want. So, for example, men. Can I finish? Please don't make the faces. let me say what I want to say.
I know what you're. Go ahead, continue.
Well, I know this for a fact because historically speaking, marriage, right? Men, even like marrying other women, were women of wealthy families, right? So we're talking about, arranged marriages to accumulate more wealth. So you can't tell me that, men aren't attracted to, maybe they don't want them in modern society to out earn them, but maybe a woman who is making a ton of money is more attractive than a woman who makes almost like no money if they're both working. So that's just an easy example, right? The point that I'm trying to illustrate here is that people in general, men and women, want stability in relationships. Like, are you really telling me that you want a girl, like the girls that were here earlier, right? Screaming around, like very angry, upset, just like throwing shit around in a relationship? It doesn't seem that most people want that. Most people want stability. Most people want to be wealthy. So to be like, oh no, this is only something women want, doesn't...
Well, I don't think men find wealth in women viscerally attractive. No. Again, it comes back to this visceral attraction thing. And actually, if you read Dickens or Shakespeare, there's plenty of stories where there was an arranged marriage that was going to take place. And the guy's actually, no, I actually really fancy the serving girl down the road. And he wants to have an affair with her because he's not viscerally aroused by the woman who's wealthy.
Or visual creatures.
We're only talking about preferences, right? I'm also interested in like how outcomes factor into this because I think the reality is that like rich people are going to marry other rich people. Middle-class people are going to marry other middle-class people.
Incorrect.
And lower-income people are going to marry other low-income people. That's just who you're around.
Myron's going to say women date up. He's going to say that, but it's going to be within their income brackets.
Men don't have these socioeconomic barriers like you guys are trying to say. A rich man will gladly take a woman that's poor
That's delusional.
and make her rich.
Oh my God.
Versus a rich woman will almost never take a poor man and make him rich.
They probably would, but do you think that like
they're not even in the same areas of society? They're not in the same areas of society.
Because men,
super rich men just aren't even meeting super poor women. You just don't intersect. You're in different schools. You're in different jobs. Your parents have different friends. You've got different groups of people you hang out with. You're in like totally different areas. They don't even intersect that much.
don't marry and get with women to look for a provision or a security like women do for men. Like, this is crazy to me that you guys. This is ludicrous.
This is not mental gymnastics. It is a logic. It is literally factual that people marry within their income bracket. Most people don't want to marry down. Are there some men who want to marry somebody who's hot but poor? Sure, but the vast majority of people marry within their income bracket. We can Google this right now.
Here's the thing, ladies.
Hold on, wait. You like billionaires are like trying to snatch up all the like local baddies and stuff like that. Like,
you guys are missing. You guys are missing the point.
Like,
you guys are missing. You guys are missing the point.
Broke.
Like, you guys do realize that men don't put as much stake in a woman's ability to earn money as women put in a man's ability to earn money, right? Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
We have
Can we agree on that?
Yeah, we never disagree with that.
So therefore, a man, right, knows I have to be the resource creator to a degree. And I would argue the more money a man has, the less he cares about a woman's income. The more he's more concerned with is she attractive? Is she fertile? Is she going to be a good wife?
Right, but the type of women that he's going to find himself in the company in anyway are probably going to be women of a similar socioeconomic background.
Aren't men always complaining about being afraid of getting gold digged? Like, that's a common trope. Like, they're constantly saying, oh no, I don't want a gold digger. I don't want a gold digger. She's just after my money. So a lot of men, like,
there is a screening process here, right?
There is even more of an incentive to marry within your income bracket.
Bro, this ship is so slow.
Finding good
How can I make it faster?
You guys are looking. I've realized what's going on here. You guys are looking through the lens, through a female lens. Like, you guys are looking at the dating market. Well, no, hold on. Let me rephrase. You guys are looking at the dating market through a female lens.
Maybe more
so
walls?
for you guys think income and status, etc., is important. So a guy would want that. Let me tell y'all, attraction is not symmetrical. It's asymmetrical. The things that you guys look for, security, provisioning, height, income, the ability to provide and protect, etc., that's what y'all want. We want youth, beauty, fertility, chastity, not being a whore, not going to embarrass me. Those are far different things. So guess what? Provisioning and security is really nowhere in there for a guy.
Here's the thing. If I have a kingdom and I marry you and you're a dishwasher, you become the queen. If you're a queen and you marry me, I'm the queen's bitch. I don't become the king.
I'm a dishwasher.
You can't bring me up, but I can bring you up.
But I'm asking you, how often does that happen? Because obviously what y'all are trying to illustrate is that a rich man is not going to be scrutinizing the economic background of his potential mistresses and wives, correct? You're saying it's irrelevant to them.
Not to the same degree a woman will.
I'll give you that any day of the week. That is probably true. But I'm saying you're discounting the degree to which, like, they disregard it at all. Or the like, I'm just curious, what circumstances would attractive but poor women be interacting with, like, very wealthy men in the
most wealthy women in the world? You do realize the most
they're going to go by billionaires.
Almost all of them got their wealth through divorce.
You're talking about like
that was created by
20 women. When you talk about like billionaire women, like this is like such an off.
That doesn't prove that men will marry down significantly. I don't know what else will.
What is Jeff Bezos' wife's background even? Where did they meet?
Their economic backgrounds prior to, or like when they got married and whatnot. But if I had to guess, Jeff Bezos and what's
Mackenzie
Bezos, prior to their marriage and when they first got married, were already from very similar economic and social
you guys are trying to argue?
Maybe they were okay. I get what they're saying because like wealthy people are around wealthy people. That's not why she was attractive. Just because they're in the same space. Jeff Bezos didn't marry Mackenzie because she was from a wealthy background. She was just around. Mackenzie married Jeff because he was a fucking man.
No, that's not true. I just looked this up right now. It seems like this chick was insane. I could be wrong, but she was named after her maternal grandfather, G. Scott Cumming, who worked as an executive general counsel at El Paso Natural Gas. She remembers seriously writing at the age of 6 when she wrote a 142-page book, which was destroyed in a flood. It doesn't sound like she was just like... And then she went to fucking Princeton, where she got her bachelor's degree in English. And she studied under Nobel laureate in literature, Toni Morrison. This is not like a random fucking girl that Mackenzie Scott was just like a random server at Starbucks that Jeff Bezos just happened to sweep off her feet. Like,
She
Yeah,
married
Ronaldo
him
with
way
Georgina.
before. She married him way before Amazon was even a pipe dream.
Well, she knew he was
invested
going to
in
be
him.
the man. She saw the potential.
oh my
I
God.
don't think every rich woman who marries
After graduating from college, she worked in an administrative role for hedge fund D.E. Shaw in New York City, where she met Bezos.
a rich man is just because of the potential as much as it
But
is
that's what's attractive
because we're
about
on the
him.
same level. What's attractive is wealth and stability. No
And
disagreement
his ambition,
there.
too. Ambition is not attractive in a
Well,
woman.
I don't.
She literally was working at a hedge fund when they, not as like an investor to be fair, but still like.
So I can't speak for Mackenzie and Jeff's
There's
personal
other ways to
relationship.
demonstrate ambition besides just educational attainment, right?
Sure, but it doesn't matter.
Ambition
Like,
making a sandwich is attractive to me.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
I wanna
applying
see
it
you
to domestic
scrub
work.
that
That's my
floor.
point.
Spread
Is that
that
you can find
Some
ambition.
dedication in your
And what
mopping.
you're trying to say is a masculine characteristic. You already demonstrated a way it can be applied towards things that you do find attractive. So if a woman is ambitiously, cooking.
She was a custodian at the hedge fund. Could you source me that? Watching Yo back? Because it said there it looked like she was working in administration. But I'll wait for your source eagerly.
Dinner for you, as
That
silly
was
as
a
that
joke.
sounds.
Ambitious career-wise is not
was a
attractive for men.
joke.
Like, we don't care what career you guys want to do. It makes no difference.
Yeah, because
I
you
think
guys are
just being contrarian to be
incels.
contrarian. I'm trying to figure out what the argument is here.
Oh my God.
This is a societal construct.
An emotional one.
what you guys are
Very
still sticking on that.
emotional one.
She's
Women, we
going
just
back.
like to
That's
hear
what
ourselves
feminist
talk.
belief is.
Sticking everything.
Hold
We're women. We just like to hear ourselves talk.
on, let her. Okay, so what is your argument concretely? Because I think we've debunked already that attraction is a societal construct. I mean, from the female perspective, I would say it's fairly hardwired in biology from a security need standpoint, and we've established that several times here. But what else?
What happens if I try to
feel like
land
we're
it? There's
just
no
going in
space
circles, so I'll
to
just try to
land
summarize
here.
as best as I can.
You think?
Yeah, y'all are going to
Maybe she just needs to be primarily participating.
Feminists are headaches, man.
Oh yeah.
No, because I'm enjoying it. Like,
It's good debate. It's good debate.
Is that headache for you?
Here's the thing. I mean,
You're not having okay, like I don't have a headache. I'm having fun, like learning from y'all. Like,
On the
seeing
show,
like,
I wouldn't get married to that. You know?
That's fine. Like you can have your, individual preferences and stuff like that. I think sometimes you guys make like these huge extrapolations from like, broad statistical averages and like understanding
Bruh.
historical preferences or your own preferences and necessarily assume that they must be.
Have you ever had
No,
a
wait,
dream?
listen, Chris, stop. All I'm simply saying is that what women are attracted to is typically hardwired in biology, and a majority of women share the same preferences and wants in men because it's hardwired in their biology. It's very simple. Like the things we've stated are fairly universal as far as like what women are attracted to in men.
Yeah,
Exactly,
And the point that we're
universal
trying
in
to make,
general.
What's the point you're trying to make? Go ahead.
which I guess we're going to just end up agreeing to disagree, but whatever, is that there is these traits, stability, wealth, that everybody wants. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to be stable.
That's not true.
You,
I don't wanna
the
be
vast
rich.
majority, just because one person doesn't want it, doesn't mean the fact that the vast majority want that stuff.
Okay.
So
All
when you say like, oh no, this is just what women want, this is just what women want, it seems like it's very short-sighted because this is everybody wants that. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to be stable.
Okay,
I think the key though is that men are not looking to become rich and stable
by marrying
through
you.
a woman.
We want to go get it. Would you rather?
You know what I'm
we
saying?
ask the panel, like, and all the women, I already know the answer. They would rather get married to a rich man than become rich themselves, except for the feminists. The feminists, you just want to be men, real bad. Every other girl here is like, yeah, I would rather marry the rich guy, right?
Absolutely.
Would you marry the rich guy?
Like she's correct when she says that humans want to be stable and wealthy. Agree.
We get it through different ways.
But we prefer to get it in different ways. Women would prefer to get it through a man. A man would prefer to get it through himself and then share it with a woman. Here's the difference between a man and a woman. When a man makes money and becomes, in a certain position, he says, wow, I can get a woman and a child to be dependent upon me. When a woman makes money, excess resources, she says, I'm independent of a man. We are very different in how we move when we make excess resources. You don't see men running around coming out with songs, all the independent women, all the independent single men. Like, men understand intrinsically when we make money, we have to be independent. But when women make it, I'm independent.
Like you're demonstrating how, like, at your discretion, you will make certain choices to make sure that wealth is locked up at the end of the day in yours, right? Like, even though you want to use like a wealthy man, hypothetical, right? He marries somebody of a lower socioeconomic background.
Yeah.
Okay. He's not just going to share and bestow wealth upon this woman in the way that you're implying.
He absolutely will.
I think he will.
You don't think he's going to get a prenup?
A prenuptial agreement?
Do you guys know how many men don't get prenuptial agreements that have money?
People in general are not getting prenups. I think everybody should sign a fucking
Men get
prenup.
destroyed by divorce in the West, and we could talk about this if y'all really want to.
my
If you guys
God,
want to
they
take it
wanna
out.
do
But
the
the point is
divorce
that men are
argument
far
now.
more willing to share their resources than women are. This is why women really marry men that make less money than them, unless that guy is like maybe he's going to be a doctor soon or whatever. Women aren't stupid when it comes to marrying like men are.
So if you so
Men are
you're
very
speaking as a
foolish
man.
when they get
You're
married.
unmarried, right?
Yes.
Did you say of course?
Of course. Marriage is a bad
It's a
contract
fucking
for men.
scam in the West.
Okay. But of the wealthy men who get married, you don't think that if they have the resources to have mansions and all sorts of other luxuries in their life, you don't think they have an accountant and a lawyer telling them, dude, you gotta lock down your fucking resources.
Why the fuck is Mackenzie Bezos the richest woman alive?
What we're
Because
talking
men
about?
are
You're
idealistic.
talking about like one person.
talking
I'm
about
talking about like
The
if we're talking
Kardashians,
about
there's more.
The Kardashians are.
They got their money off of men. They got their money off
citing
of
just
men.
literally one
Well,
example.
it's interesting how sugar dating has become such a big thing now. And the fundamental paradigm of sugar dating, yes, there will be exceptions, but in general, what is the fundamental paradigm? It is that younger, attractive women get together with guys who are older and they take care of the provisioning, and there's that sort of value exchange. It's interesting that that's become such a big thing. And that suggests to me that actually this the nature of that relationship is actually hardwired in human behavior.
In every male and female, hold on. In every female and male like courtship or whatever, the man is expected to pay for the date. The man is expected to pick her up. The man is expected to foot the bill. The man is expected to be the breadwinner in the household. Like the sugar dating, etc. In general, when a man deals with a woman, he is expected to shell out money. Versus a woman is never expected to shell out money.
But is that the outcome? Is that what's happening? Because I thought y'all were saying that like feminism has destroyed, chivalry.
For a successful outcome, hold on. If that guy wants to get laid and actually be attractive, he better fucking pay.
Okay.
If I want to date with a majority of women and I told her, let's split this thing, I'm not fucking, bro. And that's the reality. Maybe y'all are okay with 50-50. Most women are not.
But do you know why historically that has been the demand? Like, do you know why historically women have been
because women don't share resources with men in general.
Or because women historically haven't been able
women
to
have resources to share. That's the thing that we're trying to point out.
They were legally not allowed to have
Even
jobs.
now,
To get
women have
education.
women have,
But
the girls that we go on dates with, everyone goes, they have money. They still don't want to pay.
As we said before, right? Like, first of all, societal changes.
Why are women popping bottles in the club and inviting dudes?
Okay. Historically, right,
They
change
don't
takes
want
time.
to.
But on top of that, like, as we pointed out before, women and men tend to take the characteristics or follow the paths of the people they see ahead of them, right? So as we explained with the Dana Scully effect earlier, women see, oh, Dana Scully, she's like super into like science, etc. I want to now pursue a career in that. There's a spike in women doing that. Similarly, when it comes to like finding ways to make wealth, oh, hey, guess what? We see that a bunch of women are marrying rich men, whatever. That's for the longest time was the only way women could get wealth.
Okay, let's move on now. The quiet girls on the panel, do you want to pay for a guy on a date?
Absolutely not. What do I need with you if I'm going to pay for you?
The model, would you like to pay for a guy on a date?
I wouldn't like to.
Okay, and you make your own money, correct? I do. Yeah, right. So why is that a societal construct, or is it just something unattractive? You just want the guy to be able to provide for you.
Yeah, and I've paid multiple times for men on dates, and it doesn't feel like a date. Well, it's not a date.
Yeah, so
It's uncomfortable.
Have you guys?
You?
I
Yeah, they pay for dates and shit. They're trying to be men.
I've never been on a date.
Oh my God.
So then why are you talking about?
Why would she say that?
This is what I'm saying. They haven't lived it. They haven't lived it.
So why are you talking about this?
Have you guys dated a billionaire? Have you guys dated a billionaire?
No.
Have you guys built an empire with a brokey?
Bro, I am 23.
I'm single.
You guys haven't lived it. So what the fuck? This is what I heard. That is statistics.
Oh my God, I want to be there
according to my
so
calculation,
bad.
bro, y'all not lived it. Now let me talk. Because I lived it.
Who is she? What does she live, dude? Oh my
You guys
God.
study. You guys study most of your life. I respect that.
Wait,
I wish I could date. Multiple.
Yeah.
Let me finish.
Okay, keep going.
Go ahead, so eat it. You go.
But I thought they were your
All right.
purpose, okay?
Y'all have studied most of your life.
Educational background.
Déjame hablar. Let me talk because I let you talk. Okay. So let me finish because I'm pissed. You guys have spent most of your. I respect it. I wish I could have studied, but I just wasn't that type of person.
Stupid.
You know, I just wasn't that type of person. So I've lived a lot. I've dated a billionaire, and currently I'm dating a little boy that I'm making money off of. So I've lived both. So let me finish.
For 2 weeks.
You guys are mad that he's talking in general. But since you guys are females, you guys take it emotionally personal.
Oh my God.
Okay,
You're the one right now who's being a little bit emotional.
you guys are still cutting her off. Can she speak? Y'all have been speaking for not because I ain't tripping. Like if you tell me something I don't agree on, I'm like, oh, okay. Thanks. I'm not gonna be
Moving
like,
on.
but the statistics. No.
Moving on. That's how we
So
talk.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it, sort of.
there's like the Matrix, right? Like the Matrix. There's the blue pill and the red pill for the females. Okay.
Okay.
So you guys are the red.
She
right?
dated
You
a
guys wanna be the
billionaire?
bosses?
No,
It's fine. There's nothing wrong with building an empire with
it's gotta be
somebody.
misunderstood.
But
She
he's gonna
wouldn't
be your
claim
bitch,
that.
and you will not have
If
respect
she
for
did,
him.
she's
And he
lying.
won't cheat. That's the pro. That's the pro. 'cause
Wait,
he
did
won't
she
cheat.
say that?
Cheat.
Did I miss
Good.
that?
Okay. Now we got what he's talking about. Most females prefer billionaires, but the cons is that you're gonna have to share him. That's a fact. And you're gonna be
just
pretty
not-
much his slave. So it's your decision,
Tell
and there's
me.
nothing wrong with that. Everybody, let me finish. Everybody's different, and he's just talking
She
about
did say that? She
in
didn't date a
general. And you guys are taking
billionaire.
it personal. But this, he's talking in general. That's it.
I want to make a time out.
Can I say something? For 2 hours. She claims to have dated 2 billionaires. And y'all are saying that men don't give a fuck about economic backgrounds or anything. What they prioritize at the end of the day, fertility, she's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Okay,
You guys are super intelligent.
You're
I
gorgeous.
wish my parents paid for my school. I wish I could have studied.
Wouldn't you have ended up with a billionaire if the only thing that men, rich, poor, middle class, if all they give a fuck about is looks?
I'm gonna tell you why I haven't ended up with a billionaire. Because honestly, y'all think it's easy. It's not. Like, yeah, like I love it. Like I would love to stay at home and not do shit.
She belongs to the streets.
But you gotta share
Wait,
him.
Did you reject him or did he reject you?
No, I can be with
Wait, you
whoever.
wanted to
And I'll
cheat?
show you the DMs. I got Neymar in my DMs.
Wait, he
and I
wanted to
curve
cheat
him.
and you did
I can have whoever I
I'm
want.
talking about the 2 billionaires.
I got who did
they
she
reject you or
say?
did you reject them?
But what does that
I
matter?
rejected
You rejected a
Alex Monopoly.
You rejected a billionaire?
I have done it before.
You rejected 2 billionaires.
Yes.
Why was it? Because you wanted to cheat?
Okay, but
No.
not even. If y'all are saying that women care
Listen,
about...
I'm
Oh my God, that's the biggest f***ing cap in the world. Oh my God.
Money is not the only thing.
All right, ladies.
You're right. Money isn't the only thing. That's exactly why I rejected a billionaire, because I'm a real ass bitch. I'm not like these bitches. Oh my God. He was acting like a silly ass dumbass, and he a billionaire, but he's silly to me. He's
But
still a
Myron's
goofy.
been saying that
I'm
women
like,
are always going to
I'm not gonna-
What she's saying here, if she did reject a billionaire, what she's saying is he was goofy to me, he was good to me. What she's saying is she didn't reject a billionaire to date. She probably rejected him because he just wanted to f***. And I bet he did hit it at least once, and now she's mad that she can't get anything more with him. That's what she means to say, but she doesn't have the balls to actually say that.
Hold on. Can I ask you a question?
Also, I doubt it was a f***ing billionaire. She's probably making names up there too.
Why was he silly? to you?
Or she's using one guy and she was with another dude that was f***ing on the same team or whatever you guys are saying, soccer or whatever bullshit. Because no offense, but like if you're in that area, you're not reaching down to chicks like this unless you're seeing them like and as part of like a threesome, or you're like at a club, or they're just like there. These guys are not reaching out to people like this. I'm sorry, that's just not the case. I know that these guys are trying to sell you that shit, but no shot. No offense, but
he was acting like I just didn't catch the vibe. But bitches stay there like acting like they like acting, but just because he got money.
What do you mean by he was not a pussy?
Disrespectful. Not a pussy, but he was just acting mad goofy, and also some of them are aggressive.
Hey, what's up?
Bro, she's not lying. She was fucking a billionaire.
True, actually true. I think I saw Bezos in her DMs. Yeah,
she was.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. There's like a few athletes who now hit the whole billionaire status, and they be fucking random Instagram women on a regular basis.
Like this?
Yeah. When she says she was a billionaire or whatever, it's not like he was like, let's go to dinner one-on-one or whatever. She was put on a yacht, and she was a regular, and she was getting turned out by super rich dudes.
I'm not trying to be mean to this person, no offense, but she's not a billionaire yacht. She could make it onto like a Miami yacht, but she's not pretty enough to be on one of those yachts. She's probably never seen a billionaire in her life. A billionaire? That's a lot of money. Maybe some millionaire, maybe some guy in a team with a billionaire, but a billionaire, this chick, no shot. I bet my life savings on it.
Okay, let me ask you something. Have you seen like the pictures of billionaire yachts and the women on there?
So like some Leonardo DiCaprio shit.
I've seen enough of them. I've even seen the athletes who've now hit the $1 billion plateau, and the women that they're with.
How many athletes are even worth $1 billion?
There's a few now.
What, like Ronaldo, or
like at $1 billion? They're like at 800 billion.
Okay, well that's.
There's a bunch of athletes who've like hit that range, and these are the kinds of women. If you see some of the cases that are brought against some of these now billionaire athletes, and you see the women that brought, they look like her or even uglier. They're the whole like notion that these guys are gonna take women who are like dimes of dimes. That's not true. That's cap. They'll take hot, like 8s and 9s, and they'll put them on a yacht and run right through them.
Sure, yeah, I said before, like, if she did, she's probably, the reason why she's quote-unquote turning him down is because they once, and she's mentioning anything more. But I don't believe anything the women on these shows say. I don't believe it. Why the are they, like, on these little programs, like, scrounging around for, like, any type of clout or whatever? Meanwhile, they're, like, actually, like, hooked up with billionaires on the yachts and shit?
You want to know what it is? Because a billionaire doesn't put any money in your pockets. So
yeah, but neither does going on Fresh and Fit. I mean...
Agreed, but at least for them it's clout. Like their whole thing is everything is about them is relevance, and everything that makes them relevant is good. So they'll do interviews, they'll do podcasts, they'll do whatever it takes, because at the end of the day, the way that they got discovered is because their shit's relevant.
Sure, I can agree with that in theory, but that's not what happens. None of these girls go on to do anything. A lot of these girls have like 1,000 to 5,000 followers. Somebody can find our Instagram if you guys want to look. It's usually tagged in the thing. But a lot of these girls have like 1,000 to 5,000 fucking followers on Instagram. They don't get any clout off this. They don't do anything.
No. But I promise you, she's well above 20. I'd be very shocked.
Well above 20 what?
20K.
Oh. Well, maybe. I don't know. We'll find it. But
I
don't think anybody builds.
Let's do over under. Want to do over under?
Like how far over or how far under were we betting?
Yeah. Give me the number that you think she's under. And I'll tell you.
Let me guess. Well, now you make me want to play it safe. I'm gonna put her at. Oh shit! Somebody said she's got an OnlyFans too.
I promise you, she's got a pop in Instagram. I can already.
I'll give it 10. That fuck. I'll get it. If she's got an OnlyFans, she might have more. I'll ballpark it at 10K. But I don't know. If she's got an OnlyFans, she might have like 150K.
Easily triple. I'll put her at over 30. You got 10K under. Okay, you have under 30K. I got above 30K. How about that? I'm being generous since you put 10K. Let me see if I'm right. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll hold my L. But I believe that I'm right. What's crazy about this economy now is like even getting to 10K will get you on a billionaire's yacht because they got
millionaire. Yeah, I'm only drawing a distinction between a millionaire and billionaire is a big difference. That's like the difference between a millionaire and fucking like some rando on the street.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I think the image that you have of billionaire is one thing, but I think the women who start fucking these dudes don't look that drastic. Like it's not this exponential thing where the women continuously get hotter and hotter. But hey. I don't even think it's that important. You watching this whole thing, what have you been thinking watching this of them on Fresh and Fit?
I hate all these people so much, except for my two friends.
Wait, your friends or the women?
Pxie and Erin are two of the girls on this right now, and I'm watching them go through the fire. But
are they doing a good job?
They're doing okay. I feel like I do a better job at communicating at like appropriate levels rather than making everything like super academic.
Yeah, people watch the show and they're like, "Oh, I would have said this. I would have said this." And then they get in the environment, they realize it's not literally as easy to get your points across or to make them cogent in a way that works well. Now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's.
Because they'll watch everyone else like, "Why didn't you hit him with this statistics and this and stuff?" And like, she brought up all those stats and whatever she said, and like, maybe like by the point it probably makes sense. But all they had to say is like, "You're being emotional. You're being a woman," and like the crowd and everybody just lost it. And it probably rattled them.
Maybe, yeah, but okay. Well, I want to finish watching this. I gotta catch up because we might be going out to eat after, so I gotta.
Okay, no worries. All
right, I'll leave you.
Hold on, wait. We have to find out. Did you find out what's the link to this? I don't have to link this thing.
I don't know if this is hers, but somebody linked this one where she has 40K. There you go. I don't know if that's her now though, but somebody in chat.
Got 40K?
Yeah, if that's her.
What I tell you, bro?
I still don't think she's been on any billionaire boat, though. Maybe millionaire, I'll agree with you, but I don't think people realize how rare billionaires are. Even that Ronaldo dude is only worth 500 million. I say only, but billionaire is really rare. I don't know if you can get to billionaire by being an athlete or a musician. I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, I think LeBron James just hit $1 billion.
Maybe LeBron, maybe.
Yeah, there's a few of them. Okay, but anyways, you go back to watching. I won't keep you from it.
Okay.
As long as she hit over 30, I'm good.
All right, have fun. Be careful.
Some of them treat you bad. Some of them have problems, and most of the times these men go through a lot. They go through a lot. So you have to be their emotional support. You have to be their psychologist. You got to be there for them, and that's a lot of energy.
But you're saying, to keep it real, you literally rather be with a broke dude over a.
No, I'm not saying. At the moment, I'm experiencing something. I'm doing an experiment, which is different.
You're saying
a social experiment, but because I experience in life. Because I'm experiencing life.
The fact that you're even willing and like to be with somebody who makes a guy who makes a lot less money, like a broke dude, right, over a billionaire. Doesn't that speak to our point? How there are factors in relationships for women.
If we put forward that, you'd say it was anecdotal because she's one individual.
Do you want to talk about anecdotal? Let me talk about anecdotal. I dated 3 bum ass niggas that were beta males that didn't make money. I paid for everything. I took care of them. I made them money. One of them is kind of semi-successful now because of me, because I built that nigga the fuck up. Exactly. Am I in a relationship with him? No. Now we're talking anecdotal. Don't cut me the fuck. I'm speaking. Let me talk because we didn't cut you off. Respectfully, let me speak. Respectfully, let me speak. I'm gonna respect the panel because I love this panel. We're not on the streets now. Anecdotal experience-wise, I'm calm down. I'm good. Anecdotal experience-wise, I dated 3 bum-ass niggas that were nobody, had no money. I took care of everything. Why I'm not in a relationship with him? Question me on that. Why? Because he was a beta male. They all were, and I got tired of it. Because as a woman, I want to be taken care of. I don't want to.
This is the Ronaldo guy, right? I see 490 million.
My biological.
You said that you did it 3 times though.
Yes, and I tried it 3 times. 3 times and I failed.
Yeah. You think you're disagreeing, but you're actually 2 sides of the same feminist coin. Like she's saying she's a real ass bitch. It's a masculine attitude.
She said Neymar, not Ronaldo.
You both were part of the feminist society that masculinizes women, and that's why they find it's harder to settle down. Even when the guy's a billionaire, they don't know how to detach their ego. Before this feminist nonsense, she would have settled down.
So you're saying she should have been with a billionaire. That's what you're saying. She should have detached from her ego and been with a billionaire.
It's harder because women are taught to be more masculine now, like you.
So now you're saying it's about socialization. I thought you were saying these biological urges trump everything.
All right, ladies, let me take this. So it's very simple, ladies. See, you guys are looking at this like one-sided. What you don't realize is that female attraction is extremely complex and it's a multivariate analysis. Okay? So, but if we're going to go on hierarchies of what women prioritize, I'm going to put status and money as number 1. That gives you the ability to come in and at least start the interaction. Then she's going to look at, is he physically attractive? Height, physicality, etc. Okay, he meets my physical requirements. Now comes the charisma and the charm, which is where the billionaire probably failed with her. He wasn't attractive when she says, I didn't catch a vibe with him. Translation, he didn't charm me, he didn't woo me, he was boring, he was lame, he talked about stocks all day, and I didn't like that. So with women, it's a multivariate analysis of what they're attracted to. You guys are looking at it, money and status, that's it. No, it gets your foot in the door.
I thought that was your point.
I'm saying it starts there. It gives the man the opportunity, it gives him the ability to get his foot in the door. But the door is still closing. He's got still other attraction triggers. Like when a guy walks up to you, you're like, wow, he's handsome. Let me give him a chance. And he opens his mouth. You're like, oh, okay, I'm good. This guy's lame. So with men, it's very difficult because they have to have a bunch of things in check to be attracted to women. Money just buys you. Maybe you got a Lamborghini. Maybe you're a billionaire. Maybe you're a millionaire. It buys you an extra 10 seconds to introduce yourself and not immediately get rejected. That's all it really does in the long scheme. So, and when a girl's attractive and she has options like her, she's able to reject them because she has other men of higher status that are also pursuing her. This is what happens.
That too. There's no shot. I'd bet my life on it. There's no shot she's ever turned down a billionaire in her life. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Not even for sex. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Girls have options, and the sexual marketplace is globalized. So I get what you're saying. Oh, well, he had money status. Why did she take him? Well, she's in a position where she could disqualify him because he wasn't charming and attractive enough.
So we all agree exactly.
Because she's currently with a broke dude.
The only one we all agree that it's not just biology. Then we've all agreed to that. It's not just biology.
I think status means different things.
You just described 3 other things.
Stop. But it is biology because money, status, physical height, strength, personality, charisma, charm. These are things that women are hardwired to look for. It is biology.
Yeah, exactly. No, Myron's right. Because the difficulty here is that women. What we're saying is women are attracted to status. Okay, but status can mean different things. So you've got the sort of paradigm. You've got the cliche of the rich woman who You've got the cliche of the rich woman who has sex with the pool boy while her husband's at work earning the millions of dollars or whatever. Why does she pool boy? Is it because he's not a billionaire, but he might be physically very attractive? He might have that kind of charisma. He might have that bad boy sort of panache and aplomb about him, which women also find attractive. So there are different definitions of status that can apply at different points.
So you're saying, okay, I think I understand where we're at now. You're saying, oh, women experience attraction. That's biology. But what they're attracted to can be different things depending on the woman, which means that it's not biologically the same for all women, because some women might be more biologically attracted to a really high charisma, while some women might be more biologically attracted to a higher income.
Yeah, but no woman's biologically attracted to a guy who does the housework.
That's
a completely separate point from what she's saying.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
How are you guys so autistic about sex, man? You make it boring. Like, I have an inverted boner right now. It's just going.
It's really interesting. My favorite I would talk to somebody who turned down 2 billionaires.
What's crazy is y'all so happy with the statistics. Statistically, we had 11 females on the panel, and y'all two the only that aren't in agreement with every other female. We're talking about what females want, and then men are telling you what men want.
Zena, be respectful.
I'm not
Don't call them.
I'm sorry, ladies. I'm sorry, but we have other women on this panel, and nobody's agreeing with you guys. Literally, nobody's agreeing.
Isn't it like it's like 4 women versus like 2?
I mean,
they hard-headed. Y'all right.
This is not the majority. This is not the majority.
It's
like winning.
No, wait. It's why college is woke indoctrination. College turns girls into feminists, into leftists, to brainwash them with these ideas. Even though you are extremely educated, it's proof that college is just a woke indoctrination camp.
They're feminists, but they're the definition of a woman. Hard-headed. You gotta tell them they're right. Am I right? Who has been married to a woman? Males.
No.
Or in a relationship with a woman.
Well,
I'm talking to the males. Right that when you gotta win the argument by saying she's right. You're right, babe. You're right.
Can I
and the bitch is wrong.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay,
what do you want to address?
I want to address Zena's earlier points. No, because she was like saying statistics, and I
was mocking Shadi over here, who kept saying statistics,
and you still saying talking about statistics.
Okay, well, because I honestly, and I don't mean to be condescending, it's gonna come off condescending. I don't know if you guys understand how statistics work.
I do actually. Like I said,
you know what we understand? Me and her are street smart.
Can y'all let her finish her?
Oh no.
And I'm not trying to be.
Let her finish for the 100th time.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be condescending, but you're saying, oh, look at all the women in this panel, look at all the men, like you see they're disagreeing with you, blah blah. There is something called selection bias when it comes to statistics.
She's gonna bring up
this whole idea that when you get a sample size of people,
He's about to lose it.
if you don't try to make it random, there's going to be a bias in who you select, right? So right now, being like, oh, all the people in this panel, that's not actual statistics. That's not valid statistics. What you'd have to look at is a random sample size. Because look at us, we're all in Miami, right? We're not all over the U.S. population, anything like that. We're all hot girls from Miami and 3 guys.
So let me ask you this then. What are you disputing in particular with this election bias based on the panel?
Okay, I'm
disputing in particular.
Okay, I'm disputing the fact that Zena's saying, oh no, like you should take into account everybody here. Look, they're telling you something opposite, blah 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 blah. I'm not saying that people's own experiences ain't coming into account with what they believe. I'm saying that you'd actually have to look at actual statistics if you're going to make a claim about what the majority of people believe.
You've quoted 2 statistical studies, but you didn't have the sample size. I'm not trying to be pedantic here, but you know, you've got to. You can't just say, oh, well, the statistics say this, so therefore that's an irrefutable proof. You've got to drill down into the methodology. What was the methodology? What was the sample size? What was the
I like how he says that for her, but he didn't ask the sample size of any of Myron's studies. He didn't ask for the methodology of any of Myron's studies. And sample size is, to be quite honest, it's like one of the least important. I fucking cringe every time he used to fucking ask that shit. Sample size is probably one of the least important aspects of a study to find out if it was a good study or not.
That's absolutely valid and fair. Yeah, I don't disagree with you on that. I just disagree with the idea that like, oh, you see, the majority of people on this panel think this one thing. That means it's the truth. Like that's what I want to push against.
Okay. Well, again, what is it that you are saying that there's election bias specifically that you are against? I'm asking you, what is it specifically?
She's trying to claim that we're outliers here on this panel. Undoubtedly, we are. Clearly, y'all are in more ideological agreement than we are.
Well, about what?
No, you guys
About
understand that we select women randomly.
Give us specifically what it is that makes you the outlier. I don't care about the girls on the table. What makes you outliers from women in general? Because you guys don't agree that the panel.
Outliers from this panel.
Okay.
Right?
Well,
I don't think most women think that men are logically superior.
Yeah.
You don't think that?
No, I don't think most women think, oh, men are logically the best people, like logically superior than me. I think most women would say we're equal.
If I asked 100 women in general, would you prefer a male surgeon or a female surgeon? Most of them will probably elect with a man. If I asked a girl,
I mean, it's very convenient that you can just make up like, oh, if I ask 100 women or whatever, I'm sure they're going to agree with me. Like I could say the same thing and throw it back at you. I could ask 100 men, and I'm sure they're going to agree with me.
You gotta use but here's the thing. This is where common sense comes in, and this is why so many people from the left, I guess, don't have common sense at all. Most
you're saying
women,
your feelings. You're saying common sense is your feelings.
This is not my feelings. This is common sense understanding that when there's danger afoot or something critical needs to be done or there's a high pressure situation, they want the man there, not the woman. If the house is burning down, you don't want 2 feminists coming in that identify as they, them coming in and pull you out. You want a toxically masculine guy that says on Saturdays when he's talking to his buddies drinking beers. You want him pulling you out the fire. When you're getting robbed, you don't want 2 feminists showing up that call themselves Susie and Kristen that identifies him, her, them,
when
and
I'm
them.
In a fire, I want firefighters.
Toxically masculine man.
I want law enforcement.
My point is, when push comes to shove, life or death, high pressure situation, women almost always want men in this driver's seat taking care of the situation because why? Men are superior when it comes to operating under pressure. They're superior when it comes to dexterity. They're superior when it comes to decision making when it comes under pressure. This is why men dominate in video games, whereas there's no physical difference. Chess, etc. Men dominate women when it comes to deductive problem solving. It is a fact, and everything you see around the world nowadays was invented by a man that is more logically sound and rational.
Simple question. If those 2 girls that got kicked off the panel for being irrational and knocking on the door, if you had to go call the police because she started getting reckless, would you rather a female police officer come or a male police officer?
If they have a gun, who the f cares?
Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't matter to you?
No, not if they have a weapon in their hand.
Would you rather have a male police officer come or a female police officer? To come and handle the situation, two drunk girls being obnoxious.
The gender of the law enforcement officer.
Okay, the rest of the girls.
A man.
You got to be careful. You have to identify why these are bad questions instead of answering this. Like, obviously you prefer a man to show up, right? You kind of just, that's like a gimme. You kind of have to just give that one.
If gender doesn't matter, then you know what? Why don't we have more women in the military? Because everyone has guns.
I didn't say gender didn't matter. I just said in this specific hypothetical.
No, I said in that specific circumstance, if a police officer comes here, that's very different than an entire military of people. And again, I never said
they have guns. The same shit. People would die. All right, so it's all right. People die in the military.
All things equal. Okay, let's say all things equal. Everyone has a gun. Do you want a male police officer to show up or a female police officer?
Do y'all know the percentage difference between male officers that pull out the guns and actually use it versus female?
That's not necessarily a good
Please
thing.
tell me, because you said if y'all had guns, it doesn't matter. So I just want to know. I just want to know. She brought it up, so I want to know.
Destroying the
wait.
I don't want cops that
She said if they have a gun, their gender doesn't matter.
The reason why I bring this
to
up,
enforce the law, so long as they're an armed officer of the state and they have a gun. It doesn't matter if it's a female law enforcement officer or a male law enforcement officer. If that person came into the room, they have the command of this room.
No, they don't. Bro, nobody respects a female police. What are you going to arrest me?
You would just respect a female police officer. Really?
I'm running away.
Shit, you're running away.
You don't show hesitate to cap your ass. If you're in the commission of crime,
he just said he ran away from her, so that kind of proves a point, right?
Ladies, you can't shoot a suspect from running away from you. You can't do that.
I mean, legally, you're not supposed to do that. Physically, of course, you're capable of doing that, right?
And women police officers are far more likely to pull a gun out and get involved in a shooting than a man because they're not as physically capable of dealing with the perpetrator.
Thank you.
Okay.
Clown world. I mean,
I don't even know if
you just argue to argue.
That's true. He is an HSI
I used to work in law enforcement. Women are far more likely to pull out their guns because they're not as physically as capable as dealing with the perpetrator.
Right. We never disagreed on like how men are physically stronger or not. Like I'm not talking about physicality.
Yeah, you have an issue with the rationale.
No, what I have an issue with is that you guys keep saying like, oh, you see, like men are so much superior, et cetera, and yet you bring
superior certain things.
Okay, superior in logic, superior in. Can you list?
I'm listening.
Okay, no, I was gonna say, can you make a list again?
Oh, okay. Logic, decision making, rationality, decision making.
Yeah, you're saying like you already demonstrated like the ways in which women are superior to men. You don't even find to be important.
No, they are important.
Regardless of that, right? And then to prove your point, what you're doing is that you're using these exceptional circumstances to say, oh no, men in general are more logical, right? How often is your house burning down? How often is a police officer knocking on your door? Not very often, right? So to me, I think it's really weird to take like these exceptional circumstances and say, oh, that's proof that men on average are more logical.
Stop. The reason why we have to use exceptional circumstances is to show you that men are exceptionally better than women at said circumstances. That's why we have to do it that way. Because for you to understand that men are more rationally, logically, and deductively solved than women is because I have to give you these examples. You guys understand when it comes to life or death, what are you picking? I need to be able to get a clear-cut answer. So men, here's the thing. I'm not saying women aren't capable. The problem is that you guys are listening, but you're not understanding. I'm not saying women aren't capable. I'm saying if I had the two options, the superior option is almost always the man when it comes to deductive problem solving, rationality, logic, and emotional control.
So you would choose a male officer, first day on the job, rookie dude with a gun to protect you over a veteran who is
it's the average person. It's just, you're just arguing nothing right. It's the average.
The reason why the cup thing doesn't support their argument, you would rather choose the male cup, but you've already given on physicality, but that's not what you're arguing about right now. You're arguing about who's more rational, who's more logical, right? And they're appealing to, well, who would you choose in terms of a police officer? Police officers are not historically known for their logic and rationality. Police officers are arguably, never mind. You're never picking the most rational cop. That's the point that they should be fighting on, not trying to argue against this like, well, who has the gun or whatever, the cop thing. It's just it's a losing argument. But I understand why they're trapped in it. I might get stuck in this too in this particular example, but you're not like, yeah. Like if he says like, yeah, men are leading in rationality and logic and they're better chess players. It's like, okay, well, why the f are we talking about if we choose a male or a female cop?
An example where you're saying I'm picking the dude every time.
She
just argued what she doesn't matter that she's a veteran officer. She's got 30 years job experience. She has way more training with a firearm.
Like they're so down this hole now.
Little boy cop.
But she just explained how gay.
He's younger. Hold on. I'll tell you what. He's younger. No. It's very rational because I come from that field. He's younger. He's more gung ho. He's stronger. He's more physically capable. A woman on the job for 30 years. Men are less likely to pull out their guns in a physical confrontation because they can actually deal with a suspect versus a woman is not.
Do you think
a woman with 30 years experience as a police officer is old and fat at this point?
I have no idea the circumstances by which a woman is with this female officer would be withdrawing her gun. It's the ingrained biases literally would change the way that
You asked me a question. You didn't think about it logically and rationally.
I think I did, but
you did it because you named a woman who's physically inferior, fatter, older, etc., versus a young rookie who is far more physically capable.
I'm framing as more experience.
You said 30 years experience.
Okay, but let's say
30 years experience makes her 50 years old. To be a police officer, you typically have to be between 18 to 21.
Let's talk about y'all experiences. Hold up, let me.
Do you think that a woman in her 50s can't be physically fit?
No.
No. Oh God, no. No, that's not what you wanted. That's not. That ain't it.
Compared to a young rookie cop.
Do you think a man in his 50s can be physically fit?
Absolutely.
Oh no.
Because we're going through menopause at 50. We are physically impaired at that point. Like, what are you talking about? Have you start pre-menopause in your mid-40s? That fucks with your physical pulse, right? Let's talk about experience, real life situation, not statistics.
It's also, I bet it's also harder for them because like as much as I shout or scream, I do try really, really hard to engage in good faith. They're probably not used to getting like actually thunderdomed like this because I don't know if I've ever actually thunderdomed either of these people before.
about the male species, okay?
Hold on, just relax. The reason that they're able to argue these points is because we don't live in a dangerous society anymore. Violence never really comes up in college campuses.
Then why were y'all earlier in the conversation bringing up that men are more likely to be the victims of violence when they go outside?
Right.
Now you're going to say, well,
the reason that woke feminists and she-theys exist is because we are in a world where our gender roles matter less because there's more equal opportunity. As soon as we revert to our gender roles, if we were all on an island and it's a bunch of us, who's going to be the one who's going to start the fire?
Yeah, exactly. You have to think of exceptional circumstances that don't exist in developed and modern countries.
And the point is that we know that biology matters, and you're trying to act like we just live in this autistic fucking...
I'm not saying, I never said biology doesn't matter.
The only reason you're able to make... No offense, ladies, but the only reason you're able... Yo, look, the only reason... The fact that you even tried to argue with me that a woman that's 50 years old is as physically capable as a young man that's a rookie police officer...
That's not what she argued.
That's quite literally what she said a second ago.
That is literally not what she argued. She said,
years on the job.
She never said anything about... No, what she literally said, and let's be clear here, is she said, oh, a 50-year-old woman who's more experienced versus a 20-year-old rookie. She's not saying, oh, the woman is more physically superior. She never said any of that.
To a younger man. I granted you that a 50-year-old woman is probably not physically superior to a rookie cop, but I'm saying that there are skill sets in her.
But then you literally verbatim said, and you think a 50-year-old man is more physically capable. That's
no.
She
said, do you think a 50-year-old man can be fit? And they said yes.
Anybody
so
can
then,
be fit.
So you said a man in his 50s can be physically fit.
But somehow a woman in her 50s
a woman in her 50s can be.
No, that wasn't the question that you asked. So what you did was...
You're going circles all the time.
Context matters, ladies. Here's the thing. Here's
Just to respond.
Yo, you got here's the context. Would you prefer a young rookie cop coming in a dire situation, or a woman who is trained with 30 years experience?
Exactly.
And me, using my deductive problem solving and my rationality and logic, I know 30 years on the job automatically puts her around 50 years old. So I know she's not going to be as physically capable of actually dealing with a perpetrator as the young guy. So that's why when you said, I was literally listening to you very closely. That's why I'm able to answer it to this degree. That's what I said, right? That's why I said automatically the young guy, and I didn't even think twice about it because I knew 30 years on the job, regardless of her firearm training, regardless of her experience, regardless of her time on the job, the man is going to be superior to her in this degree because when it comes to policing, when it comes to a dire situation, physicality matters. Now, then you go ahead and say, well, does that mean that a 50-year-old woman can't be fit?
No, and I said physicality trump everything.
When it comes to policing and dealing in a life or death situation, I want the physically fit guy every time.
I want a person who's more capable with handling a gun.
Okay, can you let him finish? Let him finish. This is his panel.
I'm telling you, man.
Always need a gun to
regardless, you don't always need a gun to defuse the threat. As a matter of fact, they teach you in law enforcement. In a law enforcement situation, they actually teach you to defuse the threat at the lowest level so that you don't have to necessarily escalate and kill someone.
The thing about female cops, I'm pretty sure is true, that a female cop is more likely to draw a gun, and it's probably because they have the less ability to get a handle on the situation without having to resort to lethal force. That I'm pretty sure that is true. I feel like I've heard that before.
Exactly. You don't even need physical strength to
let this man talk. Like, Jesus.
You need to shoot a gun, but you might need a physical strength.
You get the physical strength so that you don't have to shoot them.
Exactly.
So you can actually take them down to the ground.
At this point, you're just talking to the
So what I'm saying is that I prefer the younger guy. And then you said, well, can a woman be physically fit too? And I was like, she can, but not to the same level as a man can. Then you're like, well, what about a 50-year-old guy? Well, if I took a 50-year-old guy, 50-year-old woman, all things equal, that 50-year-old guy more than likely is going to be physically superior to that 50-year-old woman.
Okay, but it wasn't a question of whether or not a 50-year-old man would be physically superior to a 50-year-old woman. He probably would be. Obviously, I agree with you. I'm saying you wouldn't even grant a woman could be physically fit at 50. Now you're saying, oh, well, she can be, but she'd be inferior to a 50-year-old man.
You like hearing yourself talk for real? None of these females are talking. You haven't read a single book in Super Chat. Y'all don't talk about equality.
If y'all want to read Super Chat, don't be disrespectful to them because they haven't been disrespectful to y'all. They haven't been disrespectful to y'all. Just because you disagree with them doesn't mean that you guys can outright disrespect them. Relax.
All right, but when I put the girls out the studio, right? Mind you, she wanted to fight all the girls on the panel, but the moment I approached her, she was like, nah, nigga, I'm cool. And I told her, hey, listen, I'm gonna call the cops, right? These guys will get here. She was out within 2 seconds. You girls will sit down on the panel and ain't doing shit, all right? So at the end of the day, all right, when the threat of a man is involved, these bitches are out.
They know what's up.
They know what's up, right?
Okay, they're never gonna have kids invest in antidepressants to
All right, the last thing before. Okay, while he pulls up the chats.
Because you said male cops are on their way. You said law enforcement are on their way.
So you
law
guys
enforcement are gonna be a man or a woman.
Okay, so you guys have an issue with the point that we made that we said men are more logically, rationally, and logically sound than women and better deductive problem solvers. That's your issue, right?
Yeah. Can I explain something?
Yeah, sure.
Just we take turns. Can we do equality for real? Like, you guys are talking about so much equality, and you guys are not giving anybody the opportunity to talk. I'm talking, and you guys are interrupting me.
Okay, well,
let me finish. I'm not done.
Let her finish. Start first.
Yeah, go. Explain your statistics.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no. My problem is that you're using these extreme examples to try to prove your point. Okay. And I think that there are, and I know there are because I've literally, you can make fun of me for reading studies, but yeah, I've read the studies that can make these points in different ways or don't prove to what you're saying. So for example, who's a more logical thinker or whatever in like stressful situations? There are literally books written about this, about like actually studies done with stress. And guess what? Who's the best people reacting at stress? It's not men, it's not women, it's people who believe that they're good at handling stress. That is literally the #1 indicator of how you're going to perform in a stressful situation. So this isn't, down to biology. It's literally down to how you think you're going to handle stress. So when you say like, oh no, this is all biological, it's going to be this way, it's going to be probably men, probably women, what you're taking, or what it seems like you're not taking into account is that there's all these other factors, regardless of sex, that actually influence how you handle stressful situations. I would strongly recommend reading the book Upsides of Stress. It goes really deep into this.
Okay, then you know what? You want to talk about women can handle stress better than men in some situations. Why is it that all of the most stressful jobs are dominated by men?
Can you give us
what's an example?
Air traffic controllers, high-level surgeons, police officers, military, all of these high-risk jobs that are very dangerous, by the way, I might add, that women typically don't go into. Why are they dominated by men if women are so good at handling stress?
You're saying it's because men have a natural affinity above women. And that's why, right? That's your explanation.
No, I'm asking you the question.
Oh, Jesus. Erin's got to chill on the aggressiveness.
I'm responding to what she said. She's saying women deal with stress better than men in certain situations. And I was like, okay, cool. By that logic, tell me why all the most stressful careers are dominated by men.
She's just saying that women have the capacity to do so in the same way that men do.
A lot of these careers that you're listing, right, are physical in nature.
Air traffic controller is physical? Being a pilot is physical?
I didn't say all, please.
So which is one that's dominated by women? A high stress job.
Honestly, straight up child rearing.
Yeah.
You don't think raising children is stressful?
Oh, no, that's not that it. That wasn't the one.
Telling me and everything.
She should have went with nursing because holy f, nursing can be ultra high stress. The hours are fucking insane. The crazy people you have to deal with is stupid. It's a high skilled job. Oftentimes you got to go to school for it. Lots of school for it, depending on if you go for your full RN or not. Nursing would have been the perfect example here.
What did I say at the top of the show? I said that men, right, are more likely to go ahead and chase resources. I said women are naturally lazy.
If you wanted to go with child rearing, honestly, teaching might be an okay one too. Although even that I would want to fight on this show. Teaching would be an acceptable one, but I think that what the fuck did I just say? Sorry, I just read something I was gonna remember. Nursing would have been the way better option, I think.
When it comes to chasing resources, they're better at creating life and a family.
We agree.
Okay, another
Common
word
ground.
dominated. Sex work is a majority women. And guess what? That is an extremely stressful occupation.
Oh, perfect. Can I speak up, Myron? This is the best part. Explain how sex work is such a hard education or hard workforce. Are you in sex work? Because I have OnlyFans, she has OnlyFans. That shit easy, right? You take a picture and you post it, right?
Strippers or prostitutes.
Okay, bitch, I used to be a stripper. I could do a pole dance right the now. It's easy as fuck.
Oh, that's easy.
I'm sorry. Y'all think raising a child is so stressful. But wait. Why are you guys saying that sex work? It's easy. It's easy. You finesse men. You shake a little bit of ass and you finesse men. I used to dance. It's actually not a stress. It's not stressful. The only thing that's stressful is perseverance.
Extremely physically demanding.
And I am a pole dancer. And I am a pole dancer, honey. And I am a pole dancer. It's not physically engineering at all.
I'm not a stripper, but I've done pole fitness before. You end the night with your legs just covered in bruises.
I've never had a bruise. That's how it is in the Miami.
You've never had a bruise on your leg and you do pole dancing? I don't believe it. Girls' legs are always bruised to shit. That's such a lie. There's no shot. Now I don't know if she even dances at all. I wonder if she made that whole side story up.
Because there's absolutely no way. So you have to mount yourself to that pole without getting bruised.
Go.
Oh, shit. Oh my God.
This is physically demanding. That is my point.
Oh, wait, never mind. Sorry, she did it. How does she never had a bruise before? Wait, I didn't even watch. I'm sorry. I guess she does do it.
Hey. This is what y'all should be doing. Stop going to college, man. This is way more fun to be.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, damn, yeah, there she goes.
I think she displayed that. What she's basically saying is that.
But you have to work hard to do that, right? You
stop trying to justify it. This shit is easy, bro.
Oh man, is Erin gonna go pole dance now? Oh no.
Get the fuck up there.
We're talking about stress.
It's so easy. Go do it.
No, we were talking about stress.
Oh no.
Okay. It is so physically easy. And men are on average more stronger than women. Get the fuck get your ass on the pole.
Everybody shut up. Let me tell you why I've not been on the pole for over a year and a half, bitch. Let's get out of this.
Holy shit. She's so mad.
It's not physically. I haven't ridden a bicycle in years. If I got on one right now, I could still do it.
But that doesn't prove that. Guys.
You are debunked.
That doesn't.
And you're not a bitch. I'm sorry.
That doesn't prove your point because you were talking about stressful. That's physically demanding.
That was not physically demanding.
Well,
that comes.
Hey, ladies. Number one. Everyone sit down.
That's easy. How many jobs have you
had?
Thank you, Rose.
Hey, everybody shut the hell up. Sit down,
easy
relax, take a breather. Let's reset this. Cena, gather your thoughts, make your point, and then I'm going to let them go ahead and say what they got to say.
So let me gather my thoughts.
And don't be disrespectful. Don't call them a bitch again.
Okay, so I'm going to speak.
Don't call them fucking bitches, guys.
Okay. No one here's a bitch. We're all ladies. Sorry. So while I did that, I just displayed that with anecdotal experience. I just displayed it, and I'm telling you from my own experience, there's nothing that comes easy to me. You're speaking because you're it looks hard. It's not hard. That shit's easy.
I told you I done pole fitness, girl.
Well, our body mass is completely different. Respectfully, can I finish, baby?
No, I'm good.
I never went to training. I don't do training. I never did any of that. Everything that I do is self-taught. It's just easy. It's just easy. It's not. It's incomparable from a man's. Getting on the pole is not the same as a fucking man in like the military, bro. Like,
let me just say. Remember,
most people in the military are paper pushers. Okay, it's not like the average guy is like getting deployed to.
What we were arguing is that men dominate the most stressful jobs, and you went ahead and you brought into sex work. That's where they came in. Did you have something that you wanted to add to that?
Of course, I have a lot of things to say.
All right, go ahead.
You guys are talking about statistics, facts.
right.
How many jobs have you guys had?
Multiple.
Oh no.
Would you like to
Okay,
hear
they
some?
both have had multiple.
I do primary education.
How many kids have you guys had?
I've been a babysitter. I've done gig work. I've worked music festivals. I've been a caretaker for a lot of my life, even when I was underage. Yeah.
It's fine. You didn't have
To
to.
a physically disabled elderly family member. Yes.
Okay, caretaker. Okay. I've worked in every fucking position you could imagine. This girl, I'm sure she's worked every fucking
Meeting billionaires, doing every single job.
hard job you can fucking imagine.
Okay.
I'm talking about
All of them.
restaurants,
All
like
the jobs.
bartending, bottle girl, stripper, everything.
Chris, man.
Nice.
But let me tell you,
Jesus.
I've had a child. You guys haven't, and you guys are out here talking about maternity, como si saben. Another thing, you guys are talking about sex work.
Did you think that the
it's
restaurant
so
jobs are
stressful, and you guys have
demanding?
never.
Here, let's let her finish, please.
Y'all probably have like 3 body. I don't know. I don't even know if y'all had a boyfriend before. Y'all talking about
But it's
male
como si
species.
saben. What does that mean? What do you know?
Hold on. Let me fucking finish. Y'all talking about male species. You guys, how much you want to bet y'all have never lived with a man? Y ustedes aquí hablando de hombres.
I already told you I never been on a date. Obviously, I never lived with a man.
You
no.
guys talking about caregiver.
Hey, there's no need to be disrespectful. Just say your
I'm not being
points and
disrespectful.
you are. Just say your points.
Why?
Don't be a bitch about it.
What's
please.
wrong with being a
That's just the way I
caregiver?
talk.
Okay, well, tone it back
Okay,
a
I'm
little bit.
gonna try to.
Don't be patronizing to the ladies, man. Like,
Okay,
chill.
what else? What is that?
You wrote it
You're
down.
talking all this shit. You're
It
not
says
even cooking.
fire. I don't know what that means.
Move on.
Actually,
Nurses is another example.
Wait, nurse?
Okay.
Yeah, of stressful jobs.
Okay,
RNs,
fair enough.
people like working.
My mother
nonstop.
was a nurse.
You know
by
what's
the way.
more stressful than being a nurse?
Being a
Oh,
doctor.
you're gonna say doctor.
Yeah. And who's usually the doctor?
Well, again, now we're gonna go back to
Just
circles.
answer it for you.
Well, yeah, males. Because guess what? Guess who historically couldn't practice?
I don't know if being a doctor is more stressful than being a nurse. Doctors are stressful jobs, for sure. But in terms of like, just like day-to-day levels of stress, I'm not sure. I've heard so many horrible stories about nursing jobs day-to-day, like when you're dealing with all the like upkeep for all the patients, like long-term care, and the hours, the on-call, all of that shit. I mean, I guess I wonder if like attending physicians are doing like doing the rounds as much as like nurses and shit are on like upkeep and whatnot. I'm not sure. I don't know. I truly don't know. I haven't had as many like physicians email me and complain about. I haven't heard as many physicians email me and complain about that as I have like nursing people. But I don't know.
Practice medicine in that
And
level
they
of
can
field.
now.
Well,
yeah,
actually,
so now you're getting more women doctors.
Yeah, but that
well, you know what?
changes
I'm really glad that you brought up med school and doctors. Actually, women nowadays, med school is almost 50-50. But overwhelmingly, the people that choose to go into the harder professions when it comes to surgery, anesthesiology, etc., are overwhelmingly men. Women typically go into pediatricians, being a primary caregiver, primary doctor.
So even
they want to do veterinary type stuff. They want to do cosmetics. A lot of times they want to do skin dermatology. Men almost always go into the more risky, harder professions when it comes to the medical
I
field.
feel like this is pure cope. So you're saying that even when it comes to like men and women earning the same credential, both going through med
Okay, I think Myron has to know they're my friends because I'm surprised he didn't bite her head off at that.
school, incredibly difficult,
Yes.
becoming PhDs, getting an MD.
Yes.
Then you want to break it down to the sector and you're like, well, they're choosing the easy sectors to being a doctor.
Yes,
Dude, come
they are.
on.
They are. And here's how I know this. There's no studies on this because it would be the most sexist and f***ed up study and it would never get approved. However, I have
Or
a lot
maybe
of
it's just
friends.
unscientific, but continue.
Oh
Well,
my
I have a
God.
lot of friends that are
She's cutting him off
doctors,
so
and
hard. Jesus.
overwhelming. And you know what? How about you could have fun and you could go ahead and look at the registered surgeons. I guarantee you, look at their neurosurgeons, the anesthesiologists, all the professions that are actually high risk. Okay, they're probably dominated by men.
Probably.
Okay, no more.
I guarantee they're dominated by
Let's
men.
go to the chats. They're never gonna agree.
Like, and that is the truth.
Because you're
Real
saying
quick.
biology and
That
we're
is the
saying
truth.
they were
Real quick.
socialized.
Please read the
Before I
chat.
move on, you said that you
Let's read
did
the
restaurant
chats.
work, right?
Yes.
Oh God.
Would you say it was physically demanding?
Yes, it was.
Oh, what's so hard about,
Oh, what's
just
so
taking
hard?
somebody's order and stuff? No.
No, about
I'm-
standing for 8 hours.
Exactly, girl. It is physically demanding. If you're saying just standing is physically demanding, why the is spinning on a pole physically demanding for hours and hours on end.
It is.
Oh shit! I wish you would have thought of that before.
No one
That would have been a
it's
good
not
one.
as physically demanding as being a cop. I'm simply saying that independently.
Okay,
as a
so
cop,
you
being
can
Sitting
do
in
it.
this chair and listening to you speak is physically demanding.
That's
Let's read
mentally
the
demanding,
chats,
sweetie,
please.
but yeah.
Let's read the chats,
girls,
please.
it's
Let's
funny.
read the
If you ain't
chats,
lived
please,
it,
because
don't
I'm
even
physically
sorry.
impaired right now.
Let's read the
I'm
chat.
physically impaired right now.
Come on, man. Just don't shut
All
up.
right, separate chats.
I'm
behind your back.
Purple shirt, can your elbows touch behind your back?
What that mean?
Can you touch your elbows behind your back?
No, don't, because their poops might pop out. Let's keep going.
It's Rumble, though.
Yeah, Rumble doesn't want nudity.
Subscribe.
Is a woman's desire for a taller man also a social construct? Don't take feminist liberal women seriously. Use this podcast to know what they want to hear, then smash them down.
They're going to tell you about standards, man.
Okay, long live gaming. Why are they trying to deny biology?
Social
that's a good
construct,
question.
woke ideas.
So Scott, it's a social construct, you bigot.
Shout out to Scott.
As a managing engineer, the females that are in the field overwhelmingly work less than men. Oh, wow. Okay. And work even less when they become pregnant and yet are paid equally as an overworked male. Yeah, no, he's saying he's a managing engineer.
Mr. Sheed, 50. And the two most...
I could say that I'm a managing engineer.
Please.
It's very true.
Enough of y'all,
And the two most validated emotional control measures, men have lower neuroticism, big 5, and better hot executive functioning, emotion suppression, and charged situation. Do some high
homework,
you dumb holes. So there you go. He's you can argue all you want about social constructs, but gender differences are seen in toddlers. This has been proven. Boys will be more aggressive and play fight and be more protective. This is true as well. Pac Matic goes, women were not oppressed, they were poor. Families made choices to send their son rather than their daughter to be educated. Wealthy women always had access to education in all parts of history. Okay. Mr. Martin, these young 20-somethings believe their indoctrination factory has freed them from the bondage of ignorance, when in fact it has ensnared them entirely. The power of the matrix. Fair enough. The Who Knocks goes, can you guys just put Troy at the panel at this point that we got you already from earlier? Ladies, how can you tell if he's a virgin or inexperienced and how that he's experienced? Oh man, we're beyond that, my friend. Sorrow Terps goes, there won't be no dry as jokes tonight. Okay, thank you, Barbados. Okay, all right. Venom goes, I could tell. Must be in the multiverse. Never thought would see a show without Fresh. Is this Sneako and Fit?
Let's go.
Yeah, I guess it's Sneak and Get Fit. Ladies, what's the most real but savage truth you've told another lady? I fucked another guy. Colorado Roughneck goes, pink dress, this tit CC's higher than her IQ.
Wait, what?
I think he said that your tit CC's are higher than your IQ.
If my IQ is low, how do you not know that this is actually purple? I was just about to say.
He's probably colorblind. All right, yo, Sneako, there's a girl on the panel that has been in the chat telling everybody that she's your biggest fan. I see it, bro, but be careful. She's cuckoo.
Yo, shout out to you.
All right.
I hope you're not a she-they.
They both never seem to work out. All right. Cam 2 times. And then Cam 2 times again. What does fat people in modern day relationships have in common? Answer on my next rant. Okay. And that is, who has more rights, men or women, or a truck if they want to?
What?
They can identify as trucks, basically.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Pink girl, the literal definition of a bimbo.
What's bimbo?
It means empowered queen.
Wait, no, but for real, what's bimbo? Hey, y'all.
It means a stallion. Go boss.
That's what it means. Continue on. V-Dubs goes, to the blonde, she-they. Who's they, though?
It's a social construct. Gender's a spectrum, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to argue about male and female dynamics for the whole show.
Let's let her answer. Go ahead.
The truth of the matter is, I'm not a snowflake who gets really upset if somebody calls me him, they, she. I'm not like, oh my god, how dare you call me the wrong pronoun? I don't give a fuck.
Right.
That's why there's a she, they, and if you want to call me him, I don't. Why would I care? Call me whatever the hell you want.
You care
I'm
enough to
not a
put she, they in your
snowflake.
bio.
No, I care enough to signal to people that you can call me what you want. That's
She
what I'm
doesn't
trying
have
to
any
get
attachment
across.
to her gender.
That's what I'm trying to get
Okay.
across. Call me what you want.
So
I'm
if
not
you didn't
gonna
have
throw
any
a tantrum.
attachment to your gender, why'd you put it in your profile?
I was about to say,
No,
what is
that's
it there?
fine. It's a
arguing this whole
signal.
time?
If anybody wants to call me whatever, I'm cool with it. Go for it.
Bitch.
Yeah, fuck. I was gonna say she set herself up for that one. Yeah.
You can call whatever.
Yeah, fuck.
You gotta call me a bitch. Call me a bitch.
What the
Call her
fuck?
anything,
love
but
you,
just
Chris.
don't disagree with her because.
No, I love it when you don't disagree with me.
What do you mean? Don't disagree with her? They've been disagreeing about all podcasts. Jesus.
That's what she said. She said it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Bro, this... Chris, that was the most nigga thing you've ever done.
You see worse.
Oh my god. Okay, girl next to Myron was definitely invited by Icy.
The
girl that got kicked out.
Oh yeah,
I knew she was there about She was fucking.
Monty 337. Yeah, that girl.
WFNF crew. W Sticko. Come on, I'm in the gym, man. Y'all have changed my life better every day. Ready to join Fatco and Creativity Kit next week.
Yes.
1 out of 1,000. Only 1,000 members in the Creativity Kit. Also, shout out Zena. Been using your IG to red pill these females. Keep it up, love.
Mo, put Creativity Kit top of the description for Rumble.
Guys,
get in there.
Already there.
Get in there.
Okay. AJ River, thanks for the 20. Ladies, instead of naming these 3 countries, can y'all name all of the 7 C's?
Oh hell no, nigga. All right. Big Cheap Lifestyle goes, Liko, did you do druggies?
No, get off my dick, bro.
Okay. And then we got, this shit on us too. Zena, the queen of the panel, but I'm going to need pink shirts Insta. Okay. It's below my friend. Yeah,
Sova Savage.
Stay strong.
It's
Don't
below.
fat. Stay strong. 2023. No fucking beating your meat. No pain for
don't
OnlyFans.
simp, guys.
Stop being a simp. Pussy.
Retard rating from Myron to Sneako, 710-2066-54110. That was from earlier from the girls. Okay.
You got a 10?
Probably the one near that.
Oh, wow.
Did you get?
That was a retard rating.
No, it was a retard rating.
Oh.
It was a retard
You
rating.
got a 10.
I mean, it's just eating and leaving. But it's up to you. Up to you, Milkers.
Okay. You were trying to say something before? Go ahead.
Fuck, I don't remember. I think I'm just. What is that time? Is it? Should I give a
Sorry,
closing
ladies.
statement?
Last thoughts.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Yeah, last thoughts on the panel.
Okay.
Wait, no, wait. No,
What?
let them fucking finish their point.
Yeah, I know.
Why are niggas trying to go?
I mean,
I'm hungry,
last
man.
thoughts, man.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
Too
starving.
bad, faggots.
Hey, sorry, Myron, man. Hey, girls, she flew out to New Jersey and shit like that. So.
What?
What?
I'm
no,
so confused.
I'm saying last thoughts
Okay.
Oh God.
because these girls have time schedules.
All right, who's got to leave?
Yeah, I gotta work in the morning.
Y'all two got to go.
And I'm playing.
All right. Well, I mean,
You want to keep debating, really?
Yeah, you guys.
I'm not trying to be fresh, but like, goddamn, man.
Call Myron.
let's see what the chat
We
says.
can go all night. But whatever y'all want to talk
Myron.
about, it's your show.
I'm saying right now, like the girls are pretty nice right now. It's last thoughts. Fresh is not here right now. I know you want to debate with the girls. Hey, listen.
There's only 2 girls that want to leave, bro.
Yeah, only
Listen,
2.
all right,
It's only 2.
Fuck,
man.
I just want to eat and
ladies.
sleep. I feel like I'm.
Last thoughts on the 2
More
ladies?
argument for what
Yeah,
else?
go ahead. If y'all got to go, y'all got to go.
You wanna tell me about my Yale studies?
Thank you so much for having me, ladies. You
No
guys
worries.
are all amazing.
No worries.
Wait. Hold on. Let's
Are we done?
Let's do shout out.
Let them do their
if
last
they're
thoughts.
leaving.
No, their Instagram in the description. Yeah, their Instagram's in the description. I mean, unless you want to give your last thoughts on what you thought, you want to give your last opinion or whatever.
I mean, I've.
What can you say?
Yeah. Go ahead. Just say how you really feel. It's fine.
I just really like. I don't know. It all depends also on how.
All right. Yep.
It all depends also on how, everybody grew up in the household you grew up in, and of course, education and all that good stuff. But me, with men and women, personally, like I said, a man has his role. You provide for your family. Why would I want to go outside digging in the ground, do construction? What? let me take care of my family. I am not gonna go work and have anyone in the what? Look at the world we live in now. I'm gonna have somebody else raise my child, especially a man out of all people. Provide for your family.
W.
A big win.
Yeah, but they don't want to have kids though. That's like
I do want to have kids.
See what I
You want to
mean?
have a husband?
There's nothing wrong with, having a
With a
job,
man.
being successful, having the education you want to have. But then again, are you going to want someone else to raise your children?
Right.
Look, do you want someone else raising your children? Do you want to send them to daycare? Do you know what they do to kids in daycare? Some of them, some kids are abused. You don't want that.
Kids are also abused at home.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. That's why you gotta take care of your kids. So what are you saying? You're
Why bring
gonna
that
abuse
up?
your kids at home?
No.
You're gonna say with a
Oh,
man that's
man.
gonna abuse your kids at home? Is that what you're saying? Oh my god! You guys are
It's really charitable. I'm saying that.
Yo,
like,
are you just here to like be a
Get the holy
contrarian?
water.
All jokes aside.
just get the holy water.
She does a little bit because she's getting nailed on it a little bit here.
some people just have an honest decision.
Hold on. You got to be
Chris,
able
get the holy
to.
water.
Do you not understand?
That's
like
not a contrarian
you gotta,
position.
but
That's
you
just
gotta
the objective reality that the majority of children are not abused in daycare.
But that wasn't
They
the
are
point at
abused in
all.
their
That
own
wasn't the
household
point at
by
all
their
of what they were
mothers.
bringing up,
though.
though.
It's the conversation.
Yeah,
like,
that
she
wasn't the
literally
context of
said,
the convo at all.
Would you
Oh, man.
prefer to put your kids in a daycare, or you as the mother, you personally take care of your child? So she's inferring, I will be the primary
she's not gonna rape her own
caregiver,
kid.
just like she's saying for you guys in this hypothetical, you would be the primary caregiver. And then hold on, stop. And then you respond, well, kids get abused in the home. That's a ludicrous comment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
it doesn't-
being.
So you just don't give a fuck I mean, she was literally alluding to the fact
Contrarian is what she does 90% of the time on the stream. Yeah, but I'm usually nice about it. But these guys are not going to be as nice about it.
kids can be abused in daycare, which is why she's skeptical about
She's talking about her own hypothetical, baby. Her own hypothetical reality. She's talking about her own hypothetical, and
exactly,
then
her
asks, would you
own
prefer?
reality in her own
Listen, she's
head.
talking about why this is her opinion. So she's asking you, would you prefer to raise your own kid, or would you prefer to take them to daycare?
I'm saying
now
I
you're
prefer to
saying
raise
kids
my
get
own
abused at
kids.
home, right?
But it
But are
wouldn't be
you
to
about to
skirt
abuse your
abuse
kids?
or whatever,
Like,
because
come on,
statistically,
you're
a
arguing,
child can be
my
abused
love.
in the home.
And then you want to stay at home man to raise your child.
What'd you say?
Amy Lee arguing just to argue, bro.
I mean, you got to be able to contextualize what she literally said. She said, "I'm not putting my kid in daycare because I know I'll be able to be a better caregiver and avoid abuse." And then you respond, "Yeah, but technically, realistically speaking, there's a higher chance of abuse in the house."
She's not going to be.
I'm not saying abuse at the hands of the
Okay.
statistically.
Bro, stop watching Destiny, bro. This is too much, man. They just start chatting. Come, bro.
I respect the contrarian stance, but you got to be a contrarian when it makes sense.
So
Clearly,
you disagree that most children are.
This is her last thought.
You got to drop this point. Oh, you got to stop arguing about the child abuse at home. Oh no. Oh god, the ship is sinking.
hypothetical. She literally gave a hypothetical.
She gave a hypothetical about taking care of her kid at her house, and your response is, well, some children get abused in the homes, which is like, that's just like a random thing that she'll say, but like, bro, that's like not at all like.
That you guys can also be in her shoes, saying, "I'm not going to put my kid in a situation to get abused," and then you respond, "Well, technically, you're going to more likely to get abused at home." Like what?
Yeah, because that's true.
No.
She's trying to keep her kids
Let her
safe.
talk,
And I'm saying a lot of abuse happens right under people's noses at the hands of biological fathers.
Of course, but that didn't make sense with what was going on to make that contrarian statement.
Yeah.
Okay, let her talk.
Okay, let's let her finish.
After what? You fucked up everything I wanted to
disagree
say.
is summary
Wait.
of that.
Okay, no, I just
This is her last thoughts anyway.
I want to hear. But
Holy.
I was interested in what you were saying. So
Well,
can
this
you
is her last
continue?
thoughts
Yeah.
anyway.
Not that interesting. Nobody wants to let me finish.
Just talk, baby.
We
Just
do.
talk, baby. We all want to hear you.
I respect what they're saying.
Okay, I got like 10 more
I'm
minutes
not
of sleep.
saying,
Maybe
you
that's
know,
I'm gonna
like,
fucking
oh,
sleep.
you,
Alright.
it crosses anyone's mind. But speaking of logic, you want to be logical? Women are, you know, we use our feelings more. Men are logical. Men are, you know, women, sometimes you're going to think with your feelings, you're going to react before even thinking about what a person is saying. You know what I mean?
Ready for her to disagree?
That's what I'm saying.
I already hear it loading.
Well, actually, the study.
Personally,
You guys,
these studies are
the
bogus.
logical men are
Biology.
making fun of stats and studies.
My baby.
That's
Emotional.
Damn it! That's an emotional response.
I'm reacting to you.
You gotta chill out.
It's not about studying. It's just about how annoying this debate is, bro. You don't stop.
If you're
It's just
Sneako said like 5 words the
it's
whole
not about
debate.
studying. It's just that you don't stop. It's just
you want us to stop disagreeing. You
I've
want us
listened
to
to
just
your
say
points.
You know what I think it is? Your age. Because you're so young, you're in college, and the way you think
We're graduates.
is, well, congratulations, my
Thanks.
baby. You're in college, whatever it is, university, you know, educating yourself on whatever it is you want to do.
And they get so annoying.
It's your age. Like, you want to argue about maybe when you're 27, maybe you'll think like me.
No, feminists don't want to have kids.
Yeah.
I literally said I want to have
children.
kids.
It's not that I want
I don't
children.
want to have kids.
See, that's what exactly what I'm talking
And what
about.
job you got after college? What job you got after college?
Can we let her
Alright,
finish?
let's finish our thoughts first.
Let her finish, please. Go ahead.
At this point, everybody else talk. I'm chilling.
Like this shit. I'm in Miami.
Well,
Mahalama, do you smile?
Can I say my closing thoughts?
Go ahead.
Thank you.
No, they don't listen. I heard what you said there.
Yeah.
I speak Arabic too. Yeah, no, they don't listen.
Why do you not want to have children? Out of interest, if it's not personal, too personal.
Oh, I have issues with fertility. So does.
Okay,
So
okay.
there's that.
I'm sorry to hear
But-
that. Yeah.
No, it's okay. I'm fine openly
God
discussing
bless
that.
you. Yeah.
And right now, I'm just not interested in structuring my life around children. I
Yeah,
have
okay.
professional aspirations that I'd rather prioritize. Maybe down the line, I'd consider.
You can't. I don't think you can say I have fertility issues and then go off into other things. It seems like you just stop because the fertility issues doesn't matter what you say past that, right?
Like fostering or
Yeah.
adopting, but like right now, I don't have potentially even the biological ability to do so, or even just a desire to do
Maybe
so.
that's a reason
No,
why
fair
you think the way you think also.
Jesus
you have
Christ.
Please, enough of the studies. These studies, I'm sorry, are bogus. Where are they coming from? What college? What university?
Somebody cannot see from Yale. The statistics say that I graduated
Guys, look, ladies, to be more mature here, the reality is if most women prefer children and a family over a career and success. And that's overwhelming.
To make the choice that they feel is best for them.
But what I'm saying, I get that. But what I'm saying is that most women prefer children and a family over a career. And even the women that do get a career, when they have a child, they throw that out the wayside and go to the family and children.
That's what women want to do.
But that's what they're, even though they're trying to be funny about it, that's what they're trying to say is that women in general prefer family, children, and that home life versus chasing a career and making a lot of money.
Can I ask you a question, Myron?
Sure, go ahead. Chris, man, shut up, bro. Damn, man.
All right, sorry, man.
Grow up, nigga. What the f? Go ahead. You're right.
Okay, so you're saying that this is what women generally prefer,
Yes.
but I think it's a little bit strange because when we look at the most developed nations in the world, or extremely developed nations in the world, the rate of birth and children is extremely low compared to developing nations.
You're absolutely right.
It's inversely proportional. The higher educational attainment you have,
No,
the less
oh
likely you are
God,
to
just
have-
let. Oh, I feel so mean right now.
to have children.
So to me, it seems if you're going to say like, oh, this is what women prefer, then you would still have similar rates.
Well, here's the thing, and I love that you brought that up. Here's the reality, though. Even though, because you're right, we are low birth rates. But what do we have to replace that? We have depressed, sad women, lowest levels of approval for women's existences than ever before. Women make more money now than ever before, and they're more empowered than ever before. But why are the approval ratings of life low? Why are antidepressant medications high?
Women making more money now more than ever doesn't speak too much because we already said that like women are at an economic disadvantage because they were barred from even getting an education.
Incorrect. Women dominate college attendance right now.
Right now, but you're saying women are earning more than they ever have before.
Yes,
but we would have to okay, what is the average median salary of a woman in the United States?
Well, for men, it's between 37 to about 50K per year.
Okay.
For women, it's about $5,000 less than that, 5 to 10,000 less than that. But they're still earning more than ever before, and women are starting to out earn men in a lot of cities in the United
That's
States.
still not even like a particularly impressive like salary.
Yeah, well, I get that, but you got to remember that where you live matters, right? In Mississippi, that might go a long way. Maybe in Florida or Miami, it might not. But what I'm saying is that in general, remember, my argument wasn't that women make enough. My argument was women make more than ever before, and they're competing with men, and they're out earning men in a lot of places. So what I am saying is that women are more empowered than ever before, but they're less happy.
Right.
Why is that? Because they're not having children. And here's the other thing too. Feminism has lied to you guys. It's told you wait until having a family at 29, 30, 35 years old when you have your career and your degree. But the reality is it doesn't work that way because as you make more money, become more successful, and increase your status, doors close for you. For me, as a man, as I get older, make more money, my status goes up, doors open for me because I want a woman that's typically 7 to 10 years younger than I am, and women want a guy that's older than them or at their level, making the same amount of money. And high-earning men don't want women on their level financially and their age.
Myron, can I propose an alternative solution to what you said before?
Yes.
Okay. Because earlier you're saying, oh no, like women are more depressed than ever before, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But what a lot of people
She's going to talk about how women used to be depressed in the past.
is that mental health has become, it's a relatively new field, right? So back in the 50s, the 60s, before then, it just wasn't talked about. People would drown in alcoholism instead.
This is why when you listen to me fight, and I know you guys always scream at me, push back. This is unironically, I want you guys to take this. This is what you want me to sound like. You don't realize it because you guys are fucking stupid. But this is what you're actually like pushing me to sound like. It's fighting on every single point. It's better to find like your like 5 or 6 over the course of a show. Like if they want to do some dumb shit that you disagree, fuck it, yeah. Let a few things go, but you let a few things slide so that you can really nail them on the big things without seeming like you're trying to fight on every single point. Because I think you just come off as being so aggressive when you do so, and it ends up with people thinking like, oh, here's another objection. Oh, here's another objection. Oh, here's another objection. You know.
People would just be miserable and commit suicide or like basically not talk about what was going on. And it's only recently with the advent of psychology, therapy, shit like that, that we've actually started getting depression medication, started talking about this shit, started, not hiding it all.
Have either of you ever suffered from suicidal thoughts, tendencies, or depression, or been medicated on depressive drugs?
What's your show?
Have you? No.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You have?
I have.
Do you have any cut marks? Any of that? Did you ever get that severe?
Jesus
I'm just wondering
Christ.
because, again,
No, I've
anecdotal.
never self-taught.
I have cut marks everywhere. I went through that. Medication's fake. That shit is satanic. It's literally fucking stupid.
I mean, what is it?
You know what helped me? You know what helped me and what got me? I was diagnosed as manic, depressive, and bipolar. And one time in prison, they tried to say I maybe was schizophrenic. Don't clip that. I'm not. But anyway, long story short, you know what helped me? What got me to stop cutting? I've not cut in over a year.
Andrew Tate and the red pill.
Horrible scars. I'd show
Please
you.
say Andrew Tate and the red pill.
I have a lot of scars I had to cover with the big ass tattoo. Point is exercise. Finding something that actually takes your mind off.
That's an okay answer, actually.
Well, yeah.
That's an
Instead
okay
of getting
answer.
on medication, the medication actually drove me to the point where I got Baker acted twice. Certain they don't know what they're giving you, bro. It's just a bunch of chemicals mixed together.
Well,
It's
this part
satanic.
is stupid. But
That all that mental illness, all that shit, that's fake. That's not real. That's just what they tell you.
It's
Everything's
not
a
a
diagnosis at this
one-size-fits-all
point.
approach.
It's all fake. It's all fake.
Okay.
And the statistics show that
They've not experienced
on
it.
facts.
You
This
haven't
is a
experienced
fact.
it. Don't
This is
speak on it.
literally a statistic, a study.
You have not went
that
through
a
it.
psychologist can tell you. Who studied psychology?
Yeah, she has
Okay,
to
by
agree.
psychology. What do psychologists say? What do they recommend? Exercise.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
But they still gonna give you the drug because they still need the money.
Do you go to the
That's
gym
it.
or do you go to therapy?
I do, what is it? I don't go to the gym, but I do.
Emotional damage.
Although those are mutually exclusive. It is possible to go to the gym at one point in your day and go to therapy.
Oh, yeah.
But she doesn't go to the gym, she goes to therapy.
Well, no, I do, what is
Not
it?
in place of her therapy.
She's trying to think of like yoga or Pilates or some shit like that.
Can I finish my sentence, please? Okay. Instead of going to the gym, what I've done instead that's worked with me is I do like outside exercise activities. So I do like a lot of kayaking, for example.
Oh, okay,
I love
that's actually
kayaking.
good. All right.
Volleyball is another example. So it's not like I don't go to the gym, but I do exercise. It's not just
So do you think that that's helped you better than if, I don't know, you didn't answer if you'd been medicated before. Do you believe that actually helped you better, or do you think the medication actually helped you? I'm just curious.
No, I almost completely agree with you on this.
Okay.
Antidepressants, I was on Lexapro, it didn't help me at all.
Ew, I hated that.
Yeah, absolutely horrible. I will say this, and maybe all of you guys are gonna go crazy once I say this, but shrooms, honestly,
I love
once
shrooms.
every couple of months has been the
That's
best
not
thing.
man-made medicine, though. That's natural.
I think, I agree. I think a lot of the medical field is like kind of f***ed up, but yeah, personally, shrooms, exercise, going outside, absolutely good for your mental health. We can agree there.
I agree with you 100% there. Yeah.
Yeah, I took shrooms.
I don't know
once, and
about
lasted
that.
for
That's something
12
I like
hours
today.
straight.
W shrooms.
W shrooms. No, say no to drugs though.
That should make you
All right,
depressed.
No, all I was gonna say was because you're saying that women aren't necessarily happy because you're saying mental health is a new thing, etc., and all this other stuff. What I'm saying is that women are sadder now than ever before because women typically derive their pleasure being around people. Women are more social creatures than men are. And if you guys had asked us this and you asked, what are women actually superior in? I'll tell you, women are socially superior than men. Way more socially superior. That's why when a girl walks into a room, they can tell, okay, this chick is looking at me funny, etc. I mean, probably out of the corner of your eyes, you guys can see that the panel's resenting you guys because you started a lot of arguments. But that's fine because women are socially superior to men. But you guys are so fixated on the things I said men are superior to women in versus what women are superior in. So what I'm saying is this. What do we put on earth to do?
What was I put on earth to do?
What are human beings put on earth to do?
Populate.
The population in general?
Okay. Now,
why did God place us here?
Since we're put on earth to procreate, okay, how do men accomplish procreation?
I don't agree with your saying.
Dude, you can't fight on this. Like, obviously, right? The goal of any gene is to reproduce, right? Because given an equal environment where some genes want to reproduce and some don't, the ones that want to are always going to thrive. That just, from a micro to a macro level, it makes sense that our goal is reproduction. You can't fight that point.
Entertain you, okay?
This is going to biology. Human beings, you agreed that human beings are put on earth to procreate. Now I'm asking
I
you.
don't agree with that.
They don't agree with that.
Well, because I'm not.
Wow.
Sneako is so mad, dude. Holy shit.
Oh my god, Miss, you guys stop acting like.
Okay, well.
Did you know that people who don't have children actually report being happier in their lives?
That's not true. Anyway,
It is true.
There's no way that's true.
It's fucking true.
So
Myron,
going
look it up.
back, you're just coping. So going back to what you were saying.
But no, we're not.
So
gonna,
why are human beings put on earth then if it's not to procreate?
Okay, we're not gonna agree here, and everyone's gonna hate on me
Sure,
for
go
this.
ahead.
But it's because
What is it?
The scary thing is that if Erin keeps pushing, she's about to run into somebody being actually really mean. And I don't know if she must have had people be mean to her before.
I don't think we were put here for a specific purpose. I think we decide what our purpose is. I don't, because I'm not religious like you guys, and you can laugh at it, but like, hey,
well,
woke is the new
Put
religion.
here on earth.
Woke is
Sneako is such a bot with his like talking points.
She, they is the
Okay,
religion.
so let's talk about
Woke
this from a
is the
more
religion.
scientific
Woke,
and
blah, blah, blah.
biological
I'm
perspective.
down.
Human beings are put on earth to procreate. This is why when you bleed, your body does everything to stop you from bleeding. You with patching up the wound, etc. This is why you have defense mechanisms to keep you alive so that you can continue your lineage. Okay,
And
men and
reproductive
women are put on
systems,
earth to procreate with each other. All right, that is a fact. That is not me thinking we're here on earth for spirituality, whatever. In general, human beings are put on here to procreate. This is why men have the sex urges that keep them up at night with boners everywhere, and why women are looking for the best guys. Now that we've established this foundation that we're put on earth to procreate, now we got to establish how do men procreate versus how do women procreate. Well, men procreate by creating excess resources to make themselves attractive to a majority of women. This is why you look at the animal kingdom. Peacocks have their feathers out, lions keep their manes, they fight each other, willing to die to do what? To mate. So whether you guys want to say, we're put on earth for ourselves or whatever, you look at the rest of the animal kingdom, we're all here to procreate. That's why animals kill each other for the ability to mate. Now, how do women get across mating? Well, women get across mating by being attractive, staying fertile, and young. And why do they do this? To have children. The problem is this. You guys have a finite amount of time to accomplish this goal. We don't, okay? So what I am saying is that feminism is a lie that tells you guys, chase a career, make money, you're gonna be successful, and you'll find that man at the end of the line. Here's the problem. You ostracize yourself from the very men that you want because you have made the money that you want your man to make. That man doesn't care about that because we create the excess resources. When you create the excess resources, great for you, but we don't give a shit. So what I'm simply saying is this. Women don't derive the same pleasure from creating resources because it doesn't make you as attractive to the opposite gender to have the final input of having a children and family. Men get away with that because as we create resources, we become more attractive, we can get a mate, have children, accomplish. Women, on the other hand, you guys got to preserve your value, young, beautiful, get the man, have children. And for you guys, you have more dire consequences because women are interested in people. And if you don't believe me, why do all the social sciences, why do all the jobs that deal with dealing with people, etc., why are they dominated by women? Now you guys can sit here and say, it's a social construct. No, it's not. It is biology. Women overwhelmingly prefer to be around people.
I'm just waiting for Aaron to say biology is a social construct. Oh God, don't do it.
To men in every regard, and that's just the way it is. We're put on earth to procreate and have children and a family. And when a woman isn't able to accomplish that and she chases a career, the consequences are dire and depression falls after.
I have a genuine question for you.
Sure, go ahead.
How come why is it more likely for women to report being happier single than in a relationship then, if women are here?
There's data that shows
That's a lie. We're not happy single. What?
I just hope.
I'm not saying everyone. I'm not saying everyone. I'm saying that it's.
Can you just give us an example then? Because
Who's a happy single woman?
Most reports, most magazines, all of that, they're literally talking about women being unhappy in their 30s and 40s single. That's like the majority. That's on Cosmo. That's on People. That's on public things. That's on everything. That's why I just want to know, can you give an example, please?
In the long run, though, can you be happy?
We not happy.
That's a separate question.
Good question.
The answer is no.
What I remember, I'm
grew
pretty
up
sure it's Pew
with
Research.
my grandma.
I'm sorry, whatever. You can, Okay.
She's alone.
It seems like a really high reason why a lot of women are not happy in a relationship right now, or why they report being happier single, is because whenever they're in a relationship, and it goes back to one of the first topics we talked about in the night, is that it seems like, a lot of women not just are earning the same amount as men, but also doing a bunch of the household chores and responsibilities. So you can go back to and hey,
this is a very narrow stat that's true, but it only has to do with women that are dating men where they're out earning the men, and then explaining why those particular ones that break up do break up. This is a very narrow subset of a narrow subset. I don't know if I would apply this broadly to the entire population.
Maybe we can even agree here for different reasons.
May I ask you a question? What was the age of the women polled that were happy or single?
I think they were around their late 20s and early 30s.
Would it be fair to say that the reason why they were happy or single is because women understand, right? Being single, right? Especially at that, when women are young and beautiful, okay, they don't care about getting in a relationship because they're still the world is their oyster. It's not until women start to lose options as they get older that dark reality sets in that I'm not going to find a mate, because women want a man. They do. We can sit here and say, I'm a feminist, I don't need a man, blah, blah, blah. You actually need a man because it's hardwired in you to find a man, because if you don't, you will not ensure your survival.
But it seems like women can survive now without men.
Yes, with the modern conveniences of technology, etc. But I always say it, time doesn't change biological trends. You've been programmed for a millennia to find a man to ensure your security.
I have something to say.
Uh-oh.
Can I say something? Okay.
As long as it's intelligent.
It's experience, which is the most important part. You're right. You guys are right for sure with the statistics, of course. It's not easy. Have you guys been engaged?
God,
Okay,
this woman's doing this shit.
I know how marriage works. Marriage isn't easy. You get married and that's it. Marriage, this is why there's so many divorces, because people do not want to try. The whole point of marriage is trying and never giving up. Of course, it's not going to be easy. It's a fucking headache, but it's because you choose to be in that. You get me?
Most women
Of course.
divorce because of financial situations. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why they're unhappy in their relationship, and or their man is just not alpha, and they get bored and tired.
I think the most cited reason for divorce is irreconcilable differences.
It's actually finances, and you can look it up. It is financial. It's financial.
And that's
And
in
you're
any
right.
relationship.
It,
You can look
it
it
is
up. You'll
easier
do
to
the
not have
research,
kids. It's
guarantee.
true. I have kids.
You
I'm
look
experiencing that
concerned.
too. It's not fucking easy. It's a
But-
fucking headache. I'm stressed.
I think long-term
course.
monogamy is difficult for everyone, though, isn't it? I mean, it's difficult
wants
for both.
monogamy?
It's long-term monogamy in a relationship is difficult for both sides.
Of
I
course.
think. I mean, it's difficult for women, and actually, like you said, more women initiate divorce than men. It's like 70% or something.
Yeah,
isn't it?
70 to 80.
But it's also obviously guys. They look around as well. That's the problem that faces all of us because it's like people get together, they get married, and then after a few years, they kind of get bored with each other, and that's the other difficulty that everybody has to deal with.
And I know you're saying that women report being single, being happier. That's not true to female biology. And it's interesting that the women that were polled were in their 20s, because when women in their 20s, they always think that they can do better. But that dark reality doesn't set in until you hit your 30s, that you can't get the best guy that you used to get when you were 21 versus being 31. And I hate to say it, ladies, but your sexual market value is perishable. It definitely has a shelf life. You only have a small window of time to get the best guy that you can.
Yep.
And feminism lies to you guys and tells you that you can. The reason why for you it's like you don't even think about this because you guys are both in your 20s.
Early 20s.
When you guys hit your 30s or you get closer to your 30s, I promise you, your
kids.
mindset is going to change.
You.
Your mindset is 100% going to
Yes,
change.
you have to
Thank
live
Because
you.
it. It's
you
possible.
guys get constantly reaffirmed by men that approach you, by the internet, by Instagram, maybe your Twitch stream, sim sitting, oh, you're so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. They constantly make you feel better, right, about your situation of being single because you're like, I can always find a man. I'm not pressed for this.
You can't.
But it's not until you get older.
I don't see being single as like a situation though.
No,
I'm
it's
here's the thing.
Like he said,
You're
at
saying for you right now, but as you get older, I promise you it's going to change. And most women want a man.
When the
They might
attention
not want to
fades.
admit it, but they want a man long term that's going to provide them security.
I was a strong, independent, young 21-year-old.
And it fades.
Your tune will change when you
It
get
was
older.
a certain. I was a feminist, and I was all pro motherfucking
Ew.
liberal. And no, I wasn't that far, but who said ew? You?
Yeah.
I don't
Feminism
know. Anyway, yeah, I know,
kills my
disgusting. Point is,
dreams.
I've changed. I'm
But I get
27,
it,
so I'm
though.
older than y'all. Like he said, I'm approaching the wall. No, baby. Do I have to cry to prove it? I'm not going.
There's
to.
a reason why
Please don't.
when you
I don't
look
think you're
at when you
approaching
look
the
at
wall.
little boys versus little girls,
not the
little
same.
boys play with action figures, little girls play house, and they want to walk down an aisle in a white dress. Like every woman down the line wants to get married to the man of their dreams.
Myron, they're just going to
Fairy
disagree.
tale
They're
wedding,
just going to
yes.
disagree more.
Comes up.
They're just going to
Boys are
social
socialized that
constructs.
way.
They're not going to change their mind. Social construct.
Well, no,
It's not going to work.
just,
Like,
you
for
guys
example,
are,
It's not about changing their mind. It's about showing.
Pink used to be
Yeah,
considered a
they're not going
masculine
to stop,
color.
man.
Was that what?
you guys keep asserting these things as facts, and maybe this is just for the future or something, because like from
We're
everything.
speaking in generalities here.
Well, not just generalities, but like if we're gonna talk about how the actual biological reality of people work, like you guys even have the basis wrong, and I could go into that if you
no,
want.
you can't.
You're
you can't-
naturalizing
Okay,
these
do you
things
know?
all
Do
the
you
time.
know
Oh.
what? Have you read
Oh no.
The Lessons of a Pillsbury Doughboy? Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Okay. So in Applied Behavior Analysis, it's a really good article. I
Okay.
strongly recommend reading it.
Sure.
It talks about how this idea of like nature versus nurture is kind of a false dichotomy. And the reason why it explains that is because our environment literally in real time affects our genes or our genetic expression, right? So if you are in an environment, for example, if you're raised in an environment that is very abusive, the chances of you developing schizophrenia become a lot higher, even though schizophrenia has a lot of connections with genetics. So the whole this is a very simplified version, but what I'm trying to express
Then
here
I'm super
is-
schizophrenic.
what I'm trying to express here is that your biology is directly related to your environment and almost vice versa as well. So these things about oh no, it's only biology or that's it, it's just biology. It doesn't, you're not taking into account the fact that the environment literally will affect your actual biology.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Explain to me how when you go in the black community and black women are raised by single mothers that constantly tell them niggas ain't shit, niggas ain't shit.
Oh man, now we're getting to the Annalisa shit.
Fuck niggas, you can do it yourself, blah blah blah. They still want a strong black man.
What do you mean? Okay.
Okay.
Pxie doesn't know. He just proved her argument in such a hardcore way, but she's not gonna be able to connect the dots. Why do black women still want a black man? It's because of what Pxie said earlier. It's because people just tend to date the people that are around them. Black women aren't going up to these upper class men like you said that women choose to upper class men. Black women aren't making the choices to go after this because people tend to date within their communities. Will she connect the dots on this? This would be an easy gimme, but
argument was environment plays a big role and can change their biology. I'm telling you, you go in the black community, you have a bunch of single mothers telling their daughters, niggas, you don't need them, blah blah blah. You have hip hop music.
After talking to Annalisa and now after talking to a couple other black guys, I'm like getting more whatever pilled that that a lot of these issues on these red pill shows are just black men kind of taking their anger out on the world from like being raised by black women that hate black men. I'm starting to feel that more.
It reinforces this, that men ain't shit, etc. I don't want no scrub. Beyonce, all the single ladies, constantly reinforcing that men are trash and you don't need them. Why is it that black women overwhelmingly want men, strong black men that are extremely masculine? Please explain that to me if environment plays that such a role.
I have a question.
Please answer the question.
I will answer the question.
Please answer the question. Because by your logic, they should all be raging lesbians that hate men.
Well, I'm not saying that your environment changes it 100%. But what I am interested in hearing is that you're saying like, isn't there a really high rate of like single mothers within the black community? So if you're saying that women are biologically inclined to find a mate and they really want that, even though they hear like it's like bullshit or whatever, wouldn't they stay with the mate instead of being single mothers if it's like their biological imperative?
No, because they want the best mate.
But by your logic,
I think the second half of the show comes off super good for Myron. He comes off as super respectful. Yeah, I don't know if he does this normally or if it's because he knows they're my friends. But yeah. Also, I wonder. I don't know. Maybe if he's like me, like I prefer harder debates and challenges. Like they're more fun for me. I feel like I get a similar vibe from him, but I could be wrong. But like even if he does feel like he's doing well or whatever, I genuinely do think he enjoys this more than just like dunking on like, you know, random zanned out girl, you know, number 27, or random drunk girl, or random perked out girl, or whatever. So I think it's probably fun for him.
They should hate men and be like lesbians because they changed their biology, but they still deal with men, even though
biology has changed 100%.
Oh, now it's
no, it's just extremely variable. But it doesn't mean that your sexual orientation is going to change, for example. But it does mean the factors that you might find attractive or how you process information can change. I'm not saying everything is changed, right? I'm not saying my environment is going to suddenly change. You know, the fact that I have a vagina. Let's use that as an example. Like that's an environment.
No, but the only reason I say, because here's the problem here. You made a point to say your environment plays a critical role in your development, where it might even influence your biological needs and wants and hardwiring. I'm arguing, regardless of the environment, your biological hardwiring is still going to stand. And I use the black community as an example, where black men are constantly shit on, ostracized, ridiculed, and made fun of. Yet black women still overwhelmingly prefer black men when it comes to dating. And on top of that, they want a black, strong, masculine man, which is why the thug frame, aka guys that are thugs and criminals, etc., are so sought after in the black community. So even though the women themselves are masculine, they still want a man who's more masculine themselves, which proves my point that you can't fight biology.
You don't think there's environmental factors that push women towards the thug stereotype?
You just have
to. Now the environment is playing in my favor.
Well, I'm asking you. I'm just wondering. I mean, again,
well, everything in the environment tells them to hate that same thug that they're attracted to.
Not everything in the environment.
You just said that the rap music literally encourages it.
See that? No, they just needed it's really, the answer is just super, super simple. We just tend to date people that are around us. That's what we do. We date people, we fuck people around us. That's why I always push back on my stream whenever you guys are saying shit like, oh no, like don't date your coworkers, don't shit what you eat. All those sayings are so stupid. Why? Because everybody dates their coworkers. Because you're working with them all day. Men and women spend that much time around each other. Of course they're gonna be fucking. That's just how it happens. That's black women, black men, rich women, fucking all these people in San Francisco, all of it. It's just because they're all together. They're all together. They're around each other. They all date each other. That's how it works. That's how all of human history's worked, roughly speaking, generally speaking.
Well, no, not
no, say fuck nigga free. They think it's the opposite. They shit on those guys.
But isn't like a lot of rap music also like glorify the idea that like, oh,
and also you're saying it's coming from women, but the majority of rap music is made by men, no?
No, it is. But what I'm saying is that the black women that rap shit on the very men that they're attracted to.
Yeah, but don't you think black women growing up also consume the male raps?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a black woman growing up.
Ladies, see how you guys are trying to move the goalposts? The original argument was that, yo, your social upbringing cannot change biologically hardwired traits in you.
Experience right here.
Not all. It's not like a black and white thing. That's what I'm trying to get across.
He's just making a comparison about your upbringing because you said your biology can change by your upbringing. I was raised by a diverse family of feminism, and I want to ask you man.
Why do you think you never see bad bitches talking about this, man? Because they find it in a man, they start in a family, man. It's just like, God damn, bro.
Sneako has been actually pointless here, like worse than Fresh normally on this podcast.
What do you think?
I'll be back.
I think that I should say thank you to DJ Talks for getting me on. Follow me. Yes, thank you. There he goes. Follow me on Instagram. Yes, C__. I also feel like.
What did you learn from the show?
I learned to shut the
Okay.
Hey.
Yo. Thank you. I'll see you soon at SLS.
Yes.
Zena, did you learn anything from the show?
Nope.
Yes, I learned that.
Nope.
Yes, I always learn something. I learned that
What's you
sometimes women just argue to argue. We just want to hear ourselves talk. And we're emotional. I want to apologize to some of my people's watching. Sorry, I got emotional. I was drinking, and I'm a woman, so I got triggered.
All right.
Follow me on Instagram, Zena the Witcher. Subscribe to my OnlyFans Simps.
What did you learn today? Don't say strong Sims. Don't do it.
I'm going to teach something right now. There's absolutely nothing wrong with what you guys said. You guys were super right, and you're gonna have amazing. You guys are both gonna have an amazing future. You guys are gonna learn. You guys are gonna understand later on. And I just hope you guys the best, and I hope you guys like learn everything and stuff. And
we're doomed.
I hope you adopt one day later on. You guys are both gonna have an amazing family.
And we're doomed. Society is doomed.
That's it.
The West is done.
No, the West
is over.
Imagine getting married to that man.
Yeah, that's what I learned.
Last thoughts?
No.
Female.
Yes, for me, I think the West is doomed, and I think that my gut feeling about this, and we'll put statistics aside, is that biology trumps socialization.
Thank you.
That's my gut feeling.
I agree.
Follow me on YouTube at Real Troy Francis, on Twitter at Real Troy Francis, and on Instagram at Real Troy Francis for all your dating coaching needs. Thank you.
You're a dating coach?
Yes.
But y'all never let him talk.
Right.
Bro, the people who haven't been on a date talk about dating more than a dating coach. Just chatting, just talking.
Can I ask a question?
This is my first time being on here. I mean, I enjoyed hearing everybody debate. I didn't talk much, but
What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah.
Did you change your mind? Did you learn anything?
You agree, disagree?
I learned a lot.
Who do you side with? Who do you think is right?
Who I think is right.
I think the better.
There's so many different points that some they were right on, some you guys were right on. So I wouldn't say like.
Do you think attraction is socialized or biologically hardwired?
Both.
In general.
Both. Yeah. Would you say both?
Both. Okay, cool. What do you think?
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course.
It was great to meet you all. Well, what I learned is, I mean, everybody has their own, input.
Okay.
And I don't know. What? Who said that?
He's joking. That was.
He's such a hater. That's what it is.
Someone heard him.
And I respect everyone's opinion, But yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I didn't hear anything from you. Are you Senegalese, by the way?
No, a lot of people think I'm African. I'm Caribbean.
Oh, my fault.
What part? Trinidad and Jamaica. My parents are
Bumbleclad. Okay. Any thoughts on the panel? Did you learn anything? Are you exhausted?
I think we could have spoken about multiple other topics other than
Yeah.
just stayed on one.
Yeah, I agree.
I would ask them their last thoughts, but I really don't want to hear them talk anymore.
Yeah, I've heard enough.
Is it that, or is it that you don't want to?
No, just stop, please.
Is it the fact that you're physically stronger than me since you're a man, and we established
Just
that.
stop.
What did I miss? What happened?
Sneako, let the record show. You refuse to get up on that pole and take a little spin.
I think that's
faggotry, bro. Until you at least try it.
You're better at pole dancing than me, and I still don't even want to see it. Please.
Yo.
We're not talking about. We're talking about how you dodged it.
You have to take that from her, okay?
Yo, Henny Chris activated, man.
Hey, fuck that shit, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, last thoughts on the panel?
But I had fun. I like talking to all y'all.
Yeah, you love talking to me.
So shout out to Sneako for inviting me. I had a great time. Myron had a great time debating with you. Debating with you. All y'all lovely ladies. I don't think you guys like talking to me. That's completely fine.
Nobody has animosity towards you guys. You're intellectual young ladies. You're still young. You have time to learn. But that's just how you just about life. The issue that we're having is that
you did need to learn how to.
Oh no, what happened?
Please.
You guys will have a lot of time to learn.
I'm not even getting paid for this shit. I'm hosting this shit. This ain't my show. I'm gonna be doing my own shit. Where's Fresh? Fuck this shit, Fresh. Get your black ass back to work, man. This shit fucking sucks. Fresh, come back. Save me.
I want to be educated.
But I think the main takeaway here is y'all better appreciate Fresh some more, man. This ain't easy.
Fresh would have put that and started twerking at the club 3 hours ago. 4 hours. I'm not getting paid, man.
Yo, what helps Sneako out? Go to join the creativity.
Help me out, man. Yeah, I'm going to therapy. Jim, all this shit. I'm stopping to beat my knee, watch porn. I'm sick of this, bro.
Hey, I'm the baddest bitch in the world.
Oh.
Hey,
I'm gonna free cancel myself just like these hoes, bro. I'm out.
subscribe.